What's the name of the Migos song? The Ice Trader Gang song. What's the name of the song?
If you hate him, just call him Joe Budden.
It's Ice Tray, ain't it?
Yeah, it's Ice Tray.
I have that song, but I don't see it when I type. How do you spell Trey?
You're not that dude.
I seen Quavo like
TR what?
4 days ago.
AY.
A1? I don't have that shit.
Yeah, it's Ice Tray.
I ain't no song dissing me. Let me go get it right now, though, so we can start.
I ain't gonna front.
That's
that was
not
funny.
true.
Last time we was in
There are still people that I speak to from Complex. I'm here to dispel these myths and rumors that y'all just fucking throw out there. The people that I still want to speak to. Kirsten.
Joe, you gotta stop. Joe.
So I'm naming names. Our little homegirl that everybody in there thought was beautiful, that wanted to get the fuck out of there, that played ball.
Ooh.
That styled for Usher. She has a long name, so I don't know it. I call her nickname.
But
she has a long
doesn't
name.
work there anymore. And by the way,
That's the point.
Hold on.
Neither does Nadeska.
Wait. Hold on.
Neither does Nadeska.
You're right, but you're mentioning the people who didn't work with our show. Like there are people who daily.
Well, what does that mean?
Yo, Joe is so privileged he doesn't even get it. This is where the rapper side of you comes
What the
from.
fuck is he talking about?
Yo, Joe, you know when we started, right?
Buddy.
They used to literally.
I got it.
They used to like half the crew, or actually 3/4 of the crew for Everyday Struggle. Lint brush, make sure Joe's like fucking ears are perked up, like yo, they're making sure his grays are not.
He had ear makeup?
Yo, they were giving him like a fucking massage before we started. Yo, he did.
Now we gotta hear all the secrets.
Nobody back
Oh,
up.
I needed this.
I'm telling you, they were treating him like yo, they rolled out the red carpet. So you can imagine when you roll out the red carpet for a motherfucker and he dips, and he acts like yo, you didn't overextend yourself, and just pretty much.
But what about me says that I was acting like they didn't overextend themselves?
Because
we didn't continue communication after our job was over?
Well, your job was you left. You basically left and just gave a middle finger like fuck y'all.
That's not
Hold on.
that's not true.
Wait. And then
I'm here to dispel these narratives.
No, you can't
That's not true. That is y'all's or someone's perception of it. But that's not what happened.
You shitted on the show that was getting them paid, while when they were working with you, they did everything possible to try to make you feel at home. But when you felt like you were, oh, you know what? I'm good now. I don't want to be in this situation anymore. You shit on the whole show.
But heck, I wasn't good when I said that. I wasn't good when I shitted on the whole show. I was not good. So it's not I decided that I'm good, so I'm shitting on the less fortunate. I wasn't good. I had a baby coming and I was unemployed. So what happened was the company that everybody worked for, who cares who worked on our show? The company that everybody worked for didn't fuck with creators. But they had creators written on, hey, we love all creators when you walk in the door.
Do you believe in collateral damage?
Hey, wait, hold up. Let me talk.
But do you believe in collateral damage?
Let me talk and then you can talk.
Go ahead.
That's what they had written on the door. Mm-hmm. Sean Evans was coming, saying what they didn't want to pay him. We won't get into it now because he found the bag. But they didn't want to pay him. Yes.
Confident about it?
Bag is relative.
All right, go ahead.
He did. He's doing well.
No, I don't know. That's what I'm
His
asking.
show is still up and running. He got a TV deal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. He's on television. He's hosting. He's on late night. He's groomed himself from that number that they wouldn't pay him because they wouldn't empower him as a creator. Homegirl that I'm talking about, that every day that I walked in there at 6 a.m., she was at the front desk, miserable. The company didn't care that she was miserable. They conned her into moving here to work here and didn't cater to her at all. I sat there every morning and listened to that woman for an hour tell me about how the company treated her. Nadeska, Chops. See, we have two different views.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. I'm not company man. Second, the company says, yo, we treating everybody like shit. I'm going to come tell the people. We just had this talk. I'm going to come tell the people, yo, this is what they doing. Y'all in or y'all out. The people that need all the convincing and the people that's on company side, I'm not mad at you, but I'm out. I'm taking my IP, my value, and what I know I bring, and I'm leaving. And there will be a windfall effect. That windfall is for y'all to respect before I go, not after. And if the company don't respect it, it's not.
You're full. I'm letting you talk. Let me know what response. Yo, I'm gonna tell you.
Get the shit off.
Let me give you two different perspectives of. And by the way, I feel like everybody catered to you like so much. I don't even make it a competition between me and you, but it's like
cater to, or did their job.
No, they went above and beyond for you. Joe.
Nobody went above and beyond for Joe.
Stop it.
Nobody went above and beyond. Everybody
Yes.
had a job to do, and everybody did that. That's why the show was a hit.
But
Did y'all get equal treatment?
Who?
fuck no.
You and
No.
Then they went above and beyond for you.
Yeah, hold
No,
on.
you meant from the company? From the people?
Yeah, I could give
I
a
meant from the
specific
company.
example.
No, not from the company.
No, I
No, he
could
said the people were damn
Yo,
near
let me give a specific example. This is when I knew this is what is like. Joe is basically
But we
let's
shouldn't
figure
have
out
got-
what's
but
going
we-
on with
but
Joe
wait,
when they
let me just throw this in there. We shouldn't have got equal treatment.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to just say.
no. But it was beyond that. No, it was
We
beyond.
should have
that.
never
Hold
got
on.
equal treatment.
It was beyond
Why?
that. It was beyond. Can I
Because
tell
we're-
this story?
Go ahead. We can talk freely here. This is our space here.
I remember when we went to LA for the first time, and I remember
Which was for what?
we went there to. I don't know what the fuck we went there for. All I know is this: the show. It was a moderator and me and you. And I remember the cars were out front, and you had, I don't want to mention her name, but one of your former girl. And
You know it's not my girl now.
okay, say
See? I ain't
okay,
cheating.
I'll just say the name then.
My
I don't
baby.
care.
I love you.
Okay, great.
I love you if you watch.
I
it.
remember the car, like the cars are for the people who are working on the show. They left the deska as they waited for Sin. As soon as you and Sin got in,
Oh, you're talking about baby. Mama.
Left.
That's different.
yeah. Whoa. No, but here's the thing. For me, I was like, damn, they don't even give a fuck about the moderator. As long as Joe and his people get in, it's like, let's go. But there was many different times that, like, I kind of saw that. And here's the thing, and this is what I'm trying to say. It culminated to, because I feel like those people felt you shitted on them a little bit in terms of after you left the show, which was your decision. You were also instrumental in driving a narrative that, number one, sent hate to the show, but also basically was kind of like promoting the cancellation of the show.
1000%.
Okay.
You shitting me? What the fuck is he talking about?
Hold on. However,
That bullshit out of here.
if there's
Kill that show.
Okay, but if there's people that are getting fed and employed by said show, and that's their entire livelihood, and just like how you said somebody moved out, there was a lot of people who changed their lives up because this show was complex, believed in a lot. You're basically shitting on the people who believed in you, but because you had a change of opinion, you didn't give a fuck.
If that's your understanding of it. And today, Joe is not here to try to change anybody's understanding. You're right, if that's what you understand. The bigger picture of that is, nobody worked for Everyday Struggle. Y'all worked for a company, complex. I won't speak to the debt that they were in or were not in, but if you just peeked around on where you worked before I came up with an idea, before you came in, before this show took off, y'all worked for somewhere. And there were rules in place and treatment and a chain of command, and it wasn't going the greatest.
Joe.
Hello?
It wasn't filibuster.
It wasn't until Joe came. It wasn't
Yo,
until.
what's this nigga doing?
Wait, no,
Yo, all right,
see,
hold on.
because
Yo, I can tell you how-
all you new niggas and
No,
y'all
Joe, because I can tell
understanding
you
the
how
things.
Everyday Struggle ended, and I can tell you the consideration I had for everybody there.
But that
I can
has
tell
nothing to do with me and mine.
No, but it does.
How?
Because when they treated you way better than they treated me, you should have way more consideration for them.
That's
when they came to me and we had the
your
meeting. When they came to me and had the meeting, then they said, "Hey, listen." They offered me a contract that was for a year. It was during
Who
the
should I have
pandemic.
treated better?
The entire fucking crew, my nigga.
Oh, this guy's crazy. This guy's crazy. I disagree.
Listen,
I disagree.
For me,
with everything you
hold
said.
on, when the
I'm
show
not
was- hold
keeping
on.
no relationships after I'm gone
wait,
just for
wait.
the sake of
All
doing
right,
it.
so let me tell you how I exited Complex, at least for that show, right? Because I still do stuff with them from time to time.
No, time to time a lot. It's a lot of time to time.
This guy.
It's a lot of time to
So
time.
while I was exiting the show, my main thing, by the way, they did good by me by they gave me 2 months notice, everything, whatever. They were like, hey, I think we're gonna go this direction. My whole thing, I said, listen, I'm gonna be fine. I'm pretty positive that Wayno's gonna be fine. We were a little bit worried about him. And by the way, I'm so proud of him. I love Wayno.
We love Wayno.
The desk already had something brewing at Apple. I said, we're
Why?
good. I want to make
stop.
everybody who
Wait,
worked
stop.
on our
Why-
show
why does she have
lands on their feet.
Why does she have
Hold
something
on.
brewing at
No,
Apple?
don't change the topic.
Why did she have something brewing
My
at Apple?
whole thing with Complex, their upper brass was, we're good, but make sure the people who work tirelessly, whose faces ain't on camera, whose name ain't gonna be like, super highlighted, make sure they land on their feet. Because some of them, that was their only job at Complex. Hey, You guys have 20 million shows.
So what you just said, Ak, and this is back to difference of opinion. What you just said is Joe created employment for a wave of people.
Joe is all about. How I deal with this motherfucker? Well, I know with
That's
him
what
too.
he just said. You just said some of them, their only job.
Joe, I'm
was
talking about.
this
I
show
fought for their. I fought for their continued
That has
employment.
nothing to do with me. What you fought for, great. You fought Malcolm Martin Luther of the country. That's good that you did that. Awesome. What do that have to do with me? While niggas is there,
do you feel no obligation to the people who you worked with for 3 solid years?
When we're not working?
No, it wasn't for 3 years. For you.
Hell no. When we're not working, no. What are we working on?
Okay.
You ain't gonna strip me of the right of who I get to canoodle and kiki with.
But even then,
because we work together, you know how many niggas I worked with?
But even then, do you defend the fact that you fucking threw that show under the bus repeatedly, which was hurting the livelihoods of the people you worked with so closely?
The game is the game. So
fuck them.
We either friends.
So fuck them.
You get down or lay down. It's get down or lay down. You here now, so you understand that. You could pretend for the family, but you understand get down or lay down. You either with the program or you not with the program.
At that point,
I never said a negative word about you.
Yeah,
I never said one negative word about you.
Listen,
asset
Joe,
to what? We didn't work together. We have no work together.
No, Joe. Because you've always looked at it like, me and Ak, there's a floating bag and an opportunity of us coming back together. And first of all, also, I think you know me a little bit. I'm so grudgeful, I'll go forever.
But it don't matter. I like you.
You're right.
There was nothing bad to say. I've never said nothing bad about Nadeska publicly.
Yes, you did.
What?
You threw her to the wolves. You said she was part of the boys club that was helping suppressing the creators.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
My nigga.
That's a fact.
She wasn't an executive.
Huh?
Yo, let me tell you this. What Joe did on Everyday Struggle, and this is why people thought he was female information, but no, I knew this motherfucker. To the who you used to be with, and this is not to you guys. I love you guys.
I'm not replying anytime.
I knew it would go that way. You know why? Because I think you do a cost risk assessment every single time.
Yes.
But here's the thing, though.
You're fucking right.
But at the moment people can't help you, you fucking drop the guillotine and you cut their necks off, which is a little foul.
Wait, it's not. Wait, you make that sound nasty. The moment that people can't help me.
The moment you think you're better off without them.
That's so nasty. You know why that's nasty? It's dismissive of all the challenges and hurdles that Joe takes on when he decides to leave these companies and do risk assessment. That's dismissive. Because you talk like, and you said this earlier, you talk like I be up and I say, fuck niggas, I'm out now, I got it. But that don't, what it be?
Yo, don't listen
to
Yo,
we have
Joe
hit
trying to get me fired from Everyday Struggle.
Not true.
Joe, no.
Not true. That's not true.
Joe went to Complex and said, if this motherfucker keeps going on Twitch and fucking runs his mouth, fire him.
I told them what to do, yes. That's a fact. That's
Complex
a fact.
just looked at Complex just looked at him and was like,
no, he said Joe tried to get me fired. That's different. I didn't try to get him fired. Ak, in his being a novice, and this is his first time, like,
where are you bringing up that one? It's
his first time getting like the insider information and how some of the shit worked. So he would go on Twitch, which is his platform, and share things that the company repeatedly asked him not to share and not to do. And I'm the first one that gets to work. So when I'm the first one to work, I'm the one to hear. I created the show. We hired him. That was a decision we made. So when they mad, I hear about it. So at the 5th time, what do you think my place is as someone that loves you and cares about you when I go into meetings and they say, yo, this is the 5th time he's done that. He's jeopardizing X, Y, Z. Fire him now. I know that y'all not going to fire him because he's valuable.
Hold on.
But what do you think my job is to say? And that's the position. No, shut it up. That's the position that I be getting put in. As creators and budding entrepreneurs and rising millionaires, niggas be having to learn. Niggas be having to learn it. You gotta learn it.
They didn't tell me not to. What I would do, which is very, very true. I've only came up through the internet, so I don't know this whole thing of hey, you're like this corporate guy and you're supposed to express your emotion or share with your loved ones.
We have the number one show. You know you can't go home on Twitch and kick John Legend's wife's back in for the next 2 weeks.
Wait, hold on.
You can't do that.
You weren't even there when that happened.
You can't do that.
No. You know what would happen?
We gotta suspend your little hot ass.
We're going through growing pains. At
He was learning
first,
the game,
first 2 weeks,
He was learning the game.
But that's what I'm telling
in
him.
real time.
Yo,
He's
the first 2
everything
weeks,
he's saying
I
is
feel
just from
like
the
I
position of
couldn't
learning
say
the
shit.
game.
He's learning the game.
I couldn't say shit the first 2 weeks, and I feel like all my points were just I didn't feel like it was kind of fair. So I would go on Twitch and I'll rant.
You got
I'll
your
be
own
honest with my
platform.
audience.
Like, yo, I'll take it there,
I'll
then
just be
fuck
like,
it.
yo, you know what I used to do? I said,
get it.
hey, this is what I wanted to say to Joe in the debate, but with his theatrics, which by the way, you fucking loving hip hopped me the fuck to death, my nigga. Like
I'm a pro.
Bro, we were in the green room, me and him, we like cooling, we talking about everything. Like, we're like literally, basically
Best
like
friends.
shirtless, like bumping chests, like we're best buddies. We get on camera, and as soon as it starts, Joe's a whole yo, I'm looking at this guy.
Oh,
to
you
see
ain't gotta
this-
tell us.
That guy's a pro.
I'm looking at him like, yo, is his eyes glazed over? And the funny thing is, as soon as the shit is over, he's like, yo, act, that was a fucking great show.
Hey, Ish. Hey, Ish.
So,
Hold on. Hey, Ish.
Was I wrong?
Not from your standpoint.
Do you want your
From
flowers?
yours. From yours. And that's where I get mad at other niggas telling their version, right? Because in their version,
right.
what they always leave out, because the windfall sounds bad, but some of the great things that take place after the windfall can never happen
Without.
without said windfall.
You're right.
And for over 10 years, people only look at the windfall. Never none of the great that comes from that. Act, you not in this position without my windfall. Let me tell you that.
I disagree, but
I know you do.
No, I agree that show would not be as great without that. You're right.
No, fuck that show. I left on a high, so we was leaving, even if you left the show. Everyone's value is up. They talking to us a certain way. But I know, even if you don't know, that when we step out this building with what we've done, it's up. It's up. I left. They put all the value on me. You just sat here and said, yo, they was treating me different. I sat here and said, they were supposed to treat me different. When the A leaves with the value all the way up, you know what he leaves Ack in position to do? Exactly what the fuck he did. Crack niggas.
Stick up.
I'm here. It's stick up
Stick up
time.
time.
It's a stick up that he
The
would
A
have
left,
never
the
had.
show was up, and I'm still here. Stick up.
I'm the A now.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving like Joe. I like y'all. It's,
Now
it's
it's stick
good
up.
cop, bad cop. It's a lot of things. But when they tell the story, that gets left out.
That's
This from exes
That's
to
cap.
co-hosts.
That's cap. I've always told the story with that in mind. Even I usually explain it like this. I said, which it could be now reinterpreted in what you just said. I said, what Joe wanted, I got.
Yes.
Now, granted,
That's how it goes.
Did they have no option?
One nigga has to go fight and get all the no's. So someone else, so they can have a different understanding when the value is there again.
But you burned the building down.
Good.
And that's where y'all have a
Good.
fundamental difference.
Good.
He's saying you
Act,
could
they
have
wouldn't
left.
get us a $300 bodyguard.
Look, he's saying y'all.
I'm not
coulda-
keeping this business up and up in the float.
He's saying y'all could have left, but he was still there, and people that liked you and respected you were still there. So in you leaving, you didn't have to torch their earth to do so.
I did.
Also, I
did.
was approaching this from
And wait, real quick, let me just throw in there, because this is a misconception. It's not that Joe burned it down.
You tried.
They didn't re-up my offer, my contract. They didn't re-up the contract.
So when you left,
And
though,
when they did that, while I had a baby on the way, and I'm sitting home because I know they didn't re-up my contract, and they send a tweet out or do a show that says, hey, Joe couldn't make it today. He has a baby. No. You don't play these corporate nasty little games with Joe. I'm always going to speak up. I'm always going to speak up.
we gotta be factually correct though. It was the Spotify thing I remember
That started it.
The day
It started it.
the day that it was never the same in that office
Tell them.
was when Joe figured out what was going on with the business, and Joe was just like, this ain't going on no more.
Stop right there. That gets overlooked. Niggas been working at this company for 1 billion years. They run a business as they run a business. Y'all could have ran in any office and found out how things were going on. No one did that. I got there for less than a year and went everywhere to do my due diligence and find out the business, right?
Yo, Joe's a dirty nigga. He was taking people on dates.
I'm gonna
Yo,
figure it out.
It's the part that they don't see.
That's the-
Joe,
yeah,
Joe
that's what
taking
you gotta
people
do.
on
part they don't
dates.
see.
Joe's snooping around. I'm like, yo, Joe, why are you talking to this? They're not even on a fucking show. But Joe comes to me and Joe says, Ack, this is what's going on business-wise.
Joe's
not
consistent,
doing
yo.
that.
Joe's consistent in his fight, his messaging.
No. But I don't know if you guys
Tell him.
Wait, I don't know if you guys give him his credit for that, but I'll tell you what I knock you for. Because it's a method of how you do remediate.
That's what everybody knocks me for. The method.
The method of what?
Like
How I go about
do you
it.
deal with that?
How I go
so
about
now
it.
you're armed with information. How do you then get what you want given the information that you're armed with? And his way is like, let me put my ski mask on. Stick up. Or it's like,
I will
fuck
blow
your
this whole shit up.
negotiation. I'm not showing up.
I'll blow this whole shit up.
Let's see
How could we negotiate when you need me to show up?
That's the same. Hold on, real quick.
Good
We just
faith-
had this argument. We literally just had this argument about Coachella. He was just saying once these top 7 or whatever people in there figure out the value that we bring to it and say we not showing up, the conversations change. He talked about the NBA. He said, yo, when LeBron and them say, yo, let's go lock ourselves in a conference room, the phones start ringing. He said if the NFL could do it, it's just people got to recognize, yo, they need us to show up.
My beef with Nadeska at the time and people alike.
You still owe an apology.
For what?
I believe in trying to burn the building down, you protected or didn't go at me, but you made it seem like she had nefarious reasons for the show not to continue or for business not to be getting done.
Nadeska,
and again, everybody has their own individual path. And you can imagine if someone's looking at her like, hey, if I'm a creator, why would I want to work with you at your next venture, knowing or being armed with information that you're here to just to like kind of
with the executives.
Yeah, you're gonna scoop under whatever their prerogative is.
And I'm not fucking with anybody who plays both sides. You cannot play both sides that way.
But she was not. We were in.
Stop it.
We never really worked for Complex. We were vendors.
You're right. We never worked for Complex. You fucking right. We didn't.
But she had a whole she did other shows.
And she played both sides at Stick Up Time. She played both sides at Stick Up Time. I'm not the bad.
She played her side just like how you defend you playing your side because
but
she needed the show to continue.
See, but that's the other thing that I don't like. When I do these windfall rants, it's perceived as Joe fighting for Joe's rights. And that's not true. I'm in there screaming at Rich for Joe, for you, for Ak, for Lyric. Y'all can't say this about me. I hired Lyric where I went. Like the people that have the value, I'm not trying to fuck that up. I'm fighting for us. But if in the middle of my fight, you playing both sides, trying to fucking bring down the value of some shit, and I know what the value is as a vendor. You in here. I know what it is. You can't say certain things. I can. So that's
Joe,
what it is.
Will you admit you go too far?
No.
You do go too far.
To who?
To anyone who wants to work with companies in this corporate American society.
You want me to run down a list of companies that I work with to you?
Yeah, you can. But I'll probably know
Facebook, Amazon.
Rank them by where you've got the biggest bags, and then I can tell you how you fucked it all up. Rank them because again, you might work with Facebook. Are they giving the biggest bag? No. Or biggest bag in opportunity. Because I don't even know what do you do with Facebook now.
Well, the biggest opportunity, I don't judge it by bags because the biggest opportunity was everyday struggle. But that's
what did you do?
But that's stop. I created it.
Okay, but then
stop. Not okay right there. I hate you niggas.
No.
That's not okay.
Listen, it's one thing like your methods, and this is what I've learned. You can't get to a desired result by then attacking CEOs, calling them racist, doing this and third.
I can if I find out they're racist.
So you thought Complex CEO was racist?
I didn't think anything. I heard him on a phone call speak to why they thought they were having trouble selling advertising, and it's because we were niggers.
Okay, I never knew that.
I know a lot that you don't know.
Well, you got to expound upon that.
I don't.
Because
my
honestly,
point. I don't.
Hold on. Yeah.
When I go on these rants and these fights, it's calculated.
Here's what Joe.
I've heard enough. I've decided.
Here's what Joe doesn't give the full story of. Okay, so if you think that, if you think that, you don't want to have a follow-up conversation. Joe, you had a follow-up conversation with Complex after you called them racist. Why would you want to work with the racist people? Remember, I didn't know.
Stop. Let me answer you.
Now they're so offended, they didn't allow you to come in the building.
Not true. That they're lying to you. They're lying to you. I'm too valuable, so you'll never do that to me. They had those meetings at whatever steakhouse that was because I'm that valuable. So let me answer it. It's the same thing I go through with advertisers. Most of them will say, shock jock, racist. We had this talk.
Yep, we did.
Several times.
Most of them will say, hey, your show is a hit, but the value is in the ads, we know, and we can't get ads to this show. They're not telling you that we're taking the numbers across platform and deciding how we distribute the ad money. They're not saying that. So if you say to me, yo, because y'all are black and the topics are we can't get ads, then what is Joe going to say as the creator of a show and someone that wants ads to come in? Niggas act like I don't like money. I say what everybody would say. Hey, if I need to present the show better, if we need to stop cursing, we had those talks.
No.
We wore them stupid fucking sneakers on every fucking motherfucker.
No.
Stop it. Stop. Let me talk. Stop. We wore them stupid. Stop. Let me
There's a
talk.
point where we're down to like we're
Hey, no. It was me and my niggas going in there saying, yo, if you're having trouble presenting the show, let us talk to the advertisers.
But I agree with you on that.
Let us explain culture. Let's try to get it done. When you notice that that's not really what it is, then it's up and it's stuck. It's no beef. Personally, I don't know none of you niggas personally. I don't know Nadeska well enough to have a personal gripe with her. All I know about is our working relationship.
That's fake,
Was
though.
how's that fake?
Me and Nadeska got closer after you left. You and her used to be hanging out random fucking places. Like if you
At
say
work.
you don't, no,
That's not true.
outside of work.
Me and you have went out with Nadeska and a homegirl.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm
Some
saying.
spot in the city.
Yo, me and Nadeska got closer after you left. So when you could just like dismiss that personal relationship, I'm like, damn, Joe really sees people as expendable. Even when they might look at him as, hey, we might be coworkers, but we are friends. And I do think that's a little problematic.
Awesome. Are people
I'm
expendable?
giving insights into your man's
I'm
over
asking
here.
you something. Are people? No,
You doing
even though
what?
I'm giving insight to y'all, even though
you're
y'all
not
probably
giving,
been,
them niggas been friends.
Yeah,
no,
this nigga
no,
fucking
it's not
we-
about being friends. It's about how you move in business
No, we
and how
think
cutthroat
they
you
know.
are.
Y'all don't know. I think they know.
we know.
I think
Trust
they know.
me. Yo.
The look on his face tells
Let
me.
me ask the room. We'll go around. Ak is a content gold mine. You're great at this. Are people expendable? I'm asking the room.
Sometimes.
Ish?
Nah.
Ice?
Yes.
Okay. I too say yes. And I think that when people are not expendable, that's your right to pick about
Yeah, I
who
think
you like,
sometimes
who
they're not.
clicks with you. And I don't think that somebody's the bad guy for saying, all right, I'm moving forward this way now. I don't think that that's a bad thing. And I think that with me, I'll own this. I do a really good job of making people feel warm.
Yeah.
So when that expendable button happens, and this is not just in business, this is in my personal relationships too. So when that button happens, it's like you pull a rug from under somebody. It's shocking. It's like, oh shit, this nigga's foul. We was like brothers. We was like, and I'm thinking,
So you're pretty much admitting
No.
that you're being facetious.
No.
Usually.
No, I don't think it's. I don't even think it's.
Fam, I go back to.
Let me say this. I
go
know
ahead,
the
go
nigga
ahead.
damn near 20, right? That is exactly how he is in personal relationships.
100%.
And the people all do feel slighted. Because when you're building a relationship with somebody and you think you guys are in a personal space, and then all of a sudden the phone call stopped, the hanging out stopped, the stop, you like, damn, I never did none of this nigga. In fact, I was willing to go to war with this nigga. I'll jump in front of a bus for this nigga because I valued him in a certain light. He don't value in a certain light. People do feel slighted.
Do you agree with how he does that though?
No, I just said no.
Listen,
you asked
man.
me if I felt people were expendable. I
Yeah.
said
Hey,
no.
Ak, Joe said back in 07, I got another side I never showed to you. The side where everybody is disposable. That's been him. Anybody that knows him, like really knows him, knows that.
But you can't say that, Ice, because
You can say that.
me-
That's how
let me
he.
just give you
I'm
an
a fault.
opinion.
Go ahead, come on.
if Joe did that to you tomorrow, you feel a certain way.
I would
never
feel
do
it,
that, guys.
but
We'll
wait,
never
hold
do
on,
that.
hold on, hold
You didn't hear
on,
what I
hold on,
said.
hold on.
We'll
Let
never
me
do that.
I didn't
let
say
me respond.
you would. I
Ish.
said it. My
ahead.
sentence
I want to
was,
respond to you.
If Joe did that to Ice tomorrow, you feel away.
Okay, now let me answer that.
That's why my answer was sometimes.
Let me answer that. Yes, I would feel
Never
away.
do that to Parker.
Hold on.
Those people think you would never
Listen,
do that to them either.
Yeah, everybody
because
thinks
you
it'll never
built
happen to them until it happens to
That's
them.
the problem.
That's my point.
But Ish, to answer you, yes, I would feel away initially, and then I would go and say, "Yo, that's how this nigga is with everybody.
Cool.
That's him."
But you would feel away, but
I
then
would
you would
feel
just
away.
have to get over it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So
So
I
I
would
think
say
Can
that's
I
him.
add to that? Because that was a little poignant point you trying to make. Fuck out of here. In the event that happened, which I don't think it would, you think that would happen with zero phone call or communication for the foreseeable future ever with me and you and what we have gone through? I present the same to Park. Like Nadeska, Scotty Beam, like there's some people out there that feel this way, and I would say, hey, well, where y'all get that from? Like, what relationship equity did y'all? Yeah, we was warm in the moment, but who I did that to with fucking 10, 20 years?
No, but they would still feel like they were building toward a relationship.
But
It's
that's
just
it.
not
But
normal.
feelings ain't wrong.
You're right. What
Feelings
I'm saying
ain't
is,
wrong.
No. This is what I'm saying.
When niggas leave a relationship and say, y'all nigga Joe's an asshole, that's how I felt. Like, I can't
You're
beef with him.
unique in that. You're unique in that. That's not the normal. And I don't want to use the word normal because it would state that you're abnormal. But what I'm saying is, when you are thinking that you're building a relationship with somebody, and then magically the person ghosts you, you like, damn, what the fuck? Right? That's just a normal human reaction. If you dealing with a girl, you dealing with a dude, and y'all starting to get romantic, whatever the case may be, then you like, yo, this chick
And
married?
and that's the
You
part.
like, you like, yo, she married? I know she came.
And I get
Like-
that. I get that. And the beef and the fallout is always made public, so Joe will wear the brunt of what's coming. What's never talked about, what's always missed is, I got Nadeska hired in that spot.
Yeah, no, that's true.
This is the same thing. What's the name said?
Wait, time out. The company that she worked for years, blood, sweat, and tears, ride or die. When the spotlight came for her to be empowered, they shitted on her. I went to bat.
And that's where I come up with my overall.
So for her to double back and say, yo, this nigga cheated, blah, blah, blah. All right, I got you. Ebony K. Williams,
No,
state of the
and
culture.
That's what I was about to say. Look, but that's
I
more
got
reason
you
for her
your
to feel like we
gig.
have a rapport.
And you
This
jump
nigga went
on
to
the
bat for
internet
me.
and say, I don't even remember what
She
you
said
said.
She said you corporately ghosted her.
It gets.
That's what she said.
It
the
gets
same
confusing
exact
in
thing.
entertainment and in anything creative because like to be creative in a studio, rap studio, music studio, whatever the fuck it is, you're building a camaraderie, right? Mm-hmm. That has to be there. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's still a business.
And it don't have to be there. So the second that
It's
Parks,
work,
wait,
my
time out.
nigga. At
The
the end of the
second
day,
that
it's
we
work.
in here on a gig trying to make a song and Parks can't mix that record, me telling him to get the fuck out don't mean I don't love him.
Yeah.
You got to go.
And there was times where that happened, and then the
yeah.
mix came back, and I did mine, and my shit was better. Like,
If we sitting here working on a pod and you on some bullshit and get the fuck out, my nigga. Like, not like that, but
Yo,
it don't
understand.
mean that there's a personal beef.
you're right.
It mean that the job, I'm normally tasked with putting everybody together to make sure that a job succeeds. What did I do first day I went in Complex? Whatever they had written on the board, I erased that shit. I'm up in everything. No, up in the goals, up in the work ethic. Let's go. I rallied the troops when I got there.
One thing I'll say
It
about
wasn't
you is two different
until
things.
we were not backed. We were not supported.
But all right,
That Joe
you're
said,
right, though. But wait,
I'll wear it for all the creators. Fuck y'all niggas. Fuck the words in this door. Go ahead, you talk.
right now, I think your biggest gift also kind of hinders you the biggest as well because you use it so lax that you're down to destroy so much. You're a great GM. Like as soon as you got rid of the other two bums that used to be on the podcast, I'm like, I believe Joe definitely will get two dudes
When you
or
gonna leave-
whoever.
Yo, when you gonna leave them alone?
No, bro, I'm just being honest. Like, no. Hear what I'm saying. The same way how, do you remember when we did our rehearsal?
Yeah.
Probably 5-10 minutes in, mid-topic, Joe's like, "We're done." He's a guy. He's really good at, and this is where I think because you're so good at it, you're down to always chase away shit that works. Like chemistry is so hard, really, in the industry. Whether it's on a movie set, whether shit is music,
what you're
saying.
Yeah, yeah.
like you're down
You're
to
right.
blow it up anytime.
I see what he's saying.
You could pick. Oh, I need this piece, this piece. So I was having a conversation with you, like you were, like I was here. I'm like, this thing just sounds like a GM. You're just bad with people.
Yeah, I hate people.
It's the Bulls. So,
hate people,
yo, it's running the triangle offense. And the triangle offense, you need specific pieces. And if you get the specific pieces, you're going to win. So, I think, he's saying, yo, give me 2 motherfuckers with some sense, and I can make it work. Because I'm me.
No,
so I don't have to
It's not even that. He also knows chemistry.
No,
I'm just saying, he'll know, like, yo, okay, I need Ish for this. I need Ice for this. You get me? And when it gels, like, he could do it so many times. Put it like this. One of the reasons why I was so mad at Everyday Struggle ending is I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever find that. He didn't give a fuck about leaving it because he's like,
I can do it again.
I'll do it.
I just made this shit again.
It's okay to blow the boat up because I could build another boat with the right mechanic.
I'll say that. And
so
and
whoever
point,
else was on that boat, fuck them because they're collateral damage because I could go do it again.
And Ish,
that's what he's saying.
But I do go to them on the boat and say, yo, this is what I'm about to do, yo. I went to Disca. Yo, this was going on. They knew before I did it.
And look, Ish, to Ack's point, how many years has it been since he's told you and I specifically that we have a thing for podcasting?
Years.
No,
I know from the outside in.
7, 8 years.
At least.
Yeah.
Like, he saw that. He used to get mad at me. Real talk. He's like, Ice, you either stupid or you don't like money. Which one is it?
No, you don't like money. You just keep fucking with that real estate. You don't like money.
I was gonna call him LeBron James, but I don't know if LeBron James is a good GM. So I'm just gonna say he's a really good GM. Like,
LeBron is a good
because
GM.
I'm
He
gonna be
won
honest. Honestly,
He won one.
What a couple.
when Joe was trying to get me, he was like, "Yo, Ack, good. We're on Everyday Struggle. You have to start your podcast now." I have this
he
whole
another
thing.
one. Dodo face.
I
over
started
here.
it now.
Dodo face. See, but that's my thing about nigga. Before the podcast explosion,
That's why you get the Podfather like.
And this is when
title.
This is when Complex at the time won't give me $50,000 to bring 6 podcasts over there and start a network there. $50,000. They won't give me $50,000 to bring my podcast and 4 other podcasts. I was home like, yo, this is so easy.
Fumble.
This is my podcast. Everyday Struggle is a podcast. We do the audio there. Act needs a podcast. And now I just got to go get 2 more podcasts. This is like,
I remember. You
Is that
mentioned-
why you told me to start a podcast?
No,
I just thought you was good.
No.
I'm like-
You mentioned his name. You mentioned Gilbert
Brandon.
Arenas. He's like, I'm gonna go get Ice. I'm gonna give him a podcast. I'm gonna go get Gilbert Arenas. And you laid out a plan. I was at your crib, and I'm like, in Montclair, and I was like, sounds good. But the only thing I was like, I just don't think my audience was.
That's true from your perspective. Let's get into corporate mode. Know what happened when I brought them that and they said no for
they
$50,000? No, they did the corporate shit. They went and called Gilbert Arenas
He showed up to that.
and said, let's do a show. And they tried to do our knockoff Everyday Struggle with Gilbert Arenas and
Khalifa.
the sports shit, Mia Khalifa, and it didn't work. And Chops every morning was pissed because Everyday Struggle was his baby.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, these niggas just gay. These niggas is competition. They on the West Coast.
They're
They
trying to
looking
be
at our
Sports Center.
numbers.
They're trying to be Sports Center.
Now, awesome. Imagine how Joe feels. How does Joe feel?
How did you feel?
We don't have time for feelings in this game.
I would have burned
And
the
that's-
building down.
But we don't have time for feelings.
And I would've
in this
burned the
game.
building
And
down.
that's what I be telling the people. That's like, yo,
100.
Joe just picked
Now
up
I
the
burned
left.
the
I don't
building
have
down.
time.
I'm
I don't
burning
have
shit
time
down.
for feelings. It's too much. It's too much going on.
On a business
they did
level,
that.
did
We
you
gotta
think
go.
that? Did you think that the IP of even that debate, whether it was sports or hip hop, you bringing that there when they clearly was starting to rip off, and also they were trying to do what ESPN does? Is like, okay, this works. Let's make a show of it, of everything, right? Did you feel that they were pretty much taking advantage of your thoughts and ideas? Because you mentioned Gilbert podcast, they go get him as talent.
That's stealing.
It's stealing, but you know what it
stealing.
would have did for me?
But
It would have just cemented that I'm onto something. And my vision and my ideas are valid enough that this multi-million-dollar corporation just stole my shit.
I'm in year
I just didn't have
I'm
the
in year
resources.
17, and every thought that I've thought has kind of worked. So that's not a shock to me. Gilbert Arenas is a superstar.
Yeah.
This is going to work. I get mad that y'all don't value it when y'all are supposed to. How I felt then is the same way I felt when they wouldn't pay for our security. You didn't really understand why Joe was flipping.
So let me ask you.
Y'all wouldn't. Me and this nigga
Go ahead. I'm with you.
risk our health and freedom, our
didn't get it.
livelihood
They didn't get
every day, talking about these people on y'all platform.
Sure.
And now y'all want us to do a red carpet where all of them are there. And y'all who support us, y'all won't pay $300 for security. Sometimes people tell you what's going on without
they tell
telling
you.
you.
No, you know what I think it is, and we had this a lot of times. We've recently had this. I think it's just a disconnect, and I think that, and this is where I think more people from our culture, from our neighborhoods, need to be in these positions. Because somebody else would identify, yeah, they need some security. But when you're talking to a 70-year-old old white man or a 65-year-old white man from suburban America, they don't think it could go down.
I want to ask you something real quick. What you were saying, do you think those ideas that... just keep remember your point. Do you think those ideas, they stepped on it because it came from you?
That's
I thought they were good ideas. It's like the messenger versus the message thing. Like, it's coming from Joe. We don't really want to fuck with that.
Well, that might be
because
true
it's from
in
him.
this instance, and it might be true in another instance.
No,
That's why I keep bringing up the security point.
Yo,
because that
particular point was like, imagine. Keep in mind, this is what Complex was, right? So we got to paint the picture. When me and Joe went in there, they had 2 floors, probably had 200 people each on both floors,
400
right?
employees.
Gotcha.
400 employees, right? Everybody's in cubicles, everybody's writing articles, okay? By the third time we showed up there, we're like, what's all of this? Because like everyone's like stuff was like lumped up. They're like, oh yeah, they fired 60 people yesterday, and then they're like, they fired 80 people yesterday. They were in the middle of changing. As soon as we walked into the building, we signed the contracts, we did the fucking trailer of changing from a print company to a video company.
You had to go away from print.
Now, here's the thing. When you go to video, and also when you go with 2 people who are controversial in their own right, you're way in over your head. You don't even know what is going on. Like, I remember like situations that were like, they asked me like, which artist do you have beef with? We don't know what's going on. And it kind of just dawned on me like, they think that me and Joe, who have been talking shit and saying whatever we want to say in a conference room, right, that they turned into like a video production studio, they can't see the ripple effects.
No recourse.
Yeah, they can't see the ripple
because they don't
effects.
identify with the culture. Right. So in white America, Jay Leno, fucking
Any of them.
all of them late night motherfuckers
Yeah.
could get on TV and say bad shit about Donald Trump or this celebrity or that celebrity or this celebrity.
Nothing happens.
In that culture, nothing is gonna happen. Tom Cruise is not gonna smack somebody. But when you start coming to our culture in the neighborhoods and our demo, it's a different level of understanding. And that's what I said the disconnect lies. They don't understand the culture. Nobody in executive level understands the culture.
Because they're not from the culture.
So now we're not gonna sign off on $600. 2 fucking security niggas cost $600.
By the way, Ish, this is surprising to me and him, and I know definitely to Joe and Ice will understand this. It's surprising because do you not remember that audio of Wale calling up saying, I'm coming up there to beat all y'all asses for not putting me on the list?
Yeah.
It happened at Complex. So
That's out on Complex.
they were writing at that time, and who knows who wrote that article or who made that list.
Right.
They were very cognizant of, hey, if you say things people don't, and you're making a list, you're not saying things like, hey,
that's different. That's different. Yeah, I'm about to say they never saw
shit.
no real.
Well, they leaked the audio.
They
of
were
his.
worried.
They were
fine.
definitely worried.
But
They definitely
you
rammed
get
some shit up.
Do you get my point? Did he come?
They never saw him pop up there.
If he would have popped up, now we starting to take it more serious because we know it's actual
Let me throw another
and
one.
literal.
Let me throw another one at you. Because, good point. But a nigga did pop up there.
Before or after y'all?
While we were there, some deranged lunatic popped up, broke in the building, and was just running around. They didn't know if he had a weapon, they didn't know what, but he was able to do it. And Complex was
But was he there looking for y'all?
Was it based on y'all? He wasn't necessarily.
He could have just been a nigga got
He
in the
could have
building.
been a nutcase that ran on a football field. I'm talking about
Somebody that came there as a direct result of something y'all
African-American urban culture.
Yes.
But
They
Joe is
don't
Like
identify
example,
with that.
Example. I'm talking about like
Joe
like,
was saying, yo, in the morning, we're showing up there at 7
not
a.m.
hearing
At the end of the
Joe
day, it's
would
$300
always be
is the thing to
downstairs.
me.
Joe would always be downstairs with the food cart.
But listen on.
Hold on. Joe would always be down there with the food cart. He'd be getting breakfast at 7:30. After the show starts popping off, and this is where I think they only see numbers. They don't see the real effect.
Yeah.
They're not really.
they're never looking at that.
So
But that's why Joe was in
every
there telling him.
day when Joe's walking in. By the way, Don Tolliver, the guy who he did a joint
was
with,
coming. Trying
used
to
to be
hand us
down there.
yeah.
The food truck used to be at. They was like, "Yo, Joe, please listen to me." So there became people who were outside consistently.
Because they know Joe are gonna be out there getting a bagel or a
Yo,
muffin.
these guys are controlling the hip hop narrative. They're discussing the hottest
Fam,
shit
this
daily.
is the same
We
thing
need
that rest in peace K Slade. They used to wait outside of Hot 97 to give K Slade they
Complex.
CDs and shit.
Complex has no fucking idea.
Complex
They don't even know
and
what's
Hot
going on.
97 are different. Hot 97 is tapped in with urban culture. Complex is a print company that just is a custom. It's like
It's a blog
fucking
that
Us Weekly.
became a
You know what I'm
print
saying? They don't
When the,
understand.
when the label signs 50 Cent, somebody's gonna let them know that they should probably bulletproof the truck. Like what y'all are saying.
But yeah, that's
what y'all are saying.
But you need somebody there.
My response to that is, great. Now imagine how Joe felt. That is my
You're
response.
not listening to anything I'm saying. No, I took my shit
I
back.
gave y'all the show.
Yeah, yeah.
I created the show.
I burned the building.
I'm coming to
100%.
y'all and telling
Whole building.
y'all the best way to maintain this particular product that y'all don't have experience with. Yo, y'all are beefing with me. See, everybody laughed at me when I was talking about smoking in the bathroom. Yo, y'all won't even let me smoke in the bathroom. But the significant part of that was, if I don't do that, I got to go downstairs and smoke. And should I be downstairs outside with y'all people here and y'all don't have security? We here before everybody. That's a
Right.
mistake. I'm telling you how to treat this. That's what always happens with me when I create it. I create it. Nobody sees no value in nothing. Now when it's a hit, everybody has a voice in the kitchen telling you how the potato salad is done. So when I see that, and it never fails, fucking Def Jam, yo, make singles. No, I'm an introspective rapper. That's what I want to do. I'm going to build my career that way. Fucking mixtape shit. Yo, stop doing that. Fucking, it's just always that slaughterhouse. It just always happens. Once the value is built, everybody got a say.
Everybody
So,
wanna come in and
so
tell you
what
what
Joe
to do.
always says in that spot, and I'm viewed a certain way for it, is, okay, I'm going to take my creator brain and move and just see.
Well, the movement isn't that subtle.
And
though.
just see. No, it's not that subtle. No. It wasn't that subtle.
at all. But that's probably the biggest indictment on you, though.
But it's
move
also
isn't subtle?
the greatest.
Put
But
it
it's
like
also
this.
my greatest asset.
But put it like this: there is a number of executives and also companies that Joe has literally torched. That if me
Fuck
and
'em
him,
all.
huh?
Fuck them all.
No, but it does affect shit when it's like, hey, listen, hey, the Joe show, where can we bring it? This company's gonna be like, I'm good. There's gonna be a bunch of people who bow out. You have now isolated yourself in terms of corporate players that you're not even really experiencing a free market. You're pretty much experiencing, or you're gonna be negotiating with the only few people who you haven't pissed off yet.
You only need one.
I want to.
You only need one.
First of all, thank you, Ice.
Right.
Tell them
Not true.
again.
But not every player is the same.
You
Not
own-
true. But go ahead.
What's not true?
That is true.
How's that not true?
I'm gonna let you finish.
Well, I wasn't saying nothing.
No, you was about to say something. I didn't want to cut you
No,
off.
all I was gonna say was I wish I could tell you like what's in my brain. Like you would be blown away. Like I have an answer to that.
There's two
And
things.
if I
One,
mapped out that play, you'd be like, yo, this nigga Joe's a fucking genius, yo.
No.
But I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it.
you don't only need one because
You need one person that understands.
yeah, I know.
Sure.
But in the corporate space, you don't only need one. We're not talking about theoretical. Yeah, theoretically, yeah, you only need one, but practically, you don't need one because when you have a bunch of people bidding, it raises your value. So yeah, you got one motherfucker that's willing to take a shot on you and nobody else will. That's leverage for them. But if I got Amazon,
true.
fucking, I got Gold. I don't even want to name no companies. I
worked
got
for me.
10
but
It worked for
let
me.
me finish.
It worked for me.
Let me
But- and that's-
finish. Let
go
me
ahead.
finish.
Fine.
I got 10 companies
I
now
never
bidding
wanna let
on
you
me.
finish.
My value is up here. If
There
I
you
got
go.
the one company that's saying, "Yo, 9 other niggas passed on you. We gonna take a shot on you," but
wait.
I'm gonna give you this.
Can I
It's like a
reply?
car
Go ahead,
dealer.
go ahead.
When you
You
got
go.
good credit,
You
you
go.
got options. When you got a 560, these the only niggas that's gonna give you a car, and we gotta hit you for the 23%. You gotta get around so you
an
eat it.
academic. There are people that y'all are talking to that have to live by this. LeBron don't need another team to get his price raise.
He don't.
Price raise.
He's maxed out.
Steph Curry don't need another team to leverage to
Maxed
get his
out.
price raise. Joe Budden don't need another company to raise his price. My history
I say no.
shows. I know you do. But my history shows me that if I go sit in a room and think for long enough, I can come up with something valuable enough that if one company sees that value, sky is the limit.
True. I agree.
That's what I
That's,
was-
But
kinda what I
they're
was gonna
right
say.
about
I'm not
what
disagreeing,
y'all.
but
so,
that's
so I'll disagree with him on. I love that analogy, but that analogy works in certain places. Like for example, you are Steph Curry and LeBron at Complex. You are not Steph Curry and LeBron at Spotify.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. And
At
you're not
Spotify,
that.
Yes, I am.
You're not that at Apple.
Yes.
And you're not that at Amazon.
Yes,
to defense.
yes, I am. Yes, I am. You say that.
Tell me
but
how.
why do you say that? You say that because Spotify and Apple.
If they could get someone, more valuable than you, you're not Steph Curry and LeBron.
It's not true.
And if they could get someone
That's not true.
exponentially more valuable
he's
than
saying.
you,
I see
you are not Steph Curry and LeBron. You're a role player at that point.
No, you are crazy. How many people are on the All NBA team?
See ya?
How many people are on the All NBA team? 15.
15.
But I mean,
1, 2, and 3.
so them what are you talking about? I don't understand what you're saying.
He's saying Steph Curry and
The
LeBron
companies
are
that we
top
talking about,
players.
let's go through it. I know what you're saying. The companies that we be talking about, they all have all the money in the world, They all can take the money and go pay top dollar. We can go pay Joe Rogan $200 million a year,
only but so many dogs,
$150 million a year. That list is short.
There's
Number
only so
one,
many
and number
dogs.
two, what you're getting for that versus what you got on. You have to look at contracts. What are you talking about? Joe Budden on a $2 million contract, and what I did for that entire market over there, I will always be LeBron at Spotify. I birthed the market. Wait, stop. No, don't.
You're Jackie
wait,
Robinson,
stop,
not LeBron.
stop.
You're Jackie Robinson, my nigga.
Stop.
Is this guy serious?
I'll take
You're Jackie Robinson.
I'll take Jackie. I'll take Will Chamberlain. You
No,
naming niggas
LeBron
that I think is
changes
great.
the NBA. Jackie Robinson just introduced a new player base and market to the new market.
Then you all are welcome. I'll get my money from somewhere else. But what I've done here,
They'll never value the same.
Will never be done again. Says who?
Says them.
Y'all are wrong.
Listen, Jackie Robinson.
You both are wrong.
Jackie Robinson is Jackie Robinson. Do you think Jackie Robinson is measured in the same light that I'm trying to find a baseball one, King Griffey Jr. is or A-Rod is? No.
Can't be.
That's my point. They don't value him the same. Now, he was
Can't be.
groundbreaking historically.
Can't
He's
be.
groundbreaking. But when you start placing value on somebody, the Major League Baseball world does not value Jackie Robinson how they value whomever. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
LeBron is held up here because of the value that he brings. And your analogy is great, but I see a difference in when you take away LeBron from the Lakers don't make the playoffs. When you take away Joe Budden from Spotify, Joe Budden can be replaced and they still gonna make the playoffs.
You had to spend $1 billion to replace Joe
I
Budden.
agree. I'm not
There's
disagreeing.
nothing you could say to me.
They got it. That's the point I'm making.
Joe,
They have it.
That's one of my contentions with you.
Yes, they have
You
it.
overstate yourself.
I
They
don't
did not,
I don't think
they
so.
did not
I don't
spend $1
think
billion
you
to replace
They
him.
did spend $1 billion.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
they expanded a market.
They spent $1 billion.
All of that market didn't yield returns.
The market didn't exist. They spent
Oh, no.
$1 billion.
You're a proof of concept. No, but what you're saying is not that. You're right. You're a proof of concept. Like you're one of the people who discovered and show that it could work.
True.
But it doesn't mean you're the most valuable player.
Stop. That would be undervaluing Joe. Just
Historically,
proof of concept.
he's going to be Jackie Robinson.
What?
Yes.
But he might not
Yes.
be. He might not be the player that gives the greatest yield.
And historically,
i.e.
the
LeBron
Jackie
and Steph.
Robinsons of every league never got paid like the niggas who came later down the
They
line.
never
like
get the
LeBron.
notoriety.
They can't play. They can't play in this market. There's not a company I can't go to and get a check. When Joe don't get a check from the company, it's because I didn't take the check from the company.
No, that's not the question here. The question is, do you have LeBron type equity in terms of LeBron could go to a team and say, drop the team, get me, and build around me,
No.
and they will do it. Tomorrow.
and they'll
So
do it for
LeBron
LeBron.
would be a bad example.
Exactly.
I think Jackie Robinson is a bad example. It only speaks to the proof of concept point, but that ain't
No,
the
you
point
still
that
playing.
I'm making.
Jackie Robinson ain't playing.
But-
Yeah.
But
It's not like I'm blowing up places and then going to struggle places. Like,
yeah, but also
What
you know in the music business, first of all, executives not only are they all friends and they all talk, they move from place to place.
Not just that,
like
they're
we
egotistical
literally
too.
see
That's true.
a bunch of people
Let
from
me ask you,
Spotify
they
go
go
to
over here,
YouTube,
over
Let me ask
and
you
they all
something.
have the same opinion. Like, when you think they're gonna be like, oh yeah, Joe just fucked us over there, but now we don't care because we're at a different company. Come on.
But
you
if you
know.
maintain the value everywhere that you go, let me ask you something. After I did that big Spotify blow up, you think they would ever come back to me and do business?
Yeah, because it's not personal, it's numbers.
Thank you. After I did that big complex blow up, you think they would ever come back to me and do business? They tried to. There isn't a place that I've ever gone and had one of these rants that they didn't come right back to attempt to do business.
But can I make this interjection, right? and who actually ironically I have a podcast dropping with tomorrow. Antonio Brown. It's like, okay, great, but now
What did you say about Antonio Brown?
No, it's like the Antonio Brown thing. Is he talented enough to go get another contract? Yes, he is. But does any team or anyone who's going to give him a contract not going to think, hey, there is a personal liability because he blows the team up? That's why he's on a proven deal.
Antonio Brown is $25 million a year talent that's probably going to get.
He's going to be on a proven deal because he's acting like that.
Let me fight through some.
I'm not gonna put you in that same boat.
Wait, hold on. Let me just
I'm not
get to
gonna put
act
in the
real
same boat
quick.
either, but I know
Let me
what you're saying.
respond to some of these. This is conditioning.
No, it is the same thing.
Stop. This is conditioning. It's conditioning that Joe don't live by it.
Okay.
You know me well enough. I don't live by none of that shit. You're right. Companies, when they try to do business with Joe, have to consider the red atomic bomb button. That's a fact. You would be negligent if you did not. Know what fixes that?
What?
Money.
A sentence on a contract. A second
You've
sentence.
already said you don't give two fucks about a contract.
Whoa.
You know, Torres has said that. I don't care about a contract.
Stop. We're not talking about what we say on podcast mics. Everybody say that. There is verbiage and language that you can place in a contract that when you go press that little red button, everybody's protected.
That's true.
We'll put like
Stop.
this.
And you gonna lose.
Stop it.
No. We can word it as such.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that you brought up AB.
That's conditional.
So now the
Right.
new contract that Floyd
It's going to be non-guaranteed.
Look, so now Floyd's
All
floating around the
incentives.
A
contract.
company can protect themselves against that AB shit all day.
No,
I like it being
Floyd is posting a contract for AB saying that he will back AB's contract. AB wants $20 million a year, and if AB for any reason throughout the duration of the year gets in any controversial shit, Floyd is gonna now pay the institution $20 million.
Null and void. Yeah.
So null and void. That's the verbiage that you need. And if we
Spotify
know
had
it's
one of those.
risk free,
Spotify had one of those with me.
if it's risk free, why not?
They had language in the contract that protected them against a while out, which is why my while out, I was doing a countdown. My while out didn't start till episode 5 at 6.
I remember that.
Purposely.
I can
Hey, y'all can do whatever y'all want. Now, there's 5 episodes left here.
Joe. All right, you see, this is where Joe is like,
I'm
think
just
Joe,
telling
there's
you
a
my
little bit of
understanding.
delusion
I get what
with
you're
him. All right, for example, I'll be honest. So,
Give it to me.
so I told Spotify, I say, hey, listen, don't know what the temperature is. I know I can do anything. It's stated in my whoever I want to interview doesn't matter. I said, me and Joe, we're gonna be doing like podcast swap. I'm doing his shit. He's going to be doing mine. I know I can't tell me yes or no, but what is it? And I will be honest with you. They were like, hey, Joe has disrespected multiple executives, and that is a thing. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I
You know
like
what
that.
I mean? It's like,
I like that. I like that.
You
Do you
young
like
black 40-year-old
I like
nigga.
that.
Do you like
shooting
that
at
if
the
you
CEO
want- if you
of a
want-
billion-dollar corporation? These white older
like they don't
rich
have an
people,
ego. It's the same
yes,
with
they
complex
have an
CEO. You think they don't have an ego?
No, but they're not the dictator of who Joe works with.
True.
Only in their brain. When I'm wilding because I don't want to work with you.
True.
I know that you there. Hey, one day you won't be there. I was beefing with Courtney. He ain't there. I was beefing with Dawn. They got her out of here too.
They inherit each other beef. You know how it works. Yo, this is
I'm just telling you that
Leor
it's- I understand
always
what
runs the
he's
music
saying.
business.
It's not-
Leor
yeah.
just goes to
I get what
a different thing.
Not just that.
He
It's
goes
just,
from Def Jam 300,
But
YouTube.
Hey,
And
but wait,
names
but
only
I
change.
have good history with Leor. I know people out there say, oh, you're over a fucking black devil. I've done good business with Leor Cohen.
No.
So I will today.
What
I
he's
speak
saying,
to him still. Wait, no, I'm replying to what he's saying. I speak to him today. It is musical chairs. Somebody that you worked with in year 1 is over here in year 10. But you only want to fuck with the people that you did good business with. And that's where I'm gonna be different from. I don't play them little games. Little contra gay. I need to be cool with you. Kissy, kissy, facey, facey. No, I'm letting you know what it is. When you see me,
You
it's
gotta
up.
play them games.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
you don't.
You don't.
Well,
You don't. You just got to take a harder path. If you don't want to play
your
those
benefit,
games,
you
then
kind of have to.
Your route got to be much tougher if you don't want to play those games. You don't have to play them, or you can accept that I might not get $1 billion, but I'm cool with 200 million.
Well,
you don't have to necessarily.
That's why I like what Joe is doing now, because I think the way how Joe moves is not set for a corporate environment. You have to stay independent. And I said that
But
back
that's
then
not
when you were burning down the building.
But
I'm
that's
like,
not because corporate dictated that. That's because Joe dictated that.
no, but it's cool. No, you're right. You did dictate that. However,
So when you know that and you move in that way, you're not offending me by saying, "Hey,
no, you
these
would look
execs over
hypocritical
here
if you walked into another situation.
No, that's not true.
No.
If
No.
the
I gotta
situation,
It's the
walk-
right
if the
you gotta walk into the right
and I got what I
situation.
wanted out of it.
Yeah, they crossed
Yeah.
the T's and
Any
dotted the
deal
I's
that I
want.
announce, my audience knows what time it is because they know how I give
He's
it
not
up.
taking it. He's not taking no bullshit.
They know what
that he
time it
don't want.
is.
Or
When I-
just
Joe,
Yes?
you've announced hella deals and you've complained about every single one of them.
Like what?
Nigga,
like what?
didn't you announce going to Complex? You complained about Complex. Did you announce say after you said Complex that is they're not for the creator? Let's go to Spotify. Did you complain about? What I'm saying is you have a pattern.
You just named 2.
it's true.
Didn't you complain about Def Jam?
Keep going. So you bringing up
Listen,
complaints. Wait, stop. You bring up complaints and you're not bringing up the complaint because the complaint don't matter.
And not for nothing, it's all fairness to go into business with someone and be optimistic, and then once you see what happens after a
And then
year or two,
learn,
be like,
and
"No,
then-
no,
If I taught
no,
you
that's
the-
some bullshit.
Yo, look, if I taught you the real estate business and you got on your platform and said, yo, I'm learning real estate business from this nigga Ish and he's great and da-da-da-da-da, and then I did some fuck shit, you are well within your right to say, fuck that nigga Ish, he's bullshitting.
Now, niggas don't say that because you might need Ish to help you sell some houses. Ish might need powerful. You might need more information. You might need money. He might be involved with your livelihood. Who knows why you don't? I don't operate that way ever. There's no other person where I'm leaning on, relying on to be myself. This is who I am.
And that's a very, very
We
small,
can work
that's
together,
a very small group of people.
Or we won't work together.
I can ask you a very honest question.
You can ask me anything because I love you.
If we were going to spend when 2 years ago, when I don't know whenever there was a burn the bridge down moment where like everybody was just watching you like, and there was a lot of opinions all everywhere. In the perfect storm and perfect scenario, are you at that point now? Or
What point?
did
What
you
point?
like you because my thing with everything I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, y'all done with Complex. Like they've done bullshit. I've spoke about it, but I've also known there's one thing about condemning an act or condemning how they treated you in a certain situation, and then burning it down.
True.
Like burn it down, there is no return.
Yeah, true.
You get me?
I'm not a fan of that.
And I look at that with you, and I'm like, in what you were planning, in the exodus of you and Spotify, is the perfect storm and the perfect scenario where you're at now.
For today, it is.
I don't know if that's an
Well,
answer.
let me ask you a
no,
question.
for-
Hold on, because you said burn it down. There's no coming back from. He's just told you
Everybody
the two
tried to
places
come
you
back.
named, Complex and Spotify,
And Def Jam.
have tried to come back.
And Def Jam.
So that's not. Is that really burning it down if they try to come back?
But you're not being fair if you don't actually contextualize what that comeback
That's true.
is. Because the comeback that Complex would have had with you, they were looking at it not to appease you of why you were leaving. They're looking at it like, okay, we'll take a meeting with you, but we feel a certain type of way, this and third. You're still not getting what you want.
Maybe
And
not.
and
They didn't-
in
well, they-
certain
or
situations,
you don't know my
Or not.
rocks
But wait,
are.
they
You don't
didn't
know.
offer what I wanted, so I didn't do anything. Everybody has that
be honest
right.
with yourself. The last thing y'all may have talked about during that steak dinner or whatever was probably not better than the last offer you had before you burned the building down.
That's not true, academics. Why you
Are
don't
you
listen
sure?
to me? I love you. You be listening to these white fucking exec people over me. Listen,
Joe, if what you're saying worked,
it
everybody
works.
would do it.
No,
not
everybody can't do it.
Everybody can't do it.
Everybody can't do it.
Because everybody don't have
Everybody
that
can't do
talent to
it. Everybody can't
That's
do
number
it.
one. No, and look, back to before you came, we just had kind of this semi conversation, right? Everybody not tough enough to do it. Some niggas, and I stay using this analogy. I'm beating it in the ground. I gotta find a new one. Everybody won't jump off the cliff to see if they can fly. Some niggas will just take, I can't do it, so let me just take the money because I can't do it.
We joke about me all the
Everybody
time.
don't go to the table and say, I'm gonna put my dick on the table and I'm gonna live with the results. Everybody won't do that, so you can't say that they can't. They won't try.
The reason why I'm saying that is because objectively, in everything I'm seeing, and it involves everything that you do, I do, and the people who you might consider in the business that we might both be in, you can't do it unless you're LeBron.
How many have tried though? Ak?
Dave Chappelle could do it,
Yeah.
but there's
But he
only
could,
one Dave
no,
Chappelle.
not
now,
true,
now
Ak.
you just
That's
fuck
not
yourself.
true,
Look,
Ak.
look. Dave
true.
Chappelle.
Tell me who else
I'm
done
about
it.
to tell
Not
you.
true,
Wait. Dave Chappelle couldn't do it till he did it. Nobody tried it. He turned away 50 mil and said, fuck y'all, suck my dick. Y'all did bad business and I'm out.
And no one understood.
And everybody dissed him and crucified him.
Yeah,
he
they
only
tried to
knew
paint
he
him as
could
crazy and everything.
Hold up,
No,
he only.
you're going back then. I'm going now.
No,
you can't go.
You can't.
You gotta start from that though.
You can't
Go
be
ahead.
Bobby
Start
now
from that.
without being Bobby then.
Yeah,
You gotta
so
go to
listen,
that.
In the Dave Chappelle analogy you
He
gave.
maintained his value.
No, he didn't.
No, he did not.
Started from
They
scratch.
tried to tank his value.
They called him a
He
crackhead.
tanked his
Wait, wait,
value.
wait.
No. They put a public.
Are we saying
fucking
that by the
campaign
time
out
he got with Netflix, his value wasn't?
Whoa, you just skipped
You skipped
mad
like 9
shit.
years.
All right, well, hold on. Well, that's the only time he had the leverage. When his value was pretty much.
How did he get
You're
that?
wrong. You're wrong.
By leaving.
You're wrong.
Right,
Just
he
telling
left.
you
How
wrong.
did he get
He
it?
left while it was up.
Look, he
and it
left
was
Comedy
up.
Central.
Yo, but wait, and that's the part that you wait, stop. And that's the part that you
Yeah,
keep
you wrong,
missing
bro.
in my windfall
wrong.
shit, right?
You wrong.
You look at the windfall, and I told you this before, but you got your own way of looking at it. You look at the windfall and be like, oh shit, Joe fuck with these companies, he can never work with these companies again. Instead of saying that next company I go to that gets it, they saw what I went through. They
Yeah.
know what I stand for. This is an easy thing. This is an easy negotiation.
Let me tell you
They
what's-
know what we on.
Let me tell you what
That's
was
a
big for
great
Dave.
thing.
What was big for
That's
Dave
good.
was the fans stood behind him. So when he left Comedy Central, from what I understand or recollect, his contract was basically, he got, I think, like 50% or some crazy percentage because they didn't know what it was going to do. The Dave Chappelle show was a hit. Smash. Knocked it out the park. Nobody thought he would do that. So now they revisit your contract. I'm going to make up a number and say 50%. The Chappelle show's assets were worth $500 million at the time. So if we agreed on 50%, we now going to say, no, we're not going to give you a 250 that we agreed upon. We're going to give you 50. And they control the media spin. So they said he walked away from $50 million when he really didn't walk away from $50 million. He
just
walked
didn't
away
take
from
the bullshit.
$250, and I'm not going to take y'all punk ass 50.
Which is the same exact thing.
So
Joe
hold on,
did
hold up. So
with
wait,
that nasty
can we be
Spotify
honest about the Dave Chappelle
contract.
thing? And this is just this is the industry rumblings I've heard about it. And if we want to really be honest about it, Dave Chappelle did bad business when he first signed on.
possibly true.
He did bad business
I don't
and
know.
basically used the fans to basically correct it.
Can't say that.
So listen, wait.
can't say that.
But
You
if
can't
he's
say that.
contract,
You can't.
what happened.
No, I don't know that
You
to
can't
be true.
champion his Netflix deal and then say he did bad business.
Listen.
No,
But
he's
if
that talented enough that he could do
That he
bad
could bounce
business
back from
and
it.
force the new company who wants him so bad to be happy
Yo.
that they will try to reverse
You're
and
right.
fix some of
I'm
the
saying,
bad
I'm
business.
When you
saying
say
that
bad
talent
business,
was
what do you
on
mean? He
display
signed a
when he
shitty
said
deal?
no.
Yes.
I believe that.
Yes,
But from what I heard, you might be right. I'm not disagreeing with you. What I heard was the company said X. And when they thought it would have never agreed, he would have never been a hit like that. Right? So let's just say me and Act, again, we're going to do some business. I'm going to give you 50%. I think it's going to make $10 million.
And that
It
shit
ends
blow
up
all the
making
way up.
$200 million. And now I'm going to say, this nigga don't deserve that much money. I'm going to give you $20 million. You like, nigga, no, you not. You owe me $100. You're not giving me 20.
about Dave and Spotify did that with Joe.
Yeah, I don't,
So
I
listen,
don't understand.
I don't know Joe's deal. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is that's what ended up happening. They painted a fucking campaign to end this nigga. They said
Yeah,
he was
they did.
on crack.
I feel Joe was
They
trying to
said
do
he
the
turned
Dave.
away $50 million.
I feel you were trying to do what Dave did.
I didn't try. We did the same
did,
person.
Yeah.
No.
You did.
Dave successfully got the company to bow down.
No, he didn't.
No, he did not.
You're wrong.
What are you talking
No,
about?
That's not
Netflix
what happened.
said, we're taking the fucking
Yo,
show
these
off.
young kids
wrong.
keep
You're wrong.
skipping over,
Hold on.
No, wait,
hopping
you
around.
talking two different.
Yeah,
You're
two
wrong.
different
No, no,
You
times.
no,
talking two different
You're wrong.
times.
Yeah,
yo.
that's
Two
HBO
different
I'm
times.
talking about.
Yeah,
You
you
talking
talking-
about
we
HBO.
talking
You're
about-
wrong.
No, but we're only talking about his success with Netflix.
But no, listen.
No,
you
but to
said
talk
We're not
about
talking
the
about
company
HBO
about.
said fuck 'em.
No, listen.
Until they realized it was just in their best interest to say, hey, we can't really do business with the show if these companies who we need to distribute through ain't gonna fuck with it. So we might as well do what you
Let me
want.
ask you a question.
Go ahead.
So you stay on Chappelle. We're gonna make up numbers because we don't know the numbers. So $500 million, they offered him 50, which was 10%, when he should have gotten 50%. Right? We making up numbers. Okay.
Right.
He walks away. He says, "No, fuck y'all. Y'all owe me 50%. If y'all don't give me that, I don't want nothing." He walks away. He lays dormant,
Yeah.
for the better part of like 7 or 8 years.
Might have been longer.
Decade, yeah,
Might have been
And it
plus.
started building. Now your $500 empire, niggas stop fucking with Comedy Central off of
Off of
Dave
Chappelle.
Chappelle likeness.
100%.
That is overlooked. They thought they was gonna do something and they didn't.
I don't know if I
because
agree with that 100%, but
People
carry
roll with
on.
him, yo. People roll with him.
People roll.
He
People roll with him.
There was a
attributed
lot of his shows on Comedy Central, but
he
keep it
attributed
going.
to the
He
fans
took a chunk
all the
away.
time.
He did, but
So
there was
They
a lot,
had
there was a lot
Keenan,
of shit. on there.
Spotify's
Daily
if
Show was a
Spotify
smash.
subscriptions fell and plummeted through the ground, that would have upheld Joe's value. Because Spotify replaced Joe with Joe Rogan, Michelle Obama, all these other motherfuckers.
So you made my point.
No, listen.
No.
You
just made the
A
point.
different point, not on this. Wait.
What worked for Chappelle just didn't work. Because
Didn't
hold on,
work for
I
Joe. I
guarantee,
said that.
Joe, when you were doing a countdown, if
countdown?
motherfuckers was like, yo, listen, you're losing 2 million people subscribe to your fucking platform, or say 5 million, we don't have like 400 at this point,
You looking through a vacuum.
they would have started acting a little different.
I agree.
But
But
wait,
now
wait,
we signed Joe Rogan right before Joe's
Bingo.
leaving. We could let him go. He's expendable. At this
So
point.
that's the LeBron.
But no, it's not.
So that's why you got to care about the market.
No,
there's
wait,
nothing
wait.
bigger than Dave.
No,
And when there's
wait.
nothing
But
bigger
Dave
than you,
wasn't-
But no,
you're
Dave
the
wasn't-
LeBron.
You're wrong. But,
You're wrong.
but when Comedy
No,
Central
when he
did
took his
that,
little
Dave
gap,
wasn't
he was,
Dave.
Yeah, he wasn't Dave.
When he
wrong,
walked
man.
away from Comedy Central,
Dave,
they weren't
Dave
that.
disappeared, bro.
I'm not talking
didn't
about
have
the
a
gap.
LeBron.
I'm not talking about the gap. I'm talking about the equity he had when he pulled the move.
But you
Yes, when he pulled the move,
that time matches up with Joe doing the countdown.
It doesn't.
Because it's also when you pull the move,
So, Ak,
that is public
so in 8
negotiation.
years, listen, let's get to it.
There was no love. There was no Joe Rogan in the Dave instance,
Right.
And that is a very, very,
Comedy
very
Central
big
never got
piece.
nobody to
There was
replace
no
Chappelle's
Joe
show
Rogan
to
coming to
replace that.
replace me. In that instance, Joe's instance is different because they would have put. Let's just say Spotify saw Joe's value. Joe's value was up.
They
Joe
saw
Rogan,
it
no,
and
no,
went and
listen.
spent $1 billion.
And Joe Rogan don't replace him.
The hell
Michelle
is
Obama
that?
don't come to replace him. They have to now come back to the table to Polly. When they got Joe Rogan, I
Same thing
remember the
Complex
day
did
they
when they
signed
brought
Joe
Star
Rogan.
there and then came back to me. When they brought Wayno there and then came back to me. It's the same fucking shit, Act. Listen, know what makes you view this different? Because you're looking at it in the company through the
You're looking at it from a
company's
corporate
lens.
perspective.
Like, yo, he blew up Spotify,
definitely
Spotify,
right.
blah, blah,
The
blah.
company's still
But
up.
if 8 years go by, let me talk. If 8 years go by and now Joe go get my $100 million from somewhere else, based on all the shit that I laid out beforehand,
Then you'll call him Dave.
you gonna say the same
And he
thing?
goes against $200 million. You'll call
You're
him.
gonna say the same thing?
That's true.
Okay, so this is the period where Dave disappeared then for you then.
This
This is what? I hear you.
Because I was trying to tell
the
him. I
period
said,
of dormancy.
Yeah, the
Yes,
period of
yes.
dormancy.
Could be.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
could be.
All right,
Could be
I'm
that.
not knocking that. I'm not knocking that.
could be
I'm just saying, I'm only talking about the equity and leverage that he had when he pulled the move at Netflix. And I keep having to use the
You talking
LeBron
about?
term.
Wait, I think you.
You're
I
talking
think
about
we're
him
talking
at
about
his
two
peak.
different things.
Yeah, we're
You're
not
talking about the
talking about
Netflix move where he said, "Yo,
Yes.
everybody don't stream Chappelle's
He's the
show."
biggest comedian
No,
in the
we
world,
talking about the
backed
Comedy
by-
Central
Yeah.
move, which led
that.
to Netflix.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was
That's where
also
the difference
HBO, I
is.
think, by the
No,
way.
his Comedy
There
Central
were two
move
different.
was the
one was
the
HBO, one was
equivalent to
Netflix.
Joe
The
move.
Comedy Central.
Yeah.
No,
And
we talking about when he was
younger than you.
on.
No. I know what you're talking
When he was
about. but-
on Netflix,
Yeah. No,
I know.
and issued the
HBO
warning
went-
to HBO.
Correct.
Right, correct.
what-
That's why I want to
that's what
straighten
I
out
mean.
because
Yes,
it's not
yes,
like they were
right.
in bed with the same company.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's important. That's very important.
You're right. You're
I'm
right.
just
You're
trying to
absolutely
say
right.
that that's not the power move. The power move was now.
No, the power move is
Power
walking
move
away
and walking
originally
away from $50
You're wrong.
million.
at the first,
You know
at
why?
the forefront.
Because that set the standard that you motherfuckers
Will
can't
not
play with me.
Exactly.
Money don't move me. I'm not a prostitute. Y'all can't play with me.
I might
Come
look
and
at this
talk
different.
right.
I'll bring it to music, right?
Okay.
I'll bring it to music. Say somehow, some miraculous way, Drake becomes a free agent. He turns down every type of re-up, this, that, and third. Right? He still remains to be Drake.
Sure.
He is the hottest artist that moves the needle that could still while doing this independently. Say, I don't know, let's say he was asking for some asinine either number or
Percentage.
he just wanted like his
equity in the
massive
company,
whatever the case,
whatever.
right?
I think he has renegotiated at some point. By the way,
No, he's done it many
He has.
times.
Like
Yeah,
10
yeah,
times.
If you guys don't know, he has.
Now,
You can tell.
I would look at it. It's about keeping your value. Like I'm not. The biggest move to me is when you kept your value to be able to get them to go back on their word.
Nobody can do that.
That's
man.
what Dave did.
LeBron?
That's what Dave did.
No.
not what Dave did.
They didn't go back on their
Dave-
word. They renegotiated the contract that made it good for
And
both
that's
of
not
us.
what he did. He didn't keep his value for those 8 years. And that's
Yeah,
the thing about
that's-
when you in
Hold
charge.
on.
Hold on. That's the thing about when you're in charge of value. Your value can go down. Like stocks. Tomorrow it can be up. He
And they
didn't
tried their
maintain
hardest
his
to drive
value.
his value down
Stay on your point.
because they
Stay on your point.
spun it.
But when he did pull the move, his value was at his peak. from what I hear about that deal,
No, the move. Well, in your story, our story, he pulled the move when he said no.
When he said no to
went
Comedy
away.
Central.
not
That's the
every-
move.
No.
That was-
That's the
That was
move.
That's the move.
I'm telling you, that's the move.
Cemented him into,
I can't say that's the move when I don't know if the move gonna work.
No, but
You
listen,
saw it
no,
work.
But we
no,
saw it
no,
work.
So that's why
Hold
it's
up.
working. That's
But,
why.
but
even if
that's
it's
the
the-
move.
that-
That's why it's
And that's
labeled
what
the
makes
move.
you like the
Hey,
company.
listen,
You
no, no,
gotta
no,
see
wait,
it
wait,
work
wait.
first.
Hold on. We all
Hold
talking
on.
to each other. Hold on.
I'm gonna
The
use
move is having the nuts to be able to say, I'm walking away.
So now when I come
That's
to the
move.
next table,
Whether it work
you
or not,
don't
I believe
fucking
in
play with
myself
me.
Hold
to
on.
walk away.
I'll give a very ridiculous example just because I think you're probably not too fond of this particular artist. But they tried to pull the move. In a nutshell, Lil Pump tried to pull the move.
I don't know enough about Lil
Yeah,
Pump.
I'm not familiar.
Lil
Yes.
Pump,
I'm not
Lil
honest,
Pump
don't know.
and his team, they basically told Warner, "Hey, we don't feel like Warner didn't want to renegotiate because they already had them in a contract." And they
Right.
said, "Listen, you signed this kid when he was 16. It wasn't ratified, whatever the case
That's kind
is."
of what's going on with Posty right now, right?
Right. And then so what they did is they took it to court and he got out the deal. Right?
Okay.
He got out the deal. Now here's the thing about getting out the deal. Getting out the deal, for you to eventually get what you want, the value must stay.
Correct.
His value did not stay.
Wayne. Can we say that it's kind of similar to Wayne?
But
No.
Wayne's independent right now.
it's Wayne.
That's
You know what I mean?
different.
Like,
He's got a back catalog. That's very
Like-
valuable.
Wait. Let me finish. So
And he's
now
Wayne.
for Wayne to go sign a new deal with a major, if that was his intent, his value is not where it once was.
It is. He's Wayne.
He's still Wayne.
Off name alone, he can go get 500 million. He can.
He could.
Or percentage based. Like he's Wayne. That's why Lil Pump is different. Lil Pump is a new act.
So
Yeah.
so why
Yeah,
did
that
he
was
do
a,
it?
that was a part. He
I
might not
don't-
want that.
I don't know that he
He
did.
might not
He
want.
sold his publishing for $100 million. If he could have went and got
He
$500
sold a
million,
third of his publishing, but that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
when
artists always sell publishing,
That's the
though.
thing. When we
Like, you know, they
200
sell
million
publishing
up,
for a
it's like,
time.
I'm not nitpicking that. You got your
Kanye
200 million. how'd you do
Kanye
it?
sold half of his publishing. You know, that's why he has to continue. That's why he can't
But tell
retire.
me about Lil Pump. I want to hear some more. So his value diminished, of course, because Warner was. See, I like this point because Warner was boosting it,
Yes.
and the same people that boost it can kill it.
Can kill it,
Yes.
You can't do that to Joe.
Or Dave.
Well,
Couldn't do it.
you can in a different way.
You can't.
No, they're not killing your value. They make your value a little bit less valuable.
They
if that
can't.
makes sense. When you expand the market.
That's impossible.
When you
No.
expand the market,
That's
when you
impossible.
add a Joe Rogan, you expand the market.
That's impossible.
Yeah, but you don't kill
Yeah, but
his
you don't
value.
diminish my value. Joe Rogan's Joe Rogan.
Right.
Well, no,
That
no,
don't
no,
kill
no,
your
no,
value.
no, no, no.
You diminish
It-
my value to you. To Spotify,
it
I'm not as
diminishes.
valuable.
It diminishes now.
Not in the
So
market.
before that happened, a Joe Budden to any company moves the needle.
He still does.
does.
You missing
No, it
that.
doesn't.
Hey, listen, wait. Let me
Not
ask you a
when,
question.
You're wrong.
not when there's a whale in the fucking sea.
They're
Let me ask
all
you a question.
whales.
Let me ask you a question. Wait.
They're all whales.
No, the whale is in that one sea.
Right. Joe Rogan's only on Spotify.
Joe Rogan's in that one sea. He's not an available well for the other people to even grab.
Well,
But
I'm
hear
talking
what
about
I'm saying.
Titanic. Spotify's Titanic. YouTube's Titanic. Apple's Titanic. SoundCloud's Titanic. Amazon's Titanic. Facebook is They all are Titanic. We talking about Spotify like they fucking Spotify because they lead the market and they're investing enough to try to dominate for the foreseeable future. But everybody is
Has enough
Titanic.
money to do what
Yeah,
they
got everybody got these billions.
Everybody's Titanic.
They can play.
Once the podcast market expanded, it's
Your
not.
value is less.
It's not Joe Rogan and no one else. There's a bunch of middle order people that to me and you, they're Titanic.
This demo.
Who?
Some of this demo.
Oh.
This demo is important.
Hey, speak for your fucking self,
Yo,
nigga. I don't view none of these niggas as
The demo
Titanic.
is important.
Yo, that's the reason why a podcast chart exists. Like put
Talk
like
about the demo. The demo is important.
if we're going 3 years back, if we're going 3 years back, and I'm just speaking realistic.
Rogan was still Rogan.
If
Rogan's
actually let's go
always been
4
Rogan.
years. If we're going 4 years back,
Rogan's bro. He shouldn't be talking about.
Yeah.
it's
He's
easy.
Rogan.
Joe, when you were on Spotify, there was a year that you were the number one podcast.
Stop.
You can't compete with these
on
other niggas.
Spotify.
Stop.
On Spotify.
Let me go
He
piss.
was never.
Ack is the cutest.
on
Where's
Spotify.
my guy? Yo?
He was never the number one podcast.
He was the number one podcast on Spotify.
Stop it.
There.
That's not true.
That's
I think
different.
Parks get it a little bit.
Ack is
You,
on-
you get what I mean?
Say you what?
All right, hold on. I think Parks. All right, so what I'm trying to say is this, right? Once the market expanded,
Get it.
it brought so many people who, by the way, are just marginally bigger creators than you.
Uh-huh.
You get me? That now your influence over swaying the market is like a shareholder.
It's diminished.
It's diminished.
It is.
That's the only point I was trying to say.
My issue with your point is where you said in your first sentence they're marginally bigger than you, and that is to be debated because you can't say they're marginally bigger than you. Watch this. Let me give you an example.
I can absolutely say.
Please let me ask a question.
Go ahead.
If you took Patreon off of Patreon and you threw it out into the world, is anybody gonna get the numbers that Joe's giving?
Okay, wait, repeat it.
Patreon is not counted in the numbers.
Okay.
Right? So I don't think, is it?
It's not. No.
If you took Patreon off of Patreon
So
and
all
you
the
threw
content,
it into the world
all the
on
content
every
open.
other platform, nobody's numbers would compare with Joe's numbers, and he would be at the upper echelon, especially in our demo.
No.
We talking about in our demo.
Okay. So we're talking about our
So his value
our
is
demo
back.
is this.
I know, but so you
But we're not
can't
talking about our demo in regards to
so you
podcast
can't
charts.
compare
Our
this
demo
to Rogan ever.
No. Hold on. But a company doesn't care about the demo; they care about the whole market.
They care about the numbers in the market. So now my numbers are going to go nuts because if you took all of this content off of Patreon,
And dumped
we
it
saw it
everywhere.
when
we did the
we
Black
saw
Ops
it when
shit.
we did the fucking month between Thanksgiving
You
and
read the
Christmas.
podcast charts.
Yeah.
So if you took
What
all of the
podcasts are
Patreon
above us
content,
that aren't Joe Rogan or major like CBS? or
the
something?
fucking killer docs and the,
There's a couple
all of them shit.
murder podcasts.
So the point I'm trying to tell y'all, the point I'm trying to tell y'all is that whatever metric y'all looking at,
Yeah.
is applicable if we're talking about within
The demo.
the demo.
We're not talking about that though.
I
but-
was.
Okay,
okay.
but if you are, all right, we could pull up the Apple Podcast chart. And we can see where everybody ranks.
Apple podcast chart is daily.
What do you mean? Why? It doesn't even matter. Why? Because we get to see the entire market.
Got you.
I'm only caring about the entire market.
So are we.
So
Not
even
me.
no,
Not me.
why would you?
See, that's y'all niggas talking that
Why
shit.
would you care about the entire
Yo,
market?
it is.
You have
Yo.
to care about the whole market
No,
if
you
you're
don't.
going to consider yourself LeBron.
Wait.
Because LeBron
Hey,
changes
you
the
wait,
market.
that kinda go against what you said
it's not true.
before we started
LeBron don't have to
recording,
look at
though.
the whole league. You think LeBron is looking at what the fuck
If
the
LeBron
whole...
wasn't the best in the fucking league, he's not. He doesn't
All right.
have the
So
power.
let me ask you
Wait,
this.
let me just say
Let me
this.
ask you this.
Wait, let me say this and then-
real quick.
Go
It's
ahead.
a one sentence. Do you ever think a 40-year-old black man could be the LeBron of the podcast world in America?
No,
Thank you. So
Let
why?
you-
So why are we having this conversation?
that's why.
But
I'm
let me add
telling
to
you.
that.
That don't mean he can't move the needle.
Oh, and wait. Don't
That's
say a
why-
word. I'm taking your mic.
That don't mean Kawhi
Take your
Leonard.
mic. I'm taking your mic.
Look, LeBron could
Wait.
be LeBron.
Ace, let me say this.
bugging.
My response to
Companies
you
move
and
for
all
Trae
this
Young.
podcast market shit is there are, and this is off the top of my head, maybe 5 people that 6 tops that move a needle. This is not me looking at numbers. This is not me looking at analytics. This is not me going. There are 6 people tops. People, humans, not companies, on their own, that when they come to your place of business, things change. I'm on the list. I don't need nobody to agree with that. I've seen it. No, I don't. Stop. I don't. Because when you're having these high-level conversations, they're asking you saying whatever, and they're asking you for paperwork to back it. I have data that backs this. There's not a long list of these people. I'm not looking at all these podcasts.
Yes and no.
We number 36 on the top 40 chart as an independent. I don't see nobody, and this is all across all genres.
Yeah.
Go ahead. All genres.
And that all genre thing
All
solidifies
genres.
it at that point.
I could give an
And there
example.
were no independents higher.
I could give an example with Twitch. There was a point. I had a contract with Twitch, and Twitch.
Do you not today?
I don't. Yes, I'm a free agent. The contract was specific. And by the way, going into this contract, I was very much in the know of what they were trying to accomplish and what I was going to accomplish. It was an exclusive contract. I'm going to tell you what they were
I'm
trying
dying
to
to
do.
know how you could not have a Twitch contract today.
Smart
The
man.
market. No. Well, actually, it's also because of the market. I'll tell you why.
Give it to me.
So, Twitch had 2 primary goals. We're too known as gaming. We want to get into culture, podcasts, other things. By the
Music, all
way,
that
Twitch has probably ever talked to you, Andrew Schultz, and other people
Talk
about
to everybody.
exactly right. I was already doing Twitch because I was gaming. I then made Twitch popular
For other
in they start seeing culture start to interact
You
with
opened
Twitch.
the space up.
And they wanted to give me incentive to do it. They say, hey, come meet with us. We're giving you a contract. Now, let me tell you this. when I first met with them, which was as I said, I'm very clear in terms of how shit went. I wasn't the biggest creator on Twitch, but I was helping them get into and access a demographic and also music, which they wanted to. Second thing.
Stop.
Hold on, no.
No,
Second
you
thing.
hold on.
right,
How
go
do you value that?
Well, the amount that I'm going to sign that contract for. Because it's not going to mean ownership.
That's where we differ.
But here's the thing. After they, you know what their goal is. After they use you to get to their goal, if you didn't feel properly compensated, they owe you nothing else.
True.
Because now
Agreed. True.
Now
Agreed.
so now on Twitch, they have producers, engineers, other rappers.
Everybody. Yeah.
Everybody's there.
I know.
Now, am I one of the biggest in that pool? Yes. But I'm not the only one. So now they look at me like, well, we'll take the chance on you leaving.
Right.
If you want to go do some shit.
But check it out.
Now, granted,
That's true.
could I go to Caffeine and start
just
making
gonna
this
say
thing
that.
and be like, hey, everybody we don't fuck with Twitch, come over here? Yes, but they feel like they used our deal
True.
to get more market share.
True.
And now, because of the market share they have,
You're expendable.
They have
at
more
a certain
people.
dollar. amount.
Absolutely.
To them.
True.
To them.
But to you, the
them.
value is look.
You're right.
Y'all wouldn't
Spotify
have that
deal.
if it's not for me.
Yeah, you're right. To
So
them.
now I can
But
go
if you-
here
if you
and
didn't-
know I
if you
did it
didn't-
there. I could
okay,
do it here.
but I knew that
I could
before.
do it here.
I knew that before.
It depends on where you
I
are
had
in your life.
conversations with them
It depends
every
on where
month
you are in your
where
life.
they knew every time when people were clowning me, what the fuck is a Twitch? They loved it. Like, oh shit, this is a new demographic. It's not gamers.
Right,
Now, here's the thing.
I think I hear what you're saying.
If it's not in your
You're right
contract
if you
before,
never-
they owe you nothing.
You're
Correct.
right if
I
you
agree with
never,
that.
but
I
you're
agree with
right.
that.
Your
You are
thinking
true.
is
That's
right,
right.
if you never go do it again. Your thinking is all the way wrong if you go on and keep doing it.
Yeah,
No,
if you
yeah,
go somewhere
his
else and
thinking-
keep
look,
doing
look,
that shit, it's
listen.
like, yo, this is
Yeah,
my
to
value.
Joe-
Wherever I go,
to
I
Joe's
bring
point,
that.
Yo, wherever you were in your life, that matters because that's context. So if Twitch offers you $40 million and you needed the money, you take the $40 million. You don't give a fuck about what you're
Give it
gonna
up.
do for them.
Nothing.
You might make them $1 billion, but
But you
at that
need your
place
40,
in
yeah.
your life,
needed that.
you needed your 40. Now, if you was already 100 up, you'll tell them, suck your dick, I want an equity deal because I know what my presence is gonna do for y'all. You in a different bargaining place.
And
You're
them telling,
describing Joe Budden at Spotify.
No, I'm not.
That's just you are.
No, I'm
that's
not.
great.
No, you are.
No, I'm not.
That's
You're
great.
describing Joe Budden initially at Spotify because they wanted to see.
In the very beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're describing him. Now, you know what ended up happening? What changed in the relationship? The change in the relationship was that
More creators start coming to Spotify.
they gained market share.
And you expendable.
And
now.
then now they
ain't giving
started
you
looking
shit.
at
Fuck
you
outta
like
here.
the terms of engagements are a little bit different.
That's how y'all look. That's your version. That's not my version.
No, whoa.
That's not what happened. That's not what
you
happened at
tell
all.
me.
That's not what
tell
happened.
me.
No, you have to go spend that $1 billion because of what Joe was saying at that table when we were in that room. That's why you have to go do that. That's a decision y'all have to live with.
They didn't spend it to
that's a
replace you. They
decision-
spent it to invest.
Oh my God, you're not listening.
They both could be in the same.
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
It could both be the same. Because in leaving him, we gotta
Spotify
invest
right
in other
now
content.
is in hot shit for spending $1 billion in X amount of time and having
getting
nothing
shit
to
for
show
it.
for
And
it.
That's true. We
As
just read
what
that.
do you keep saying, yo?
That is true.
I don't think
That
that's
is
the
true.
case.
It's, I know you don't, but it is.
It is.
It might not be.
I
the
know
case,
you don't.
And you looking at
But
it.
it
from
is. I'm talking
cumulative
about top level sweet shit. So everybody don't know. Them niggas is in hot water. When you go spend, let me tell you.
If you look
Anyway,
at-
this is
if you look
anywhere
at
in the world.
quarterly
Hold up.
reports about them, the time they're making money is they're making way.
We're never gonna look at quarterly reports. Y'all
That's
just
what-
bought data companies. Stop this.
Hold on. That's
We're
what
getting
all-
reports
that's what-
from them
Well,
about them.
they have to give the shareholders
No, they
a
gotta do the
quarterly
SEC
report.
report.
That's exactly
You
what.
gotta give SEC
Yeah,
report.
that's exactly
that's
why
what
the
I'm
stock prices.
He's
So
right.
they're telling you,
He's right.
hey, listen, we made this amount of billion in ad dollars from the podcast. Keep in mind, we own the majority of these podcasts. We don't own the music. We're licensing it, and we're getting this teeny beeny bit of the pie. So now, hey, we still believe that if we keep spending on podcasts, that because we own it and also the advertising business that we've built, right, by acquiring some of the greatest salespeople,
still
the greatest
keeping us
sales
in the
force,
green.
it's and also in 5 years is going to be there.
me
Now,
ask you
again,
this.
that's a gamble that you could be like,
Whoa,
I don't believe it.
you're right.
But that's what
He's
is
right. But now let me
being
ask you this. Now let me ask you this. You're right. But even though you're still turning a profit every quarter, that don't mean that you didn't strike out on a bunch of your shit and you just got a well, i.e. Rogan, keeping you afloat.
Might be.
You might have signed 9
That's
new.
if you subscribe.
Hold up,
to
Joe.
that, they're
Hold up. No, I'm
afloat.
gonna stay with him. Yo, let's say you signed 20 new acts, and only 2 or 3 of them are yielding you results. The other 17 might have failed, but you might be staying afloat by the 3. That still don't mean you did great business. Because your quarterly numbers are still coming back profitable, that don't mean you did good business.
Hold on. I'll say it like this. And a very wise man who also tried to give me the start a record label told me this. He said, in the music business, this is success. You sign 10 artists and you hope one becomes successful because he pays for the rest.
He'll pay the rent.
And you just can't sign 10 to 10. Like, no one does that.
Fact.
And again, if you're in the business of acquiring talent and acquiring shows, just like you were just in the business of having a podcast network, you're hoping to have a caller daddy, like how Barstools have,
True.
to like the ad dollars that she was bringing over there was paying for a lot of other shit
I
that
believe
nobody
it.
knew about.
she's her.
So it's always
her.
going to be a sum of averages type of thing.
But
So-
that's not an average. When you start talking about 2 bangers up here and 17 other failed shows, those 2 people keeping the lights on in the building, the other motherfuckers have
Are
still
you in the
not.
red?
No.
Yeah, it depends on what they spend
That
on the
still
other
don't mean you
shows.
did, and that's where you look and you think it
hold
from a
up.
corporate perspective.
Let me ask-
You're not in the red. That don't still mean you didn't do good business.
How do you look
just
at
because
call?
we in the green?
How do you look at Call Her Daddy after they blew it up at Barstool?
How do I look at the podcast? How I look at Barstools?
Call Her Daddy. Blew it up at Barstool.
I think they made the right move.
I hate you.
You think who made
No,
the
I'm
right
serious.
move?
I hate this.
Call Her
nigga.
Daddy.
I'm done with
Of course
this
they
nigga.
made the right
I'm
move.
not
So what's the
talking-
difference between them
I'm
and
not,
them?
I'm not talking to him no more.
Of course they made the
I'm
right
not talking to him no more.
Wait. I can explain.
No, come
I
on.
think they made. No,
Come
I
over
think
here
they
and
made.
get your Takashi gripe into.
No, listen.
No. Wait,
This is-
what do you
and
mean?
this
What's
is-
the difference?
Like from what he did at Spotify or any of these other companies,
He
what
just
they
didn't
did
get the
at
money
Barstool.
yet.
I don't think his
Bro,
his Spotify deal was bad.
I'm gonna be honest. I think y'all are delusional if y'all don't understand. Listen, and I'm at Spotify, and I understand this. They want to cover certain demographics. Getting Call Her Daddy, first of all, the ad dollars that she was gonna bring in,
Yeah.
warranted the money that she was
Sure.
Alexandra's gonna get.
I'm with you.
Also, they needed to get that demo of white women.
Of course.
Same with Joe Rogan. Is demos they're playing.
True.
Correct.
All I'm
So
just
why
trying
when
to
I
say,
said that, you discounted it?
No, wait, hold on.
I was only talking about
You
their-
said what's the difference between them? What's the difference between them and Joe? Is that there is no alternative to that.
For her or for Joe?
For Spotify, I think so.
Well, for both. Here's the thing. Okay, first of all,
Barstool has to go get an alternative. Business still has to run.
No, he's
No,
saying
but-
you
but-
didn't have an alternative when you turned the Spotify deal down?
no.
Is that what you're saying?
First of all, and this is the thing about every company, they are already privy to your audience. All they need to get is someone else within the sphere.
True. Now you tell
Right?
me. Yes.
No,
Now-
not necessarily.
No. Yeah, I'm following him. I'm about to crack you though.
So, it's just
What if they're not good in the sphere?
They can't do what he does. And I'm not even on no dick riding shit. It ain't no black demo podcast that could do what Joe does.
So it's not, again, y'all are thinking about like
Quality
maybe
as
quality or
opposed to demo?
likability, whatever. They're thinking about how many people. I could tell you. Okay, so you want me to be very transparent?
Sure.
I think I know where you're going.
One of the reasons my deal went forward, they're like, "Yo,
We need to replace some of these young black demo.
no, if you," they knew they analyze so much stuff before you even getting a deal with them.
No doubt.
They
That's
know
true.
I have such a young audience. They say if you could get some of these fucking Playboy Cardi and Lil Uzi fans to start listening to a podcast,
We win. We tap
win.
another demo.
Right.
that's all they're doing.
True.
Stop right there.
No question.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
Stop right there. How you value that and how they value that may be different, right?
Joe,
Stop. Answer my question.
Yeah, no, you're right. But Joe,
Okay.
you would have showed when you say Call Her Daddy,
Uh-huh.
we would have to see the numbers deflate. Like if Rogan leaves, you will see that number come down.
No question.
That is only how they see the value. They don't care about the.
sure.
That's true.
Is
He's right.
corporate.
He's
It's
1,000%
corporation.
accurate.
I completely
You
get
get me?
that.
So
he's accurate.
So
they're
what you
looking at
saying
it-
is with Joe leaving, they didn't see the numbers come down.
Of course they didn't.
They spent
So that's
$1
what-
billion.
You're not going to see the numbers come
They
down.
spent $1
No, I'm saying that's
billion.
what he
Let me
said.
ask
So
you
he
a
don't.
question.
What the fuck is he
I want to ask y'all
saying?
too, because y'all don't think the girl from Call Me Daddy should have taken the money?
No, I asked him about the call her daddy shit because exactly what happened with me is what happened with them at Barstool.
Okay.
They blew it up
Okay.
publicly,
True.
Yeah.
nasty, to the point where you probably didn't think they wanted to go back to Barstool. They said horrible things about Dave. It just wasn't cracking.
Go ahead.
And then they
Not
found.
accurate.
Give it to me then.
The girl,
one girl, right?
The one girl who's on who's basically out in the situation.
Outside looking in.
The other girl basically said, "Hey, I was down to play ball. I was down to sign a contract on the rooftop. I was down to play ball." The other girl was like, "No, it's a stick up."
He's right.
The stick up person is nowhere to be seen.
nowhere to be
the
found.
girl who are playing
$60
ball.
million richer.
I didn't know.
He's right.
It's not right. It's a blow up. I don't care how to blow
No,
up.
it
It's a
matters.
blow up.
It matters because you separate yourself from the negative entity. I'm standing on this side. I'm cooperative, guys.
But I'm not talking
still
ball.
here, guys.
I play ball.
I'm still here, guys.
I play ball.
I'm the good one. That's
right
bad
here.
cop. I'm good cop. Give me some bread.
Yo, stop. It's the same.
Sophia's
It's the-
doing
wait,
no
let me
jumper
talk,
interviews.
Let me talk.
The
It's
other
same-
chick is on
let
private
me
jets
talk.
with a $60 million.
Well, let me
I'm
talk.
sorry.
It's
Like
the-
who's winning?
She's jumping.
But let
The
me-
other girl's doing no jumper. I'm jumping out of
Okay,
parachutes.
but one girl reaped the benefits the way that you did at Complex from an implosion.
True.
I'm not saying that's not true.
The fact remains that the hit show imploded from Barstool, and they both had things to say toward Dave. One said, "Hey, I'm not doing shit." The one that ended up on the bad side, she had shit to say. It didn't work out. The one that was left with the leverage,
She
stop.
went by the other one's back and was cool
Stop.
with Dave.
The one
She
that
just-
was left
Yeah.
with the leverage was left to
somebody
play
up.
ball.
Stuck somebody up.
And played ball, and it wasn't in the most favorable way to Dave at all. Dave was doing interviews and all that shit when that Spotify deal happened. He was tight in the face. Know why? My hit show imploded on Barstool, and they found, or she found, one person that would give her 10x to whatever the number said she would bring back in. No, she couldn't go get that number from all over the field. It wasn't a whole bunch of markets. She found one person that
It might have
said,
been.
Who?
she found Spotify to say,
Spotify.
we need this demo at this time to go with what we doing, and
Indeed.
kaboom.
Indeed.
I don't see why. You only see that as different because you have finality. When you get finality, there's nothing to imagine. Hey, Dave did this 10 years ago, but now he has 300 mil. It worked. Hey, Rogan told Fear Factor such and such and such. 20 years later, such and such is happening. Call her daddy, same thing. Without that finality, it looks like, oh shit,
In the
it's
middle of the
chaos.
storm, you
Oh,
go
what he
crazy.
doing here? I don't, wait, stop. I never view it that way.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle looked crazy
I don't
when
view it that
he
way.
turned down 50 mil.
But I keep
for
telling you,
20
not
years.
everybody. That's why I brought up a little pump. Because y'all are acting like the move is solidified when you walk away.
Nobody said
It
that.
is-
No,
No, not
No,
solidified.
it's-
We just saying
yo,
that's
it's
the
like
move.
a magic trick.
It don't have to work.
It's
It
like
don't have to
nigga,
work.
what's
Act
going
the
on?
prestige,
Yo,
the prestige.
You could fail.
Yo, the only part that people care about is when it's not about
prestige.
making a fucking rabbit disappear. It's when you make it reappear.
Right.
So it's like until you get to that finality that you're talking about, it's like okay, we can't necessarily use some of the people who have successfully done it because I could name up people who tried to and failed.
Yeah, but that's the game. That's just business.
Being able to bet on yourself
That's
still
business.
is the move.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, no, I'm not saying
That's the move. That's the move in its own.
I
That's
bet
the
on
only
me.
move.
I'm all the way confident in me. I got a plan. My plan's gonna work with the people that want to work with me. The people that don't want to work with me, I'm fortunate enough to not want to work with them. Like, there's no blurriness in where I'm going and
Yeah,
how
but
I'm
Joe,
going about it.
this is why like your previous with you. This is why I got him. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I could tell the look in their face was like, let's take the fucking deal. I don't care what they were saying. Like they were just talking. But they had this look in their face. It was just like, and then I look at you guys though, because you guys are gonna be in the same predicament when Joe's. Joe's gonna do a Joe, and there's gonna be some deal because you guys are good, right? And it's gonna be a deal that Joe is gonna start to Joe with, and then You guys have different lives.
Let me tell you
different
this, though.
thoughts.
Even in that, what you just said, you can't critique those gentlemen for wanting to take the deal based off.
They have an option. That's what I'm saying.
Based off where they may have been in their personal lives.
Yeah.
You now are in a space. Thank God.
I got something good
Let
for
me
you.
finish. Thank God you're in a space that you can now go to the table and say, "Yo, no, I don't want that."
Fuck y'all,
deal."
I'm not taking that.
Yes, look, that's entertainable, but we got to fix some of these numbers. Those gentlemen, I don't know what their finances may or may not have been at that particular moment, but if somebody throws those numbers to you, you are now only looking at the numbers. Joe's looking at it from a different perspective because Joe wasn't talent on the show. If somebody came and told Joe right now, right, yo, this is on the table, and me and Ice now could make 10x what we currently make. That might be beneficial to me and Ice. It might not be beneficial to Joe. So would me and Ice want Joe selfishly to take that deal? Maybe.
Yes.
But you can't say that we would be wrong in wanting to take that deal to fix our families and our situations. We're not wrong necessarily because we don't share Joe's vision, or those guys, I don't know if they shared Joe's vision. Let me take that back. But they might not have shared Joe's vision, and they was looking at it like an immediate check so that I can do X, Y, and Z. They might not want to be on a network with Joe and all this other shit. Nigga, today, if Joe got a deal that gave me 10x what I currently get paid, I'm a real estate investor. I'm going to take that money and I'm going to make it do what it do. So selfishly, I'm going to say, yeah, nigga, give me all the expendable cash that I can get today because I'm going to invest it over here. Joe's dream is not to invest in real estate. Joe's dream is to build a network. So we got different personal goals.
You are so right.
Okay.
And I think this is where it explains the exact reason why I got at the two dudes who used to be with you. Because do you remember the situation that I remember I was heavily criticized? And just like how you're saying, you don't know people's situation because you bet on you.
Always.
When Joe was going to revolt, it was presented like, hey, you could go along or you could stay at Complex. And I said, I'm staying at Complex. And the same two dudes who was so willing to like tell you like, yo, who I could see the pain in their face while they were talking about
his
it.
microphone to get his resentments off and shit on this. That's what he does, yo.
right.
He just
you so fucking
has
right.
something to say about him.
You
like
so
this,
fucking
yo.
right. Oh, man.
You like
Jesus
wrestling
Christ.
too, don't you?
This nigga's crazy,
No,
man.
I just like how he was describing it because he was describing my entire initial gripe with those guys. Because you're right.
You stayed on spot. You stayed on Complex because it served your interest.
And at that point, this is why like I've always loved that situation, how it played out in hindsight. They couldn't understand the decision of me not blindly following Joe. But I was trying to bet on myself, just like Joe always bets on himself.
I wasn't mad at you.
No, I know you weren't mad. But their comments were, this guy's an idiot. What is he, like?
And I don't remember them saying that, but I'm sure
But
you
even-
remember.
No. They
whoa.
questioned my business acumen.
Even if they did, though, they were understanding from their level of understanding at that juncture.
And that's why I'm glad they got.
Now-
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, my nigga?
Are y'all cool with these guys? No, nobody was talking about it. Joe, I heard you went on a date. Let's get into some shit.
Wait, let's take a break. We talking off mic. We talking about things that this podcast doesn't normally discuss, but Ak is here, so
Come on, man.
We'll
bring the mess in, bro.
We'll talk about you like mess. Yo, you know what I like about you?
What?
I love you, so I like a lot about you.
I'm open.
But you're like me. Not really. You take it further.
No, I'm like you. Like
you're like
years
you
ago.
live and die
Yeah.
on the name of content. Yo, if it's content,
He does.
It's content. What we doing? I'm beefing with rappers, radio personalities. What? It's a girl here. Hey, it's podcasters. What we doing? It's gang culture. It's drill. Whatever we doing when the camera's on. Like you fucking brought that up as a diss to me when we was doing comedy. You do the same shit. You do the same thing. Like in the name of content. You probably got a little bit of that off the Joe tree too.
I mean, I think I'm a little bit more thoughtful.
Maybe.
Probably now.
No. I
Probably
think I'm
now.
always
Maybe.
more. Like, listen, sir, I'm someone who my entire life, like, this is the only thing. I've had this conversation. I had this conversation with Adam. You know, he's doing his porn thing and everything. So I've had this conversation, but like the only thing that makes
You like all the niggas. You like all the niggas too. Like
Bro,
you fuck with
listen,
the niggas.
The
Keep his
only thing
relationships
that
open.
makes me
No, he's
happy
great. He's good at that.
is content is this world that I'm in that happens to be work.
Yo, where'd you
Which
grow
I grew up in Jamaica, moved over here to Hackensack, New Jersey, and been in Jersey ever since, really. Kicked it off from college.
Some niggas would look at you and say, when you have these blow ups with media personalities and really successful rappers, that you're doing the same thing that Joe does with the companies. But you don't view that way. Why?
It's different.
It's very different.
Way different. You want me to give you the reason
We
why?
all said it
Yeah,
in unison.
yeah.
It made my day when my name was consistently in headlines with Meg Thee Stallion, despite not too happy by the situation because she attacked me.
See, and that's
But
why
still,
you're different from me, yo. Your name was mentioned in the court case. The judge thought that you got, well, her team was able to go in there and say, or make the case, that Ak knows something. Where does he know it from? And it affected some things. I couldn't do that.
Meg snitched on me. I'm serious.
That's the game, man.
She wrote a whole declaration
That's
that
called
got
the game.
submitted by the DA in court that brought someone who's not charged into conversation in a criminal case. I'm not charged. Ain't that snitching?
That's the game,
No.
Ak.
What you did was potential.
That's the game.
Let me just give you
Go ahead.
what you did by publicly outing what you outed almost made it seem as if somebody had somebody inside the court proceeding feeding information outside.
And even if that's false,
And even if that was
I
true,
can make the
you wasn't-
case
yes,
for that,
then that potentially
then
would
we
go
hearing
wrong.
that.
No, no, no.
And that's where you just go
Yes.
balls to the wall, and Joe will not.
What I just said didn't negate what you just said.
True.
She could still do what she did, even if what you just said is true. And suppose it was.
But your shit gave her validity though. Because she
You
can
allowed
say
her to
now,
make the argument.
Yeah, she's saying, yo, there's some outside forces at play here that I am not in control of, nor is the court in control of.
I'm with you. I don't think she's right.
Yeah,
But she was able
she was
to
able
make
to do
the
that.
case.
You know how
Because-
niggas get hung grand juries? When they could prove that the jury has been compromised by
influence,
outside
yeah,
source,
outside
a
influence.
hung jury could come from that. I'm just
Yeah.
giving you an example. You get what I'm saying?
I get you on that.
And
It was a
sorry.
way you could have did that without necessarily compromising the case. You could have stayed on Meg ass. I'm never mad. You know where we come from. We get on their ass. I pieced it up though with my people, but
Well, here's the problem, and this is what I hate about the narrative about that. And by the way, we didn't get off.
When me and
we're
Ak-
coming back to that. We're coming back. Yo, let me just say
when me
this.
and Ak went into work in the morning and decided, and we agreed on her artist and some fuck shit, it was up for them.
Yo, no, I'm glad.
It
you
was
just said
up for
that.
them.
I'm glad you just said that because this ties that directly in. And Joe, we have just different. They always say there's many different ways to skin a cow. I don't know if that's a Jamaican saying. Maybe it is.
No, it's
No,
not.
no, no.
Jamaican,
That's over here
man.
too.
It's not Jamaican.
We got it.
Relax, nigga. Anyway, the point is this. Me and Joe had very similar information about one particular topic that happened to be really groundbreaking, at least at the time. Motorsport, what
Don't
happened.
get me in trouble. I pieced it up with everybody.
Okay, but I never knew how you got your information. By the way, when you disseminated that information, it was so protective and seemed so speculative that it didn't seem like you really had a source.
Of course.
Now, here's the thing.
That's Joe's bad.
Good journalism.
Yeah.
That's great journalism. That's great journalism.
Yeah.
That is great journalism. You know why? Because the source is going to keep feeding you information because you didn't out them.
No. I never had a source.
Yeah, but if the
Source.
source,
No, you
but,
didn't.
but-
You
make it clear that you're
If you
at
make it clear that there's a source, the source might feel like, oh shit,
No,
I gotta chill
and that
out
makes
now.
it, you would
That
never know
makes
who his
it
source
clear.
was.
Huh?
You would never know who his source was in that.
I'm not saying, but the source knows who the source.
You'll
they
never
are.
know who my source was.
So they'll be like, I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
I've never outed a source ever.
No, what I'm saying is, if you make it clear,
It's just not
like
true.
you said, the way he presents the information, it's
It almost
speculative.
looks 50-50.
It's like
No.
you're making it up. But look, just hear me out. If you put something out that is kind of clear, it came from a source. The source themselves gonna be like, oh, nah, I gotta chill.
It's definitive.
Half of the time, the source gives me the information with the reasonable expectation that I'm going to disseminate it without mentioning them.
Of course.
I'm sure.
Hey, guess what, buddy?
By the way-
whoever that source was in the court case, it could only been them and maybe a few other sources. So it made it hot for them when real life court
Hey.
case shit came out.
I'm gonna stick to what
But you that nigga, man.
I'm
Do
gonna
what you
stick
want.
to. I'm gonna stick to my initial statement. I got it from Rock Nation, and
See, but even that, and that's why you good. See, and that's why you different
I did.
from me. No one will ever know if that's true. That's why you are the man.
am I? No, I'm not.
You know you the man. Don't do that. I hear you every day. Every day, because I watch you. You know I watch you. I watch all you niggas. Every day I hear you go on YouTube and say, hey, I used to look up to you media niggas,
Oh yeah, I got to.
and now you all are my fucking sons.
Not all.
Every one of you. Well, when you say that, I know that you're not talking to all, but in the theatrics of it, you don't exclude anybody. You have to say, all you niggas now, you know what time it is. You artists, your labels is coming to me. You need me. Like you you go now. I like that too.
I'm definitely
As he should,
because
no?
I'm in a independent lane.
Maybe not. I don't know.
feel like
I say you should.
have to be on a get down and lay down type of
Like when Act talk, I never feel like he's talking to me or Charlamagne. Like so,
never.
you just exclude that.
No, I'm talking about the part about like, yeah, all you niggas now, y'all labels is coming to me. Like I told you before when we had the conversation about Act, a lot of people hate this nigga. I said I like what he stand for
A lot of people
because of the
hate
fact
Akademiks
that
is true.
a lot of niggas
me
hate
ask you
Act
this.
because he did not go through what they
you
went through to get
oh
where
no,
he
this
at.
thing is
Yes, the cup. So hold the cup.
Yo, let me ask you a question.
Hold the cup. It's not him. Hold the cup.
Every time I've seen you go at somebody, right?
Yeah.
Most times, you bring up the fact that, nigga, I was the nigga that y'all was clowning.
yes.
So
Glad you
it
mentioned
almost seems, and everybody get motivation from somewhere. It almost seems is that really be your source of information.
No.
That how old are you?
30.
That when you 45, you gonna be like, nigga, when I was 20 years old, y'all was clowning me. Now you work for me.
That's motivation.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
course, yeah.
I think that's your that's
Is
your
it for
own.
you?
He don't hide that. No, not for me.
Stop it.
Not for me.
I think it's a
They
little
used
bit
to
for
say
you, too.
everything you were
Teen,
doing. They used
Teen.
to
It's a
say,
little bit for you,
"Why are
too.
you doing it? Why are you doing radio?" You used to be on motherfucking Hot. When I was
I
a
don't
kid
think
going to
that's-
school,
I think
you
before
were
it
in Hot
was.
97. Now everybody does podcasts. You were fucking right when you were initially saying you were right. You just said the complex story. At the times when
I'll
you were
never
right,
get the credit when I'm supposed to get it, but
you got to start Soldier Boy.
but that's
No, I think the
I don't-
space you're in now,
Soldier
it don't
Boy
motivate you
he
as
should
much.
do that. I shouldn't do it. Yo, Soldier Boy runs around saying I'm the first nigga on YouTube. I never jump in and say, yo, no, you wasn't.
You were on before Soldier.
Yes, I was.
Out your mind.
Are you stupid?
Fucking.
Soldier Boy's a child. How old is Soldier Boy?
Yo,
Stop,
YouTube
Dak.
started like 2005. He was there like 2005.
We was there.
Yeah, we was
Joe
definitely
was there before Soldier Boy Act. That's a fact. You don't have to take it from me. You could look it up. Joe's there before Soldier Boy.
Andre Cortez Way was there before you, brother.
Excuse me?
That's his name.
What'd you say?
He was there
Soldier
before
Boy
you.
was not on YouTube before me. But it don't matter because that's kind of leading to my point. Like, some people don't do these things for the credit or to shit on the people that, like, but you and some people like you that have that, y'all keep the chip on your shoulder.
is on
I got the chip. That's why I identify with you. That's one of the reasons why I love you because you remind me of me. It's a different time now. I say this all the time. You remind me of me when I came in.
No, you had it.
I
Joe.
came in as the internet guy among street niggas.
You had
Ack
it.
is the internet guy, and now the streets are on the internet.
Same chip, different shoulder.
It's the same
Not
shit
just that,
to me.
your chip was different, I think, than X. I think your chip was, y'all can rap better than all you niggas.
And nobody cared about skill.
If
at
you
that
line
point.
up 99 rapper and 100 rappers, I can rap better than 98 of you niggas without question. And I think you weren't getting the
But listen to me.
praise that you wanted
what-
as a rapper
what
and you
you're
found
saying,
it elsewhere.
What you're saying was always my reply. You know, you reply with your strong suit. You lead with whatever you are strong in.
Yeah.
That was always my reply to the original sentence. And in hip hop, the original sentence is, what's the conversation when you come in the room? When you went to the new school, what's the conversation when you sat in class? What are we saying here? And that was, who is this Jersey nigga that why
Chip-
is
Chip
he
already. That's
why
my
the
Chip.
fuck is this good? What did he do? What streets was he in? What work did he put in? Who did he? That's what I came into. When I look at Act, that's what he comes into. So he replies with my strong suit.
Yeah.
Yo, I built this from
I
the
was-
ground
I
up.
was the
You
nerd
niggas
nigga
can't
that y'all was
outwork
cracking
me.
on, and now
Hey,
what?
I ain't got to
Yeah.
know how to DJ. Whatever you niggas say, I'm here. I run this shit. That's what it is. My reply was, wait a second. I rap better than all you niggas. Why y'all talking to me? So I identify in that way.
Time has been my greatest asset, where it's only proves me right. And even when I go at artists these days, like me and Blueface got into it a little bit, and I told him, I said, I'll talk to you in a year.
That was the first time you confused me. I don't be confused by you a lot. I'm confused at how you could do that with Blueface and be so close to Whack.
How could Wack be with 6ix9ine and be so close to Blueface and the game?
That's not the same correlation to me.
Wack clearly could compartmentalize his relationships. He manages and signs Blueface, signs him.
It's work. Got it.
Actually, we've seen on the internet when there was a situation at the house. Apparently, Blueface's house is in Wack's name.
But you're affecting my business now,
But hear what I'm saying.
and you're my man.
Blueface just said, "Yo, why are we consumed with this guy who's a snitch?"
That's what he said.
I hit Whack Thursday night. I said 6ix9ine is coming to New York. He wants to do the interview. You're gonna be there. It's part 2. Whack says I'm booking my flight. He's doing business with 6ix9ine. He's booking shows. They have a relationship.
I know he's doing business with.
You would imagine it's a conflict of interest because he's also signed in Blueface.
I'm doing business with Blueface. Got it.
So if he could compartmentalize, he also looks at it. By the way,
but he's not doing business with you. But yes, he is. I take it back. Never mind.
no, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He is indirectly.
He is. Yeah, he is.
Well,
He'll say it.
I was gonna tell you,
We know what time it is.
it's a little bit complicated, but because I don't believe Whack is in defense of how Blueface has acted and moved with the quote unquote the artist that he has, which is the girl who like wiped her name in blood or whatever. And I think for that, Whack just kind of detaches a little bit from that situation. And the reason why me and him got into it was because of that situation. So he's just like, hey, listen, yo, I try to tell this motherfucker, I'm not about to.
You want to talk about that little podcast, Mount Rushmore, you niggas went and put together?
I wouldn't say it's Mount Rushmore at all.
Oh, okay. Then put that in the caption.
I mean, it's gonna be one of the most viral podcasts.
See,
of the
you
year.
little clout chasing niggas, man. I get mad at you niggas sometimes when I watch y'all from home. Don't do
That's
that
great
again.
content.
I know, and that's why I don't get mad.
It's entertaining.
Because I know the content.
Who was your 5?
It's no different than
I know,
Elliot's.
I know the content.
What was
game.
your
I know the
same shit?
content.
My 5
game,
what?
yo.
That's when you was on Gilly show.
No, we're talking about
You did another Mount Rushmore.
no.
Him
We
and
just did a
Whack
pod.
and fucking Adam
Me,
and
6ix9ine,
Gilly.
Whack, and Hassan Campbell, and got to say about like 40 goons. Very terrifying guys.
Yo, can I ask you a question? Are they?
Terrifying.
Were they terrifying? Oh
Terrifying.
no! Now we're potting.
They all had fucking masks on and shit like that.
That's not
Watch
terrifying.
my
to me.
demeanor as I say
Somebody having
certain
a mask on is not terrifying to me.
Okay, well you're
40
you're-
street niggas, and you not a street
40
nigga.
street niggas
with masks
in
on
in
in a
a
certain
place that I
environment.
probably spent about.
I'm not skipping over this.
I've
'Cause
spent
this
about
is-
like $700,000 building and have a lot of equipment in, right? And all these dudes are just mobbed up. They're all smoking weed. It's just there's a lot going on. And to keep it real, the people who I had to like keep the situation. First, I didn't know he was going to show up with 40 people. Like
That's
that was
always a
very
surprise.
surprising to me.
Like, oh shit, I didn't expect this.
40 people?
Yo, you're such a content gold mine. Yo, we're gonna be here for.
Look at that guy right next to me. Look,
Yeah, nah.
Act come
Parks.
from different
You're not going to be
places
a
in
little bit
hip-hop.
spooked.
Who came with 40 people?
6ix9ine, 40 street niggas.
But this is.
They're from some of the worst hoods in Brooklyn.
But that's your people, though, right?
I don't know these street dudes. I don't
You know 6ix9ine.
You know
I know
6ix9ine.
6ix9ine.
Stop, yo.
What?
Let me investigate this a little bit.
Oh man,
Stop, yo. Honestly,
get your DJ Vlad on. Come on.
because you're telling me, Act. You know that's your man. You know I don't fuck with him. Don't try to trigger me here. I will never resemble DJ Black. But listen to this.
Me, you, and DJ Vlad are gonna do a podcast together. It's gonna bring it. Yo, by the way, you know that's
would
my thing
never
now,
do
right?
that.
My thing now is
They're
to
trying to
think of
break the
the oddest people to pair up and do. Yo,
That Joe fucked up.
I've thought
knows
about
I'm
so
not
many
good with
people that I dislike. And
Yo,
I'm
when
like,
we
yo,
worked together, one of the first months, he was like, "Hey, man, Vlad told me that you guys had an issue, and he works here. He said
Hold
he
on.
apologizes.
Yo, hold on.
he
Yo,
said he
but
wants
Joe-
to get with you."
But Joe, will you be honest and admit? Am I not like I'm the guy who let's just fill the room with the people to get the entertaining content. I'll
I would do that too, but I don't fuck with these niggas.
Yo, let me ask you this though.
I'm a human.
You know what though? But I get why he would do that though.
I'm not mad at him
No,
doing
no, I
it, but
understand why
everybody
he would
can't
do
do it.
that.
That's
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of his
no,
gift.
no, no, true.
That's part of his gift.
No, and just everybody was raised differently. Everybody was raised differently. Everybody got different.
No, I would
ethics or
never.
morals,
I would never
whatever the
walk
case
in that
may be.
room. See, but that's why. Let's investigate this for a minute.
would
First,
you?
and this is respectfully to these gentlemen. I don't know them, but neither do you.
I know you're right.
So I'm not putting myself
Yet
in a
you're-
potentially funny situation
Yet
for content.
you're sitting here stamping these men.
Who?
You, as
Anybody who wears a mask like in the bright of day on camera, I'm just gonna assume you're doing.
see,
I don't care.
and that's where. And
Like,
that-
I don't have to be the
And that's
goon.
where we differ. Let me tell you how this organization is run. Nobody could stand in here with a mask
At all.
You can't stand in front of me with a mask on.
Really?
Hell.
You cannot stand in this
You're not
room
coming
with a
in here.
mask on.
Yo, my man, take that off.
Well,
you have to.
And you're not walking in here with
I'm
40
not saying
niggas.
not to have
Not trying to be
goons
funny.
with you, but this is the place of business.
Yeah, this
Your
ain't that.
goons can sit outside. What
That
happens?
was your house, your personal house?
No, but it's his place of work.
no,
it's not his house, but it's his place of work.
It's a warehouse.
But what happens is niggas will send their security
It's
in.
my crib. Are you crazy?
Yeah, and that's my point. But
Same thing, no?
niggas will send their security in, peek around,
Yeah.
and leave, or leave the goons outside, or come in here with goons that know how to behave themselves in rooms of business. This, with me,
It's a little tense.
No, that's just not gonna fly.
that wouldn't happen.
That's
to me.
not gonna fly.
But in the name of content for you. You know what I be saying when I watch this, and not to make this fucking, I hate to get all fucking after school programming here,
Go ahead.
but I put a lot of weight and responsibility on you. Maybe I shouldn't.
Why?
Is a clip going, why what? Is a clip going around even now? It's the funniest clip in the world
Why?
where dude is like, yo, we don't jack rats.
They don't jack rats.
This the first rat we jacking.
It happened to be true.
Give me your thought when that content gold lands on your shit, and then let me continue.
That was on his show?
Yeah, that's this show. That's
This
from
is
this.
the man, yo.
That's from
I can
this.
sit here
Exclusively on Spotify. You can see the Spotify.
I can sit there at
By
this
the way,
shit. That's what he does.
I have my weekly meet with Spotify thing. Imagine how from year to year they were smiling. Come on now. Anyway,
That's my problem with the industry. They get niggas like you to go get some niggas like this to
No,
go be
they
niggas
just
on
want
camera, and then
numbers
they
and
dap
content.
you up.
Okay, all right, anyway.
Nasty fucking
They want numbers
conglomerates.
and content.
Okay.
And then won't
regardless.
pay him like he's supposed to be paid for all that he's doing with what it's bringing to y'all, you nasty fucks. Anyway, back to this.
see, I stick
No,
around
look,
Joe too much.
you are
They told
putting-
me only spend
Yo.
around 6 hours around him. He's gonna come back and you have your lawyer hit us with some paperwork.
No, look, this action. Act going crazy.
No, let me
That's
ask you
doing
this,
great up
though.
here. Wait, he didn't answer nothing.
What he's saying makes sense, though. You're
didn't say
potentially putting your life at risk for content.
Nah, I don't
I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him for that part. It's just some of the content is not worth it.
You said you not.
But wait, let me tell you what I be thinking. Because this is my 41-year-old brain. You been buddy. That's your man.
No, ask about that particular content. I'll give you.
I'm leading there.
Go ahead.
But it starts at you were buddy with your man. Shoddy, everybody's out.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. I would say at this time, this is my opinion,
Go ahead.
that the roles are a little reversed, where you that nigga, but you're building still.
Yes.
He kind of had an immediate impact and was that nigga from birth. I look at him and see Daniel, but 6ix9ine was birthed from jump.
Mm-hmm.
So I never questioned what you were doing because it all made sense anytime I saw you with him.
Yes.
You that nigga on the internet. You were the direct line. You was popping up at the mall. You were the source for him, and that was like a perfect relationship because
Conduit.
you were media man. Yeah, it was perfect.
It was conduit.
And
Great
he was
marriage.
really him. Right? Then things play out where, from what I learned from the court proceedings and interviews that I saw, from his mouth, his admittance, his story is he was maybe taken advantage of by a gang or street niggas to behave in a manner that I wouldn't typically have behaved in. And it took all of this turmoil to happen. My baby moms, my kidnapping, what happened at my mom's house, all these things, I don't know. I'm not so well versed, but it took all these things happening for me to take the stand and reclaim my life and identity. And a lot of people do understand that. Fast forward to this body of work, this piece of content. What my old ass sees is yet another gang or another set of street niggas modifying their rules to accommodate him for what I will assume is a payday, which gives us the clip that says, we don't jack rats.
Why is
But-
that so funny?
This is the first rat because it's a contradiction. And it's funny because of who we're talking about and what we've seen. The difference in this is you're at the top of the mountain. And this is where my questions come in. This ain't you from 4 years ago. This ain't everyday
absolutely
struggle academics. This ain't Chirac academics. You him.
Okay, you're right.
He ain't. The roles have changed.
There's a question in here somewhere.
It is.
But acknowledge what I'm saying.
Okay.
The roles have changed. So, actually, he says it all the time, yo, I'm blackballed now. I'm having trouble getting my shit out now. He says that now. But yet, we get this. I'd be like, yo, if Ak cares about this kid, wouldn't he say something to the kid?
He might say it off camera.
Wouldn't he say it on?
No.
If you watch it, I tried to many times. But that's a good question. Anybody
Like,
else?
I cry at
Not
this.
answer.
I cry at this.
I'll give a response to this.
For we never seen this in hip hop. What he did, that whole taking a stand, shotty block.
Yeah.
We never seen that before.
And a
so for
bounce
you
back.
to
Like,
go
we don't see
through all
this.
of that
Do you want a realist answer?
and then do the same exact thing on your platform, but you know this my same beef with you always. If you love some of these young niggas, yo,
So first and foremost, I had no idea he was showing up with 40 people.
It was a loyalty thing.
No, hold on. I had no idea he was showing up with 40
No,
people.
I'm not.
So we're definitely gonna do an interview. I mean, first of all, he would sit down with you, but you don't sit down with him. You don't.
I
you
would-
sit
I
down
would
with a
not
lot
sit
of
down
people.
with him.
You're right. So I'm one
He's
of the
asked
only
me.
people, and
I-
that's
I
out of
can't.
loyalty. Out of loyalty, who he's helped me. And
he
I've
was
helped
paying
him,
to sit down
right?
with people.
But no, he on his climb up, he sat down with me. Now when he's not starving, when he's struggling and needs an outlet, blah,
That
blah,
wasn't
blah,
him
blah, blah.
throwing Ak a bone. Ak was fly with niggas that was coming up.
I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is you just painted a narrative, a story where Ak was ascending, Homeboy was up.
Oh, and I looked out. So he should look out. I got it.
So that's what I'm saying. It could have been.
Got it.
Gotcha.
You're right.
Yeah, and me and 6ix9ine, we have a good relationship. I would say this about
He's paying you.
No, absolutely
Never?
not. Never.
Shut up.
Never?
Shut up, Ak. Don't lie.
No. I'm being very honest.
You ain't show up to that mall for the fucking
You wouldn't
free.
take money from your man.
No.
He showed up to the mall for content.
Hold on, but if you guys know what y'all know, why would you even ask this? It's a reason why a label walks to me and says, "We'll give you $500,000.
They all pay you now.
Make the next 6ix9ine."
They all pay you now.
6ix9ine doesn't have to pay me. I get money from anybody else. You know why? They want that to happen again.
Got it.
And he
You
can
can't
be
name another
he
media
can be
personality or
influential
entity
in that
Got it.
having-
Got it. Got it.
that has
You're
been
right.
so close.
You're right.
So
You got it.
why would
No, he's right.
Yo,
You're right.
I
You're
always
right.
heard Snoop Dogg said this. He talked about the guy who made the sexual seduction song. He says, "I get the beats for free. It's the other nigga you hit with the fucking back. When I want the beats from you, free. But the other guy who wants to make,
I'm not mad at you.
who wants to get this
The
same
nigga say, "Yo, I
chemistry."
want this sound like sexual seduction. I'm gonna give
Bingo.
it. You gonna give me the
$500,000.
beat for free because I'm gonna make you hot." Kanye said everybody wanted Blueprint beats, so now I could charge these niggas through the fucking moon for Blueprint beats. Jay might have got them for free, but it's free promo for Kanye. It's free promo for the sexual seduction producer.
I get it.
To give it to Snoop.
I just don't like that for Ak because I got hot out my mom's basement in Jersey when nobody knew nothing about nothing.
And now I'm still-
So really, Ak
wait,
is
wait.
me,
But
the
now-
guy that could just make fire out of nothing. So you really don't have to.
No, but
he's
now
right.
I still maintain a relationship with this artist, and now the label is looking at me like, if you could do that for him,
How fruitful is this for you today?
I mean,
This just went viral, no?
Ak
no.
goes viral.
I know.
No. Regardless of this content,
that's
by the
my-
way,
so my question remains.
It's going to be my second biggest podcast, which the first one's with him too. So he always makes a moment.
So your first biggest podcast
Oh, with him by
is your biggest podcast is with him.
how many millions?
it's by a factor of 10, 1 and 2.
Okay.
Big, yo.
Like
It's big.
this in a day is already top 5, and I've done 80 episodes. By tomorrow, and by the way,
you've
it's
answered my
only
question.
we
It'll
dropped
be
at
top
3.
three.
We
He's
dropped
answered
at
my-
3
he's
o'clock
answered my
yesterday.
He did. Tomorrow to be top 3.
He's answered my question.
It's top 2.
He's also birthed a new
So
question.
he's 1 and 2. Like
now-
he's a moment maker. He's a moment maker.
How does he drive those moments back to being beneficial for him?
And that's where
That's where he is now. You're right.
Me and him have always argued, and I actually believe him.
Because he go to any platform, he gonna get all the numbers in the world for that platform.
Yo, I agree with him that he's the best marketer. I think he's better than me in marketing. and no one was going to go viral.
That's a mind. That's not necessarily the marketing,
I think he's
but
the
a brain.
best we've ever seen him.
He'd have to do it with something else. He'd have to do it with something else.
Different product.
Yeah. Show me.
I mean, when you could manufacture
only-
these moments without fail consistently, and when you could
If
tell...
none of that comes back to you, then it matters not.
Show me with Doritos.
No.
Show me with Pepsi.
wait.
Show me with another product.
Well, that is like, it's like analytics on YouTube. It's like, or like on a website, what's the click-through ratio like? But impressions is the first thing that people care about when it comes to analytics. He's going to get the impressions. Anyway, when it comes to the dudes around him, and this is what I can say.
The impressions for who? If you're the genius that you're saying he is, you have to find a way to bring that back to you. And by his own admission, that's not happening currently.
Well, I'll say this, right? And I think
That's true.
This
This is why you know it's fucked up. I hate to interrupt you. And I'll just admit to some guilty shit. That last little snippet he leaked, musically, was great.
It's doing good.
It was great. But I'm just talking about the art of making music. It was a great body of sample of work. Not going nowhere. It's not gonna do nothing. All them numbers that you're gonna get for the Breakfast Club, for you, if you came here with me, all of his
But with
impact.
being blackballed,
He has
it's
to-
doing way better than it should be. Though.
But he has to still manipulate that impact back to him. And that's when you say he's a genius. You're gonna call me a genius when in 5 years I'm 200 million up. Because I learned
That- and
to
then-
manipulate.
Then it'll justify the Dave Chappelle
Yes.
ism that you made.
That's what I'm saying.
A correlation.
I have to learn. You're right in what you see, to what's built right now. But I have to manipulate where the value is to get back to me.
Yeah.
He has to do the same. I see where it's valuable for you though. This looks like a whole shit show. I'm never letting niggas with masks just say, "You fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, you're not sitting here.
I'll say this
You
though.
fucking shitting me.
But
And you're not coming in with 40 niggas.
That's all due respect to these gentlemen.
Yeah, that
No,
ain't
to
the shot.
answer your first
You're not gonna
question
sit in
on
here with that on.
where we kind of me and his mind meet where there's marketing. So he's releasing a record. He knows he needs to have a moment. He's gonna do a music video. He's gonna do a comeback. He's gonna trip to the hood. Whatever he does, but he's gonna do an interview.
Or two, or
It's
three.
definitely like orchestrated where me and him could sit down any time. We add other people because we know that's what's gonna do it. Nobody wants to see two homies. It's like
That's true.
we've been on live a million times. People want to see, so we bring a wild card in. Whack 100 was it at first, then Whack started managing him. Hey, well, we'll get you. So you know what I mean? That's definitely orchestrated. That's without doubt. The goons,
Whack manages. Him?
yes.
Okay.
The goons, I would say, I have no idea about. And I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't even go as close to... Same thing with Shotty. Where also when it comes back to the money part, one of the reasons I never really did business with him, because when you see the sharks circling, unless you're one of the sharks, get the fuck out of the water.
Get out of there.
So...
You open the door for
And
a whole
also-
different level.
and-
Yeah.
But he's not a
Come
victim.
to YouTube, yeah.
I definitely would say he's not a victim.
Yeah, he's not a victim.
Because me
I
and him,
don't
by the
view
way,
him as a victim.
in full transparency, me and him, we had conversations before going. This content came out, and he was like, "Yo, listen, yo, my guys, they're not to be played with. Yo, as we put out this content, let's not purposely make them look like fucking fools. I'm standing with them. This is beyond me. So it's not like I think sometimes people look at me like I'm a puppeteer. Like I could be like,
I do-
you're
I do
doing this, and then you could stop. I only come into the picture on the most public part, which is, okay, we're doing an interview. I don't know why he's flying. He's flying all these dudes via private jet. Florida to here, during all the clubs. I can't tell him, yo, bro, this is where, again, if you get into that business, then you're liable to end up like the other people. And I stay very far from that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how long you knew them. I was shocked by seeing them.
I'm gonna ask you a question I shouldn't ask you. Do you think that this relationship that you and him have flourishes this way if Triple X was alive?
Yes.
Got it.
I only say that because, yo, you know I have so many different relationships with different artists.
I know.
Yo, me and Dirk, we have a great relationship.
But stop it. Stop. It's me you talking to.
No, seriously.
Stop it. You and Triple X were a lot closer than you and Dirk.
Okay. You're right.
A lot closer.
No, you're right. But also,
And you know the man that Triple X was.
oh, but
You know what he stood for. He argued with you.
XXXTentacion was
he
also
argued with
friends
you
with
on
him.
FaceTime. Was he?
Yes, because he saw in 6ix9ine someone who was capable of changing. I don't know if he would continue to have that thought.
He's such a good
but
dude.
they used to hate each other. I put them on the phone together that they could mend because it was over Trippie Redd, and they started having a conversation. And hey, I don't know where he would stand today, but these days I'm cool with a lot of people who
Trippie Redd and this guy were on the same label, right?
still are.
Yeah, fucking hip hop. Yo, let me tell you about hip hop.
It's the music industry, man.
Yo, who the other dude? Look
Joseph.
Hassan Campbell.
Oh, he look familiar.
You gonna get some dudes together. I'll tell you that one. I got it. Come on, we're gonna get to some of your beefs.
I know part 3.
Give it to me.
I can't tell you who. You're gonna watch. Part 3, we had one more person to the table.
You did it already?
Tell me.
Or you saying you're
No,
gonna do
it's
it?
gonna happen.
Oh,
Tell
okay.
me, I'll believe it. I still want to know.
But you won't know.
Cover your mouth too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Tell me, I wanna know.
they be trying to relive.
What you talking about?
You put him
Wow.
there. You put him there.
This gonna go bad though.
No, it's not. Whack.
Telling you.
Ooh.
Know why? Because he's no holds barred, one. And from what I've seen,
By the way, interesting enough,
let's
Wack
cut this
and
because
Hassan,
we got to cut all this out.
Wack and Hassan are beefing right now. I don't know why they're beefing.
They're beefing currently right now.
Yeah, they're
After
threatening.
this?
Yeah,
Because they were cool.
slap.
This went cool.
Apparently, they were on Clubhouse. Wack found out that Hassan used to call him a booty bandit, and now I don't know what's going on. Listen, man, I got the content. I secured it for the podcast. I come out of here. I'm on to the next thing. I got Bobby Shmurda and Tony Brown, man. Come on, let's keep it going.
Come on, I got more
Are we gonna get
relationships.
to
I have more
What more beefs I
relationships.
have?
I have more relationships I want to ask you about. I'll
Okay,
grant you the floor for you to ask me. You said you wanted to ask me about
Perfect.
Charlemagne.
Oh, I do.
You love talking about that.
No, because I look at you guys as it's your litmus test for me and what I'm doing and where I'm going, and on different levels and different temperaments. And again, I've always said I love the league, and if you don't think there's a league in anything you're doing, like you're gonna kind of be misguided. And you guys are in the league.
That's true.
And I always kind of use you guys to be like, okay, cool. All right, so damn, Joe's move like this.
Your benchmarks.
Like, damn, look, Joe's having these moments. Step your shit. Like, it's necessary, at least for me.
It should be for
Yeah,
most
yeah,
people.
you need that. You definitely need
Should
that
be, for most.
in any industry.
I think
need
you're.
that.
Do you
Well-
think you're a combination of the two?
I think I have so much respect for both of them that I wouldn't say that. I would say I'm inspired. I used to study Charlemagne a lot. For
You can see it.
His
You get some-
his mind with content, and his bravery when it comes to like execution. Like I look at Joe a lot of times. Like for example, even me being at Spotify, who knows if I'm there if Joe doesn't do what he does. You know what I mean? I'm never one of the people who are delusional who are like, oh my God. You're like, you know the people like, I'm just riding my own dick. It's like, no, I think Joe's, like I always said, because of Joe's fight at Complex, I had all these shows and these deals with Complex that they were like, okay, we know how to give it up with you now. And yeah, you know what I mean? If I'm a benefactor or something, I'm not going to just be like, I'm just the best. So,
No, I said I think you're a breeder between the two.
well, usually when I hear that, I think about just talent-wise. I think these guys are like...
You went to
super
school?
talented.
College?
Yeah, Rutgers University.
Hey, shouts to Rutgers.
So what I can say in
Nice,
you-
He
baby.
swear he was DJing up there.
No, what I
know.
can say in him is I see that. I didn't even know you went to school, but I know you went to school. I think that what I see is a combination of the two. I think you've watched Joe and I think you've watched Charlemagne, and you've grabbed what you think is positive from each and kind of molded yourself.
And added his
With your own
sauce.
sauce. Yeah, with your own sauce.
Yeah.
I think, and which is genius. Like again, today's ball players, I'm gonna use the step back that blah 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 didn't have, but I'm gonna use the
But you
spin
know
around
why
that
that's so
Jordan had.
dope? I think both Charlemagne and I have pulled from him too.
Probably.
Like I tell all the time.
Why
like,
wouldn't you? The
I
old
was-
niggas go get the young
Act
nigga
was
moves.
very instrumental in me opening my brain to some of the younger acts. Like honestly, I
well
don't
he
do
should've.
that. I don't do that without him. Even I bring up Triple X and how much I loved him as a man, but even that started with, man, who the fuck is this little nut nigga? And X saying, nah, like he put us on the phone, like, and that was where that came from. That happened with Shit, even Yachty, like it's a million of those.
I
So
remember trying to tell Joe that Lil Uzi Vert, Love Is Rage 2 was a breakup.
he
album.
told me about Uzi Vert.
And
I
I remember
Yes.
playing it because like this guy was listening to like just like yo, what do we listen to in the
Old-
morning?
old
So I
nigga
played this
shit.
shit. It's like
Old nigga shit.
for real. So
Hey,
like,
bro,
Yo, we
listen,
listen to
hey,
in the morning.
I can relate. I've done the same thing since I came here.
This nigga on
He
here
love all
at
this
7
shit,
a.m.
man.
I got slow jams on.
but Joe,
Jagged
Same
has
shit.
dropped.
I'm just waiting on you and Charlamagne to at least like I feel like that public spat looked bad in terms of well or maybe just like maybe I'm just
It didn't look-
personalizing.
no, it looked bad.
I personalize it because like I really look at you guys as still to this day industry leaders, and again.
Safe space leaders.
No, so watch this from that perspective. And again, I don't know
watch this,
Charlamagne. I never had a
Intro, watch this.
Charlamagne conversation, but because they have such a long personal history to South Carolina, right? I think that both of them get on the phone and have conversations. Don't poke me in public. Same for Joe. I wouldn't agree if Joe poked him in public. You get what I'm saying? I think that's corny and I think it's whack. And I think when you take personal relationships and you use them for quote unquote content or ratings or clickbait, I think it's corny. If Joe did it, I think it's corny. If Charlamagne did it, I think it's corny because we do have a personal relationship. If Joe got up here and you and him were beefing, I would advise him against beefing with Akademiks on air.
Call
I would
that
think
man.
that's corny.
Call him.
Nigga, you know where he lives. Call a nigga out. Y'all go out to eat and y'all can express y'all differences. Nigga, if it led to a fair one with some boxing gloves in the backyard, however y'all wanted to squash it, that's cool. It's not public fodder.
I've wondered if it's
And
competition.
I think what even if it is,
It could never be.
don't have competition. It can. That's
I
not
think
true.
you both are dismissive
be.
in that round.
I think y'all both are too. But
Wait,
yo,
wait,
dog,
wait,
y'all
say
owe
that
it to
again?
each other to have a conversation
Say that
behind
again.
closed doors. That the media and the people, because what y'all don't know too is y'all doing a disservice to the black content creators because y'all are at the top.
Y'all are both dismissive in the realm of
Competition.
why people put y'all names in the same hat, why people think y'all are competitive, and it's for different reasons. I think he looks at it like, well, I've been doing media for such a long time. Look what I've done. Look at some of the things that I have in legacy-wise when it comes to media. And I think you look at it in terms of just how you've gone about things in terms of, yo, I've broken down many doors that was progressive, my talent.
I
this, that,
think
and third.
I think there's a mutual respect between Charlamagne and I.
I think y'all do have a mutual respect. I
think
think
that's
y'all
a
even
fact.
like y'all. I think y'all even like
That's
each
a
other.
fact.
I think y'all like each other.
But
I still think it's something.
but it's
some,
competition.
It's
Yeah, it's
competition.
definitely
And
some
you think
competition.
that because you are
100%.
running a different race than he, that you guys are not competing.
And that's
You think that.
and that's why y'all are right.
You think
because
that.
if one person is in competition, then it's competition.
still competition.
I can't say that about him because I haven't spoken to him. I can't speak for that. For me, I'm not in competition with Charlamagne. We're not trying to do
Y'all
the same
not having the same
things.
race to you. And you think that y'all not in
But
competition.
I understand why
Whether
the
you want to
audience.
believe it or not, I'm telling you, it's competition.
Why?
When you
Because
both have
X
when you
looking at it
both
from
have,
a corporate perspective.
no, but also trust me, I'm telling you.
Give it to me.
When you
No,
both,
no,
when
no.
you both have a network, when y'all both go to sleep at night, I'm telling y'all y'all looking over the aisle, y'all looking over the fence to see what the other motherfuckers doing, and regardless of
don't-
the situations, yes, his goes through iHeart, yours is independent. Does not matter. It's competition.
Yeah,
and by
this
the
is
way,
thing.
or
This-
maybe I'm looking at it
this
too
is
much
the-
like this because it fuels me.
This is the new thing. I'll give it. I love talking to you. You're not wrong. At a certain point in your journey, right? So maybe a few years ago, that's true. But as you keep going, you start to understand what somebody else is going through in that journey. Now we was joking around about you being a pocket watcher.
No, I am.
You came in here, and the first thing I said to you was, yo, nigga, stop looking around. I know what you're doing. I'm saying that because I know how your brain works, and I've worked with you. I know that the entrepreneur that you are is like me. You can look, assess, and figure some shit out, right? There may have been a point where I was in a Spotify deal where I was screaming, yo, I'm the hottest thing here. Yet all y'all can do is support Bill Simmons and scream for Bill Simmons. He don't have the impact. He don't make the impact I made. Whatever I was saying, that might have been ignorant or just emotional, whatever it was. Not saying it wasn't true. But later on, if I keep doing what I got to do in my field, I'm going to understand exactly the spot that Bill Simmons was in when I was saying that. he ain't trying to be hot. He not trying to be culturally impactful. He has a different agenda and a different objective. And I'll understand that if I do what I got to do. I think the same exists for me and Charlamagne. I think at one point, all of that was true in terms of
And that's the unfortunate piece.
But as he goes on, and as I go on, it's sounding like I'm being dismissive by saying he's not my competition, but I'm trying to be understanding. I know what he's trying to do because I watch him. And what he's trying to do is just different from what I'm trying to do.
So I think it's bad because you mentioned Bill Simmons, which is great, because Bill Simmons has the luxury and a privilege of not really watching his competition, even though he probably is watching what Gimlet or Rogan or anybody else is doing in the space. He can acknowledge it. Being that you two young black men are at the forefront of this particular space, the podcast space, it's unfortunate when you guys publicly spar.
Joe,
It's unfortunate when you guys publicly spar.
I'm gonna give you.
You hear what I'm saying? Or no?
I think there was a point where, especially when Everyday Struggle started, and as your podcast grew in popularity, people start saying, "Oh, Joe is the new media guy," and there's always that one de facto guy, right? And number one, Charlamagne was that for a very long time, right? But then I'm gonna be honest with you,
when he needed to be.
okay, but I think it worsened, and I think this is where the separation ended, or at least this is the last update on it. When you shitted on him, and you shit on him and belittled him in you defending yourself. Now, I think on your end, you're like, well, I'm defending myself because while I'm going through a plight and a fight with this corporation, he's muddying the waters or saying certain shit. But
He's doing.
You also shit. I remember those rants. I listened to them rants at least 17 times.
I don't play. Joe ain't
no,
play.
but you shitted on him like he
Stop
wasn't
playing
who
with
he
me.
was.
No, stop playing with me.
But
I'm
no.
shitting on you like I am who I am. It's not like you're not who you are. I'm who I am. And this
But
is
then it becomes-
wait,
it
hold
becomes
up.
a bigger
But this is
Let
my
me ask
beef.
you a question.
But
It's gonna sound like
wait, but this is where Joe's beef always is overlooked, and it's to Ish's point. Ish is right. The two leaders of the Black urban journalist podcast space should not publicly blah 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 blah. He's right in that. I don't have nothing to say. Now, if I'm going through a negotiation where I'm asking for exorbitant numbers, having to prove that worth. You just said it earlier. Hey, they go through a whole bunch of shit at the table. Da, da, da. Yeah, I asked for a big number, and that went on for a year. And I have the top voice.
The second, or arguably the top, or number one or two, shitting on my objective, I'm tight.
And every day he's going to work saying, it ain't what you asked for, it's how you get it. And Joe don't know how to negotiate. Joe do bad business. He's doing this as I'm negotiating. Yes, at a certain point, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to get you to back off. I'm going to say what I got to say. You're not going to like it. But I didn't like when you was diminishing my value as a peer. You should have been wanting me to get it.
Y'all not peers.
He should have been wanting me to get it.
Y'all were friends, nigga. It's a difference.
He should have been wanting me to get that bad.
I agree.
Not using his voice and his platform to step on it. I viewed that as hateful. Now the gloves are off.
And also,
So I pow. And he didn't like pow.
By the way, and also-
They don't normally like it when the pow comes from me. But it don't come until I've been sitting back watching.
I'll be honest too.
Address that.
I feel no, okay. I get you on that, and I think it's two things. I feel like also, and I don't know how communicative you guys are. Like with me, like my true feelings are always like really public on like a stream somewhere because I'm lit. Like this,
I'm glad you know it.
No. There's no like I
Act
just
off the
kinda-
hen is a whole nother IP.
Word.
Yeah, but it's me being honest. And I argue this, and this I'm gonna bring up somebody else that you don't probably see eye to eye with Schultz.
I don't know Schultz.
No, but he vehemently denies that you could even be mentioned in the same stratosphere as Charlamagne. And
But he's Charlamagne's Yorkie.
okay, granted that
But wait, stop. Ooh, I love this. Because you bringing up, I want to hit the round of applause. Hold up. Show you how great of a man I am. I'm hitting a round of applause for Schultz.
so that
He sold out Radio City
6,500 twice.
twice. That's big. That is no small feat and should be applauded anytime it happens. I said the same thing about Snow. When you do that, it's big. Right?
Yeah.
He's a comedian and a podcaster.
Oh.
He's a Merc personality now.
Okay.
All right? Sold out Radio City twice. How you think he did that?
Huh?
How you think he did that?
I ain't gonna lie. I think
He was Charlemagne's Yorkie.
Nah.
Then he was all the left white people Yorkie.
Nah,
he
stop
Yorkied
it.
his way right to
No,
it.
don't do it.
He did. That's what happened.
No,
He's a lackey.
No.
I don't never look at no fucking lackey like y'all, yo. I do.
Schultz has he's gotten to it. If you sell out 1,200 people, or no, 12,000 people
13.
in one night, or 13,000 actually, you're right. I think 13,000 people in one night. Come on, man.
What? See, we look at it different. We look at it different, Hack. We look at it different.
It doesn't matter who gave him the first look.
Does to me.
It matters who you're
Does to me. I used to go on.
matters who you're
I
doing.
used to
You
yo
can't
stop
give that
stop.
person the
Yo,
credit
stop.
why they're doing what they're
please
doing.
Shut the fuck up. They get all
Hold
the
on, do you
credit.
think Charlamagne can sit out that amount?
No.
You think Charlamagne?
Charlemagne was the stepping stool?
No, not just that, Charlamagne.
He was the stepping stool.
This is where, and y'all know I'm not the racy guy. Y'all know I'm not the
You're
racy
not.
guy. But you have to lend to the fact that you have a bigger demo to shoot and pull from.
You're right.
You
So
have
Andrew
to. So
Schultz
now
did
when you
what-
side yourself with, if he did this, because I don't know who the guy was. I didn't know he was a comedian. But I'm just taking Joe's word for it. So now you side yourself with all of the the right, you mean.
Yeah,
the right,
that's what I meant.
the right winging people,
All of the
the
Alex
Rogans,
Jones, the
all of them. You're going to pull
Rogans.
from their base.
Knock it off.
You're going to pull from their base, and you lined up with
Stop
Charlamagne.
it,
So
Joe.
Does that
people,
mean the accomplishment is
Stop
not to be
it.
still
no,
applauded?
that's true. He did.
I started with applause.
Yeah, hold on.
But I
recently
know
said this
why
about-
it's
hold on.
happening.
I recently said this about Jack Harlow.
What
I
about
think
him?
Jack Harlow has a bigger upside than Lil Baby.
Of course he does. He has a 70 million people. I mean, a 70% white demo to pull.
Hold on,
That's
hold on.
starving for the
Wait,
next Eminem.
Hold on. But that conversation, even when I started it, people who are like, "What are you talking about?" We listen to Lil Baby
Close-minded
50
people.
times
Close-minded.
in-
They're looking at it from a
Close-minded
small
Some people think that Beyonce is
Close-minded.
bigger
Okay.
than Taylor Swift.
Okay,
Close-minded
so
individuals.
are we supposed to
Niggas just
then
told me
knock?
Drake was bigger than Bad Boy.
Are we supposed
Yeah,
to
like,
knock Jack
what are we
Harlow
saying?
for
Never. Ever.
I don't knock Jack Hall. He's
No.
talented.
And he gave Schultz his props too.
Same thing about Schultz.
But you can still
But wait, he
recognize
gets
where
his
it came
props.
from at.
Yeah, you can
Yeah, no, of course,
compartmentalize.
of course.
Jack Harlow is look. Even if he can't rap as good as Eminem, we can all agree that young white America and white America in general.
But it don't matter
is
what race you are.
starving-
You got to be
It
great to
matters.
do that. Like that accomplishment, you have to be great. That's what I was trying to say with Schultz.
not true.
It
That's not
doesn't
true
matter.
either.
It's not true at all.
It's
You don't have to be
you're
great. You don't have to
diminishing
be
him
great.
by trying to say he was Charlemagne's lackey.
He was.
If you don't,
You don't have to be
okay,
great, though.
even if that was true,
He sold out Radio City, which means he should be great. Yet when you watch him on Brilliant Idiots, he still look like a lackey and sound like a lackey. Why? Because he's a lackey.
no, he's not.
All right.
I never watched the show, so I can't
He's a
attest
lackey.
to that. What I'm saying is this.
And this is respectfully, Schultz,
Look,
but you know I think
listen,
you a lackey.
Listen to what I'm saying.
You know I think you a lackey. Yo, see, but I'm not.
you
I
a
don't
lackey,
play
but
nice with
respectfully,
these
you're a
industry
lackey.
niggas, yo.
dog,
What
listen.
I think, they're gonna know what I think, so
White
it's gonna
America-
always
I'm
be
gonna tell
up.
you what it is.
You
I
can't
had,
be
I had
serious.
shows and shows was shitting on Joe Bit.
But I would
He
never
was-
hear that.
he was-
But I would never hear that.
Okay,
I would never hear him shitting on Joe.
what
That's
about
my point.
What about the podcast competition?
There is no podcast competition.
Well, he brought it up.
Huh? But he would. There is no podcast. There's no competition between Schultz and me.
Well, I think he feels
Two
like
whole
I
different
think he
ballparks.
feels like there is one since y'all are on
Because
Patreon.
it is one of you create. If we not on the same Patreon the same way,
What does that mean?
it don't mean nothing. He knows what it means. We're not on Patreon the same way. People keep saying that. Yo, Joe keep getting credit for going to Patreon. Man, niggas on Patreon. We're not on Patreon the same way. We're not Patreon in the same way. We're not in the top. We're not doing that the same way. Stop, because they got the same manager.
I have no idea. Only thing he's said, he's like, yo, Joe's hiding his numbers because he knows his shit will pale in comparison to ours.
That's like a joke.
But so listen.
It's like a joke. What
No,
are you
no,
talking
bigger
about?
than that, right? No, stay
Academics,
there.
you hear
Stay there.
yourself, academics.
Listen. That so off.
I have no idea. So
No.
I'm
I'm about to just say that.
Academic, teach
Listen.
academics.
DJ.
I don't know, Joe.
Don't make me call. Don't make me.
DJ Academics.
No.
Yo, listen.
Fuck that.
Look. That's what I'm saying. Even if let's just say, hypothetically, even if that were the case, it's like comparing Harlow to Little Baby. It is a fair comparison in that, yo, you have a way. Let me give you an example. From what I hear, because I'm not the, I ain't the guy.
Yeah, we know.
From what I hear, the what's her name? Call Me Daddy. I heard the content from Call Me Daddy resembles that of Horrible Decisions. Right? Horrible Decisions would never get
Who's
that.
on that show?
Mandy and Weezy.
Weezy. 2 black girls.
Look, and dudes told me this. Not even girls. Dudes told me it's similar content. It's raunchy. It's this. It's that. They said basically, if Mandy and Weezy were white, they would have got that bag. You can pull from a different demo. Yo, white women don't want to hear about sucking dick from black girls.
By the way, Joe, it's just amazing. This guy's good.
He's the GOAT.
It's just the man.
Yo, no, he just walked me into another one of the points I had.
No, it's just the man.
Because I heard when you were ranting and raving.
But wait, I wasn't done replying to your point.
No,
Let me at least say something to your little numbers.
All right, let me
point.
just say one sentence.
All right, go ahead.
You do know what he just said is exact, because I heard one time you said about what Caller Daddy got and what, possible offers were for you. You have to realize every company is going to value a demographic of white women who are going to buy the shit that
Absolutely.
their advertisers are
1000%.
selling.
Absolutely.
Way more than
You're saying,
who are bringing a bunch of niggas.
Hey, it's
Absolutely.
obvious day. Hey,
It doesn't seem obvious when I listen to all your rant.
That's overlooking my point.
Go ahead.
Listen, the point was, show me the other podcast that 2.5 years in did the same thing. Any other one. I'll wait.
2.5
Any other
years
one.
in
They
from
started
what?
in 2018. Halfway through 2020, they were negotiating. In 2021, they signed their deal. Show me anybody else. Whoa. What's happening? I didn't intro to my pod. Show me any other podcast that in 3 years did
Who
that.
did that? The Call Me Daddy girls.
Call Daddy.
Call It Daddy.
Any other one. Throughout the whole, it's billions of them.
Yeah. But that demo speaks for itself.
I don't get what you're trying to say.
It's math.
You're saying who?
Forget it then.
Who had a run like they did?
Yes.
Who did what they did? Who started in 2018,
Yeah.
did whatever they did for 3 years, and then got the deal that they got.
No one had the numbers that they did.
Mad people had the numbers they did.
No, that's not true.
Serial had all the numbers. What are you talking about? It's mad podcasts that beat them in numbers. What are you talking about?
That is not true.
It is true.
Joe, what charts do you look at, Joe? Even when they were on the open market, they literally dominate. There was no other female podcast in the top 100.
You're not familiar with Serial or some of the other top podcasts. As someone that's been a top podcaster, there are top podcasts taken from television
Okay,
shows.
name me one podcast
I
that
keep
has
naming
Demo?
one.
You saying what that demo?
What is it called? It's
Serial.
called- and it has that type of content. And
Oh no, you're talking
No,
about
it's
different
murder
content now.
podcast.
No, that's not
Oh,
the same.
see, so
Crime.
So
True
now I'm on
crime.
academic side. So what he's saying
same
is
content.
Yeah,
that
true crime,
content
of course,
to
that's
target
with
that
to target
demo
that.
in ad dollars. Somebody that might take up a fucking
They've been waiting for that.
Durex ad is not going to pitch a
They've been waiting
Durex
for that.
ad to
Yo,
Serial
yo.
for murder docs.
this is how
You get what
I
I'm saying?
think.
This was the layup
this
for
is how
them.
I
They
think
couldn't wait.
Spotify,
That's-
Amazon,
I'm saying
and
that-
Apple
I'm
looks at
saying that's
shit.
conditioning.
They have a budget,
not.
right?
It's
And they break it
conditioning.
down. Hey, we got $5 million for the music.
Yeah.
We have $100 million for comedy.
Right.
Then we have $500 million for true crime. That's why they acquired the whole network that does that.
Yeah.
And then for things that target women, especially during this age, we have this amount of money.
That's a system he's talking about. But what he's saying is market share.
Yeah.
But it's
But-
two different things.
but it's
Stop. Market share and the system that he is describing are two different things. We're in that with gaming now. Gaming gets all the money.
But he's saying that's what justifies the $60 million
that's why they
price
got the
tag.
deal.
It's because we have a whole bunch of ad dollars that are starving to be pushed somewhere where women are going to see
So
them,
then
and we don't.
so then there should be justification for spending those ad dollars to similarly vein podcasts that you can make be as successful.
Sure.
Where are they?
They were the number one girls doing that.
So there's nobody else trying to do it. That worked. They got 60 million in 3 years. Where's the next person?
There are a few. Emma Chamberlain does a podcast, which I don't know if they already have a
Stop
deal
it.
with. These are people who consistently chart that high, and I
pull it.
know they're in the
Well, who else
conversation.
is in their demo?
What's
Yeah.
the content?
What's in their demo?
What's the
Oh,
content?
what do you mean?
The Call Her Daddy girl.
Similar content?
Similar content, not as raunchy.
Okay.
but just really women who are speaking like white woman talk. You know
No,
what I mean?
'cause I say that
Middle-aged
because,
white
like,
woman
look.
talk that men could also kind of tune in for whatever creepy or whatever
But
reason.
I guess kind of to Joe's point is if that worked so well,
Yeah.
they would have went and tried to
skipping my point.
reduplicate that, or
They
somebody
skipping
else
my
would
point.
have.
You got to get to the numbers.
Anybody.
Though.
But you gotta find somebody to
Fam,
do it. You
we
can't
watched
make
this
them
shit.
go create
No,
the
what I'm
content.
saying
So they
is
didn't
we
find
watched
that
this shit.
anywhere.
We watched this
It's a
shit with
billion
music.
podcasts. You
I
haven't
don't
found
know.
that anywhere.
Maybe not.
We talk about this with music
but
all
you
the
have to
time.
have
As soon
the
as they
numbers,
find
though.
something that pops,
Yo.
they go rush and try to get everybody to
Spotify
recreate it.
ain't trying to build the numbers. They're trying to
Podcast
help
is
you
something
have the
that's
numbers
organic.
that you could convert
That too.
to subscribers.
He's right.
They're not like they have their world.
Yeah.
They looked at me. You know how much fucking stats they actually. They're like, hey, do you guys have the sales from what you guys all your shows at Complex? Hey, can we see all the YouTubes? They want to see everything. You know why? They're saying how much of the audience you're exposed to can we fucking convert? They're not
Market.
trying to build you in an audience.
Doesn't matter
They
what.
just want. You know why?
The
Because
content.
their whole company is valued on how many new subscribers you brought to the fucking table each quarter. And they're looking at, okay, Joe Rogan, if we get him and we convert 30% of the people who used to watch him on YouTube, we get this number. We get this person.
You're
We're-
telling me about Spotify as the Titanic, and what we're saying is that some of the other companies
Yeah.
that have seen this
But
work,
it's all about subscriber
and if
count.
you can have that flip in 3 years, then there would be anybody in the world to try to mimic
reduplicate
that
somewhere else.
to have that success.
But you-
speak to
They're
why
not trying
that's
to.
not.
They're not trying to build. They're trying to just acquire.
Let me speak.
I'm not Spotify, but I'm not talking about Spotify.
So let me speak to it.
Everybody.
One, it got to be organic.
So nobody's
Hold on,
trying to
hold on,
build that
let me ask
DJ
you.
Academics.
Listen,
But
that's
even
like
if
somebody
some
trying to
people
build
are-
the Joe Budden podcast. You got to do that organically. You can't give somebody content, provocativeness. I don't even think that's a word, but it got to be something there already.
Provocateur.
It's a different thing with the music business because we could try to get you to mimic these niggas. You can't get niggas to mimic conversation.
And by the way,
You can't get niggas. You could try.
Yo, and by
The
the way,
chemistry
you can
may not-
try.
Yo, yeah, they might
can
keep trying.
try.
But now when we trying, we got to now get the numbers for the majors to come look at us and bring us over for conversion. So if
So
it
y'all
don't
saying
work,
the majors not coming in
Y'all
to try to
doing a lot.
rebuild it?
because they not
Yo,
getting
and by
numbers
the way,
yet.
to speak to your point directly, I do know companies that are trying because there's I know, like, well, she's not on camera, but
Cover your
the
mouth.
people, no, I won't say names. The people who I'm in business with, they represent a bunch of them, and those companies who have made the flip are actively trying to acquire more to make the flip again. Like, these are active conversations that's ongoing. Everybody wants to call it that. It just doesn't happen. Like, it's still
Nobody
lightning in the
has the
bottle.
numbers already.
I'm telling you,
Like they came and got them with them numbers.
Yeah, or they
basically,
might not have the
is what you're
chemistry
saying.
to recreate
No,
the
but I'm
Call Her
saying
Daddy
Call Her
so
Daddy
organically.
had them numbers.
Yes.
So they said, yo, we're gonna come and put this bag on
And
y'all.
you can't just throw two girls in a room and say, go.
Got it.
It's
You
not,
get what I'm saying?
It's not two girls anymore.
You get what I'm saying, Joe. I'm just
But
giving you an
that
example.
speaks to what I'm saying. Maybe y'all are right, even though I didn't think y'all were right. But it's not two girls anymore.
I'm kind of leaning towards their side.
It's
I get
one girl.
No, I was just giving an
That-
example.
it's
Yeah, but
one
it's-
girl.
You can't just
It
throw
stems
one girl.
from
That's
that,
even
though.
harder.
It stems from that.
Yo,
though.
that's even
great,
harder.
But what it is today, off of a 3-year flip, is a one-girl guest-based show that Spotify is helping with. They do. It's their show, so of course they're helping with it.
Sure.
With that model in a copycat market, y'all has given me a million reasons why no one has tried to copycat
no,
that.
they're trying to do it. I know.
Maybe
they're
they've tried, but they
I
just
would,
can't
I
get
would
the
believe niggas
success.
is trying to copycat.
I know they're trying to do it
They
because I've
just-
seen the deals.
Oh, well.
I've seen the
He
deals.
has more information.
Where are the pods? Which
Whoa,
which
whoa,
pods
okay,
have
okay.
been built in
Whoa,
that
whoa.
vein? I can see 50 million pods out there
Hold-
built in the vein of this one.
Okay, well, the two people.
Show me any pods
But you
built in the
looking
vein
at
of
two
this-
this.
different
looking at
situations that I'm
this
close
demo.
enough to see.
Yeah, you're
No,
looking at
the
our
two
demo.
different
No, I'm not. I'm
situations
looking
where
at,
I'm not looking
at a demo of a single
all,
white-
I'm looking across all genres.
Their
Why y'all
numbers,
keep saying
no,
that?
their numbers just haven't represented it yet. It could be 5,
They could be
10,
trying
20
that.
white girls out here
trying,
trying to talk
trust
about
me.
sucking dick. It just ain't
trying.
catch.
I'm
Nah, he
telling
right.
you, they
No,
trying.
it just ain't
Yo,
catch to where the
I've
numbers
seen
would
it.
even be on your radar. That's possible.
How did
Very
they-
possible.
Okay, how did they catch?
They might didn't catch it.
No. How did Call Daddy catch?
Oh, I don't know.
They
You got to
didn't.
sign. Hold on.
They caught
Hold on.
something to
They
get the
didn't.
numbers.
They did not.
This is what I can
They
say
didn't
to you.
catch. They
How
didn't
they
catch.
numbers get to where they were?
For what's really going
They
on
didn't have
now.
numbers at Barstool. Barstool could have pushed them
They
and
did.
caused them to catch.
Yeah.
They did not. So it's Dave. So there we go. So they didn't.
You still had to have some content to
But
catch.
that's my point. You're right. But that point is what I'm saying. They didn't catch in the first place. Dave popped up, was brilliant, made some shit pop, Went off. Spotify saw those numbers. Great, right? So initially,
gotta give credit
in a
to them.
copycat,
Joe,
no, they get credit. Hold up,
no,
I don't want
you
to make it
saying
sound
they
like
didn't catch.
No,
They
stop.
caught.
Don't misconstrue that point.
Yeah.
They get all the credit in the world.
They caught.
Nothing I'm saying should take away from what they have done. What I'm saying is, initially, when they were two white girls talking about sucking dick, they didn't catch anything. They had a brilliant idea, and Dave, the combination of that, it took off.
And caught.
What I'm saying is, don't speak from Spotify's position. Speak from the copycat. We saw that formula and model work.
They don't have a Dave.
One.
You think there's not Daves out there?
But Joe, they might
to do
not
it?
I'm just saying, they might
But
not
getting
have
that to all line up is not the easiest thing in the
Yeah,
world.
the perfect
some
storm
people
right there.
can't
It
be
might not
funny to how
happen.
they
Y'all
talk
got a
about
lot of
taking it in the
excuses.
ass. They might have made it
Y'all got a
funny.
lot
I'm
of
just saying.
There's a lot of people trying to do the copies, just that they
Hey,
haven't caught
the
it.
same way I hear Future, I hear the fake Futures too.
Yeah, but look what happened.
And they ain't catch.
Give
Look what
me the
happened.
fake one.
They
Give
ain't
me,
catch.
give me
Niggas
the
told-
one that
Catch
did.
it.
They not catching.
You don't hear them
I
no
get
more
that.
either.
What? Give me the example. Is what
I
I'm saying.
can't because
I'm not
I'm not
arguing
in
with
that
you.
demo. I
You
can't.
saying you know him? Give me the example.
I can't 'cause I'm not
I
in
watch
that
the
demo.
charts obsessively. New podcast, old podcast.
the
There's
ones
not.
I'm talking
They're
about, I
not
don't-
trying to make that again. They're not.
Hold on. The ones I'm talking about is basically like the Dallas Mavericks when they go overseas. You know they love a European player.
Yeah.
Okay, they're like, we love a European player. We're over here. We're,
Get us
we're
a
here to
Pau
get
Gasol.
another. We're
Yeah,
here to get
yeah.
another one.
Luka-
You get me?
where Luka little cousin
it's
at?
at that
Yeah.
point. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. There are like, have you seen Barstool's roster?
Yes.
You don't see any female driven podcasts over there no more. You haven't seen any new podcasts over there.
I don't watch any female podcasts over there. I'm not familiar with that.
They haven't caught.
There
They
you
haven't
go.
caught. They have a bunch of. Since then, they have a ton of They just haven't caught.
It would be in Barstool's best interest.
Yeah.
I made y'all.
I made y'all. I
Let
can
me
make
go
another
get
one.
two other intuitive, provocative
make another
girls.
one.
That's funny.
You know what
and
David's
get
saying
me
to
another
himself?
one.
It's because of our demographic that allow them to.
That they popped in the first
catch.
place.
Yes.
So now let me recreate it to show that it was me. It wasn't them.
And go look at the roster.
And
You're
now we're gonna
see
be
what-
ironclad in our contract.
Pull
You're
it
not
up.
escaping the
Pull
same.
a roster up.
You're not escaping the same.
He'll pull that up. We'll get back to this because we got more relationship beef to get to. You want to go? You want me to go?
You go.
Peter Rosenberg.
Yeah.
It's just content fucking for life.
No, I don't have a problem with them.
I know you. So why you do all that?
He did something to Rosenberg.
He does
No.
something to everybody.
No. Well, with him.
Ebro,
Hold on.
Rosenberg,
You don't like Ebro either?
Meek.
No. I don't have a
Corley
problem
Ray.
I don't have a problem with Ebro, and because unlike you, I play the industry a little bit different. Ebro's too powerful to have a problem with. Rosenberg's a peon. I'm like the peons I violate. You gotta know how you play with bosses. And
that's his look.
And
Stay right
Ebro-
there. Ho. That's the fundamental difference between the two of you.
Of course.
Yeah. You don't give a
He's
fuck.
still playing the game. You
of
not.
course you got to.
You not. And you feel you don't got to.
No, you
You heard him?
I play the game though.
Not.
plays
Not
it
the
his
same
own
way.
way.
Play the game
Not
with
the same way.
a real short leash,
I
my
play-
nigga.
yes,
You don't play
yes.
the game like he playing the game.
Bow.
Nah, like
And I don't know of a nigga that's too powerful for me to say something to.
Yeah, you don't believe that.
no.
I don't know him.
Wait.
You don't believe that.
No, it's not too powerful to say. I'll say stuff to Ebro.
But you know how to play with them, though.
You see, with me, when it
shook
comes
it,
to
Ebro.
when it comes when it
No,
comes
let me
to
hear.
Peter Rosenberg,
Hell, you gonna
torch-
sneak?
I'm torching it. So now, I'm gonna go so hard, it's irreparable. Also, I'm like just how you burn the building down. I'm gonna burn everything with that individual down because I know you really have no recourse. So it's easy to play with the peons. Now, somebody like Ebro, I know his power. I know his reach. It's not in his words.
No, it's far.
So because
Ebro's
of that,
powerful. Shout out to Ebro.
and
And
because
that's
of
a bro,
that, every
anyway.
time
Ebro's
when
so cool, man.
every time when he says something to me, I'm usually engaging him with saying, "I wish we could have the conversation." What would Rosen do it? Like, fuck out of here, man. Like, yo,
Yeah, but him and Ebro are cool.
oh, well, that's what I'm saying.
It's affiliation.
It's the same thing. Like Joe, like you think Joe didn't say nothing slick about me too, but it's Joe. It's Joe, and then they had
When I didn't know you.
no. Even nigga, you were fucking killing my show. You're killing my show after you left it.
What show? That's my show.
Okay, our show. Here's the point.
I'm killing my show.
Yo, here's the point. Like,
Look,
I mean,
they got
it's
something over there.
It's like
Rhea
the
and
Wire.
Fran.
It's
They
like
got
the
something over
Wire saying, if you
Yeah,
come
I
at-
will throw the headphones at this fucking shit. If y'all try to make me think that Rhea and fucking Fran
Not-
is call her daddy.
No, they're popping. Rhea and Fran are popping.
Are they call her daddy? Are they talking
they're
about sucking
not.
dick?
They are being definitely dating relationships. Like, by the way,
Rhea, yo, this is so.
that's what I've realized the fucking new renaissance is. Dating relationships. That's why you so mad at them Fresh and Fit guys. Because,
That is not why I'm mad at Fresh and Fit.
well, it's the reason, one
I
of the
don't even
reasons.
say them
hold on.
niggas' names.
It's one of the reasons why they've gotten onto people's radars.
They're not on people's radars.
But do you get what
They're
I mean?
not on anybody's radars. That's another thing that's more conditioning. Nobody, outside their
Relatively.
audience. Outside their
Relatively.
audience. Not relatively. We don't know these niggas.
Rappers
and
are running to them because they see numbers.
What rappers are running to them?
Yeah, I didn't know.
All the rappers who.
What rappers?
Okay.
The college
Fulio.
Oh, but yeah, stop. Yo.
Wait. Didn't you have Fredo
What-
Bang on here? They turned Fredo Bang.
Then we have
down.
who?
Fredo Bang.
We love Fredo Man.
Love him.
They turned him down.
What does that have to do with me?
I'm trying to tell you.
I don't
Hold
care
on,
what
hold on.
Julio Fugio.
No, hear what I'm trying to
did.
say. Hear what I'm saying.
Like, what are you saying?
Sure, he got
They
classics under
because
his belt.
they get numbers. It's all about a numbers game. And what happens with like this dating relationship, girls talking about sucking dick, is that the numbers that they get are usually like
This is one
boosted.
of our fundamental differences again. When you say it's a numbers game, that's what we refer to as the clout chasey game.
That's what rappers do. Why do you think rappers are running to?
That's exactly what it is.
And the
Listen,
labels.
But listen, but
All
wait,
of them. Do it.
but wait,
All of
wait,
them.
wait.
It's a recipe
But
for
wait,
success.
I've been here long enough to know that, and I'm humble enough to know, I have enough humility to know, it's not us, yo. Like, we're humble servants of whoever. It's our audience. It's the numbers I get. It's the numbers you get. It's the numbers that the Fresh and Fit niggas get. There's an African nigga, the Mac G niggas say my name every chance to get. He get numbers. I won't say his name again. But it's just niggas that's getting their numbers.
All right, let's not talk about Fresh Fit. Let me get to some real shit. You know what I mean? Because
all right.
you're right. They're like adjacent to like the
Yeah.
culture we care about.
Yeah.
Since we could talk business, do you see $1 million worth of game doing a Call Her Daddy switch? I feel
Switch
like
as in leave.
like that type of deal.
Well, no, not that type of deal.
And Gilly and them niggas don't like when niggas talk about their business. But if you're saying leave,
Well, I think they're gaining enough traction where I don't know how many times they've re-upped. I don't know their business like that, but I think their leverage is consistently growing.
I agree.
I agree with that.
And I think they have an anchor over there. And I think Barstool, when get new podcasts, acquire new talent, they're using, it's the pitch, just like they used to use us. Oh, we got Everyday Struggle here with Joe Budden and Academics. They're, like Dave is saying, we got $1 million worth of. I would listen to him on an interview 2 days ago, and he name dropped them like, yo, they're the biggest thing.
But look,
That
I
don't
don't know
mean
nothing.
nothing.
I don't know anything about their business, but I do think after seeing what happened with Call Her Daddy, I'm pretty sure they got some shit in here where we're not letting that happen to us again.
I think that based off of, and then again, I'm just,
And I don't know
I'm
nothing
guessing.
about that.
But no, I think as of right now, from what I know, $1 million worth of game is probably one of their anchors.
Yes.
If not the anchor.
It might be the anchor.
So, whereas Carla Dowdy might have asked for more money and they said no.
$1 million worth of game is synonymous with their brand.
Yes, exactly. So, look, especially in our
And,
demo.
and when that's the case, the price goes up
I hate-
exponentially.
True.
And this is why I hate niggas like you and
Why?
hate talking to niggas like you. Right?
That's why you love hating. That's
said
why we
every
make
day.
so much money together, nigga.
No, it's true. This is why. I agree with what you're saying.
You got to respect us differently
if
now.
Gilly and them leave, and this is a hypothetical, Gilly, Wallow, I love y'all. Please don't be for me. This is a hypothetical. If Gilly and Wallow leave with their leverage, and then Dave goes and spends $1 billion to replace them, how do you feel?
Time out.
He doesn't have billions to spend.
I was just about to say that.
But
Dave-
hold on,
Dave-
Hypothetically, I think
Dave,
let's be realistic.
Dave has
Let's say he
hundreds
goes-
of millions to spend.
So let's say he
on
signs 20
podcasts.
other podcasts
How do you
to try to
feel?
replace one. If that's the case, I mean, I think it showcases.
If that happened, would you speak you wouldn't speak down on Gillian Wallow for making the right decision in that spot, or because he went and spent hundreds of millions to replace them. He did what he had to do, and they did what they had to do.
True.
And that's why I don't like him.
I think people speak down
because
on you
he
because
wavers
of how
with
you
the
did
opinion.
it. No, I think how you did it. Like when you left Spotify, you blasted them, you publicly humiliated them, da 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 da, which brought attention to it. So niggas didn't say, "Yo, Joe didn't make a bad business decision." And then when the shit came out, it made it look almost like you was being a selfish asshole too.
Before
because
there
you
was
didn't.
So niggas was waiting on you with the next deal,
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Before there was a sniff of drama,
disagreeing.
what the culture said was Joe's asking for too much
said
money.
that.
Joe don't know
I
how to
said that.
negotiate.
I said that. I said
Joe
that.
thinks he's
No,
worth
I said
more than
that.
what
I
he is.
said,
I've
yo,
seen all of that happen.
No, listen, bro. I
Go
said
get
with
your shit
you,
on.
you right. But when you came publicly and
That's
dissed
nasty.
them,
You're right. So you're
that
saying-
brought attention to it.
So you're saying if they don't,
So if Gillian
do
them
that,
said no, I'm going over here to Amazon.
And kept it
They
quiet.
giving us a bag, and
Joe don't know how to do that.
that was it. That would have been it.
Joe
Gillian
Rogan-
them, what they excelled, they stepped up, they got their bag. You came back after you didn't work it out with Spotify and said, "Fuck these racist bastard niggas." Da, 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 da,
Which tells the
brought
next, even the
attention
next,
to it.
even the next
No,
company.
not
That
just
tells the
that.
next company like, yo,
So
I
now
don't
I'm
want to
gonna
fuck
keep
with
it
him.
100.
So then that whole
Tell the
wait,
next racist company that.
So now when leave, now you look even worse because the narrative surrounding their departure is you was keeping the bag from them.
Yo,
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? So when you combine the two, that paints a different picture than if Gillian Wallow were to do amicable business with another brand.
It's like
and
the,
leave.
the
I'm gonna
athlete
keep it
shit. It's like the
100%.
athlete shit
Joe
that's
Way
split.
ain't from
Remember?
everybody,
Joe,
man.
if you as signed,
I am
if
athlete.
you as
I'm
signed
athlete.
to
When they
another
split.
big company, and people wouldn't even have to know the dollar amount, they would have called it a win. I guarantee it. If you
Yeah, they
if
would.
you
That's
if you
true.
went to Apple, people wouldn't have to know how much
He's
you
right.
got, what you asked for. You
Yeah.
would call it a win.
They don't gotta make it public.
They
wouldn't
just
have-
looked at you
That's true.
and they're judging you to say,
That's true.
nigga, you can't negotiate when there isn't a line of options. The leverage isn't there.
And what do all
They're
of
wrong,
those?
though.
Yeah, that's what
Okay,
They're
so
wrong,
they could be
though.
wrong,
That's what I'm
but
saying. What do
perception-wise,
those people say when you
perception-wise,
can?
People's vision is not that big.
but you were playing this
You
out
can.
publicly. So you
No, that's
what
a
you-
horrible thing. But I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying,
so you fuck
up
but,
playing
no,
out
but what
publicly.
you just
You
said
shouldn't-
was
if
your
you
the
had
hand
kept
is
it
there.
quiet, if you had kept it quiet,
No, y'all keep it quiet. The hand is going to play the way it's played.
Yeah,
That
but-
the point don't matter.
No, but the public part
No, it
matters.
matters.
The public part
It
it
matters.
matters.
Public-
It matters.
I'm telling you, if you had popped up,
It matters, Joe.
even today, you pop up today and be like, yo, listen, hey, I'm so glad, I did what I did.
Are you
and
going
I
to tell
got-
me it matters when I come back 200 million up?
Yeah.
The answer is no.
Yes.
The answer is no, and the answer is
No, it still matters.
It still matters. You just won.
You fell up.
You still mattered though, Joe.
You said before, yo, I fell up. I
Oh, then,
fall
all
up.
right, in that case, your argument is foolproof.
Like, yo, dog, it don't
I'm
matter.
getting some chicken.
I
y'all.
just no.
You
I
can't
said
beat-
no. I said it before. Yo, dog, the road that you take can still get you to the same destination. It's
You
just
just make
a
it a lot harder road.
bumpier, rougher
Yeah.
road.
That didn't
don't
have
mean
to
you
be that
still
hard.
can't get to your goal.
It didn't have to be that hard.
Yeah, and the things that you
You
do
choose-
sometimes make that
yeah.
road bumpier.
And that's true.
Yours, yo. That's yours.
Oh,
Yeah, that just makes your road that much bumpier. That don't mean it was the wrong road that you took. It just mean it was the harder
I'm
road.
telling you, if this shit wasn't public, I'm telling you, Joe would have been good.
He would have already gotten a bet.
No, but hold on. But not only that, Joe started playing the public perception game, and it's like one of those things, right? Like it's like seeing a CEO or seeing like a label owner leave. You're waiting for the next announcement. If you never see it, you're thinking something went on.
Wait. I think this.
Especially when you do it very publicly.
Then it's like,
you
all right,
could
so
have
nothing else
quietly
happened?
left that. You could have quietly left it, right? And be like, yo, hey, listen, I had a great time there, or not even say anything at all. Be like, yo, hey, I'm independent now. No one judges you.
Yeah.
But with
You run out
what
kicking and
Joe does,
screaming.
Joe negotiates publicly.
Publicly.
You do.
It's part of it. It's part of it. Or it seems like it. It seems like it.
Joe,
But look, but let me say this. Even in his public rant, kicking and screaming, if they never go through the public breakup with and all of that stuff happens, I still think Joe would have landed
He lands
sooner.
fine. Yeah.
Think he still would have landed sooner.
I agree.
Because a lot of people looked at that was, yeah, they fucking my man. He's a black creator. He was the first nigga there. They used him, got what they could get from him, and then dumped him on the head.
Then when you
That's
add
what
that
people's
on there,
perception
when
is.
you add that
But
on
then
there,
when you say, yo, he turned down the money and he fucking over, now it's like, yo, and then you have Charlemagne saying, yo, he's a self-saboteur. He don't know how to do good business, blah, 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 blah. You compound all of that.
Now you add in everyday struggle.
Yes. Now
You bring all this shit in here, it looks like, you know what, this is a pattern.
Can we talk about
This is
the
a pattern.
narrative,
Hold
the
up.
narrative, everyday struggle?
Hold on.
He
One
doesn't
is
get
him-
the win for everyday struggle.
No, what
He
I'm
doesn't
just,
get the win until he signs to Spotify.
no,
Yeah,
I'm just
but now
saying
you
that
have
I'm
Joe,
looking at the
the
exit.
young
So
black-
I'm talking about every exit.
Now,
You're
granted, his podcast is going up, but perception wise, when he hit the Spotify deal, they're like, that guy's a fucking genius.
No, and that's his point. He
Now,
said,
this
so
is
when I
what-
go
this is
get
when he gets
250,
his 200,
300 million,
I'm
y'all
still
gonna
a
say I'm a
genius.
genius.
Right.
But
No, he wasn't a
he
genius.
would have still been a genius if it wasn't, because at first it was, yo, it's this young black genius creator versus the white establishment. Versus Complex, you see what they did and see what he did. Then it would have been versus Spotify. But then when you get Charlemagne kicking the nigga when he's down, you get saying whatever they said after the breakup. Now that looks funny. Yo, maybe they right. Maybe it's him. If you don't get the black people saying those things, then it looks like it's Joe versus the establishment and the entitled people that have held us down so long.
Yeah, Joe, I'm gonna be honest.
That's
man.
the narrative that's painted.
Joe, if you didn't rob my brothers in the struggle, you know, man, you guys could have been up. Could have been up, man. I was rooting for them guys. You feel me?
You was rooting for him? Shut up, yo.
I agree with the nigga when he said when he saw the Amir he had for the 10th time. He was like, "Yo, what's going on?" I agree with the nigga. You ain't think so too?
Yeah, because you got the whole Mary sweatsuit on now.
Oh,
Yeah,
they got
no,
the Mary sweatsuit. Oh, man.
Joe, I do want to ask you a question though about your former. No. Well, here's the question.
Fix a pillow.
I felt like that little saga, right?
There you go.
I always felt you were irresponsible because you didn't. I think you could have intervened before a nigga showed up to my house. You should have,
Yo, you just gonna eat loudly like that on camera?
right?
Yo, watch this nigga. He spilled some shit in the heartbeat, too, yo. That mic would have spilled some shit.
No, I mean, well, I'm wondering, what the hell were you thinking?
Oh, that was a good one. The whole world's waiting to hear this. No, the whole world's waiting for this one. The whole world's waiting for this answer. They are. Yo, you
nigga just
like
gonna
a
eat
savage on the camera. Conan? The fuck is wrong with this nigga, yo? You see your man?
Why
You see your
why your
man?
man eat chicken like that, though?
Yo,
God
what is wrong with you,
damn,
yo?
it's more chicken over there, bro. You okay, bro?
You up. Patreon. Up, man. Yo, you just gonna eat the chicken like it's just Last Supper?
Oh man, I can hear that.
Oh, man. You hear this bitch ass nigga, yo?
That's $1.
All right.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Yeah. This is gonna be so anticlimactic. I don't know any of that to be true. I never knew any of that to be true.
What to be true?
Somebody sending somebody to somebody's house.
You know Act was shooting at these niggas every day.
How come what Joe says is never counted for anything?
No, okay, all right.
I took out the house part.
I'm telling you.
All right, so let's
No,
take
I
a
didn't.
step.
I
All
didn't
right, let's
know
take a
that.
step back. Even if you do,
I knew after.
hold on.
After hindsight, I know his story. I know his story. I know everybody's
Even
story.
if you don't know it to be true, working with someone, and by the way, you can't deny this because you later basically said, like, I'm working with a nigga who I feel like is a ticking time bomb. I knew what I was
but
doing.
even that's in hindsight.
Hold on, huh?
But even saying that is in hindsight.
What do you mean?
Saying, yo, if I'm working with somebody that's taking time out, that's in hindsight. That's with more
So
information.
wait, hold
saying
on.
that.
You didn't realize there were things that was starting to bother someone.
No, I was
that
late.
also possibly matched the narrative.
No, I was late.
That someone else.
I was way late. I was the last one to know like an idiot. Yeah, I'm telling you.
No way.
I'm telling you.
Parks, you goes.
I never.
There was signs. There was definitely signs.
That don't answer the question. There were signs in hindsight. I
So
can see them
why
all in
didn't you
hindsight.
try to
But-
remediate
but in
any of
real
the signs,
time,
even if you didn't know the real source?
you know what it takes to try and negotiate like a 9-figure deal? And that's the part that
thing
boggled.
that's on your mind.
That's the last part that boggled. That's what boggled me the most. Yo, y'all not doing this while I'm negotiating a 9-figure deal, right? No way on God's green earth. That's what's happening. Nah, I don't believe that. You can't make me believe that. I would have never believed that. Even as the signs were there, like Parks is saying, I would have never believed that. I'll give you a story.
We
I'll give
have
you a
the big
story.
boys in there.
Quick story. And I'm only doing this because you're here. This is with respect to I love him, of course.
You love too. Put that over there, y'all. Don't do that.
You can speak to your love for everybody.
What is this?
It's the bitch jar.
It's our bitch
You
jar.
all
I'm
dollar
trying-
in there too.
Try to respect women and not use the word bitch, but if you do, dollar goes in here.
Really? Look at you guys.
It was one of them podcasts, and I can't tell you how this conversation started, but I'm early to the pod at Parks. Is early to the pod. He's there. Dude is not. And I think Parks is there.
I live there.
Don't mean you was there. Could have been at the store, could have
Yeah,
been smoking,
you're right.
but I think you were there for this conversation. Erickson might have been there too. I don't remember, but
I
don't remember how
I
it
know
came
exactly what you're talking about.
But when came in, him and I immediately got to talking about. Maybe I was coming from somewhere like work or something. He was asking me questions, and it led to jokingly saying, you was shooting Everyday Struggle with Ack or some shit like that. You was shooting something with Ack. And that was a joking conversation. And then the conversation continued, like, and it was turned to an argument of, yo, you would still work with Ack?
Yeah.
You was there, man.
We were in the kitchen.
Yo,
We were-
you would
we were
still
all there.
work with Ack? You a phony motherfucker. I don't know nothing about his personal feelings to you, what you feeling to him, what y'all say is going on. I'm speaking from my perspective. I'm like, what you talking about, yo? Me and Ack had what I think is the best hip hop show ever made, and it stopped abruptly, and I think it's mad money on the table. Like, if I created the show and think it's valuable, why would I not go and do that show at any point? And he gave his reasons for why I shouldn't do that and what his definition of loyalty looked like. You shouldn't do that because Ack did such and such and such and such, and you my man, so you shouldn't do that because I wouldn't do that. And I was dismissive of him in that moment. I was like, what the fuck is you talking about, nigga? It's like, I didn't get none of that. But it was happening. that was it. And then came in, and he said, as came in, yo, you know, this motherfucker just came for doing some shit with Ack. He said we do Everyday Struggle with Ack. Said right away, like it was on cue. Hey, you know them motherfuckers were talking. You know he would. I didn't pay none of that any mind. But that was the writing on the wall. I didn't pay no mind because I came to yo, you didn't send nobody to Ack House, did you? And he said no. If my man tells me that, if I come to you and ask you that, yo, you didn't send nobody up there, and you look me in the eye and say something, I'm rolling with what you said.
I think it was before that though.
Before what?
And I want to see if you
Give it to me.
if you were conscious enough. Straight from the gut. Do you feel like he felt Everyday Struggle? Maybe he should have been on the show.
No, I wouldn't think that. I never got that from him. I never got that from him.
The reason why I took that because some of the criticisms, or maybe just there's a lot of people who quote unquote don't respect me. So maybe that's what it was. But it felt I heard hints of jealousy way back, and it had to do with the fact that you were doing a show, which was like I could imagine it's like a little bit difficult because you're doing a podcast with them, or you're doing a show that's kind of getting a lot of attention with me, and there was a lot of. Like, I would just hear the conversation, and it felt like it was more of, yo, Joe, you could do this with me. But I could be wrong.
I don't think it was that.
I didn't get that from
I
him.
never got that.
Okay.
I didn't get that.
I don't even see how that really makes
What
sense.
I will say is,
Especially with the success of the pod.
if you keep doing, but that's where it gets tricky.
But the success
Because
of
the
the pod came
pod
after
was
that.
successful,
I know.
but it wasn't as
It was
successful
not.
as Everyday Struggle,
yet.
nor at the same time.
By the way, the reason why I also
the
say
pod
that is like
peaked after.
Joe
Yeah.
would talk about certain topics that was debated on the show in like a recap type of way,
Yeah.
like on the podcast, and it felt like he would always, in a roundabout way, kind of, yo, this is how I would have came at it, and yo, why are you debating with Ack? Like, you know what I mean? That type of shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And for me, I interpret it as, well, I guess he's kind of just letting Joe know, like, yo, nigga, I could have done a way better job.
I never got that vibe. Personally.
I could be wrong.
Personally.
Yeah, no, I didn't get that. But what I will say is that when you do a few things that are successful, people will respond adversely to that sometimes. So Everyday Struggle. Listen, when a bad bitch walk in the room, everybody, you might see
That's a
people
bug,
change their change their demeanor and their characteristics. Like, and that's the same with a hit. When you get a hit song, you'll look at your manager a little different. You look at him a little different. Things are changing around you. It was the same thing with a hit show. So, right? Like, everybody is not the happiest about a hit show. I'm not speaking for how they felt, but Everyday Struggle was that big of a hit where if there was something to see in somebody, it would just bring it out because that show was a smash. Now, how you feel about it? But I never got that from the guys. There might have been some type of, because the podcast wasn't valued properly when Everyday Struggle was being valued. But we wasn't getting paid Everyday Struggle.
Another reason why I blame you is because, and I said this to Iceland Ish like right before, and Parks was here too. When the moment, like, I was looking for some way to get on that motherfucker's skin. That's how I do with everybody. What I get at. And the moment I said workers, it's not even troll shit. It's just like, how do you get the motherfucker to tick and snap?
Yeah.
And I
Troll shit.
like the other dude just like was like he just didn't. He felt like he was emotionally numb or just like kind of like half here, half not. So I'm like, all right, this guy, he looked like he's too busy like swiping left on Tinder. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. So this guy right here who seems like I'm gonna get at him. And then the moment I said workers, it's looked like he never sat in the skin correctly again. And I thought you would have noticed that. Because at certain points, you being the boss, you have to sit him down and make sure he's okay with his role at something that y'all had that was successful. And if you missed that, you clearly was too busy doing some other shit. And if it wasn't you, y'all got enough people here, somebody should have seen it. Like, yo, he doesn't feel too comfortable with what he thinks his role is. He wants to establish that he's not just a worker. He wants to feel like he's a partner.
You don't say.
Stupid nigga
Fuck
Aggo. Yo, you know what I took from it? And again, I wasn't an avid watcher. I barely watched the show. I never watched a full episode.
That shit was trash.
No, it's not my thing.
How many adjectives did you want to find?
It's not my thing. No, it's not my thing. I don't watch podcasts.
Watch none of that. Y'all listen to music, man.
Niggas is boring, huh?
Nigga, I don't watch.
No, I don't watch no.
podcasts at
I don't even
all.
understand how other people watch podcasts.
Right.
But I'm glad they
This is
do.
what I'm-
Imagine their podcast now without Joe. Holy.
Yo, you stupid. Stop, man. This is what I'm saying. I think in success, when you're successful at something, you overlook the deficiencies. It's like with a football team. When you win the Super Bowl, you overlook that the left corner be getting toasted. You still won the Super Bowl.
Still won.
There you go.
You get what I'm saying?
I know what you're getting at.
You overlook that the right
it going.
guard don't block the best, but your running back still had 2,000 yards, but he can only run to the left side. You're looking at the success, and you're looking at up. You're looking up. You get what I'm saying? So you're not really looking at the potential problems until the problems become too big to bottle up.
Yeah, she just got to speak straight, man. It was basically LeBron James and Eric Snow and Booby Gibson.
I'm not
man.
saying that at all.
To the fucking
I'm not.
finals.
You saying that?
Come on, man. Like, you
I'm
know
not
what time
saying
it is.
that. I don't know what time it is.
But it went to the finals, so niggas think it's perfect.
I don't even have a watch.
Booby Gibson and fucking Eric Snow.
Yo.
Like, I think I'm about to win a chip.
They won a chip. They won a bunch of chips.
So they won a chip. Now they go into off season. Now niggas is negotiating like they're the reason the chip is here.
So wait. That's relative. That's relative.
Yeah, but
Eric Snow play hella 5D.
get on camera. Don't eat your wing in the corner. Because if they contributed, LeBron notoriously is going to bat for J.R. Smith. Mm-hmm. You know why? My guy contributed. Pay the guy.
No, that's personal.
Okay, well,
That's personal. Yo, this is my nigga over here. I want him over here with me. I don't give a fuck about y'all money. Pay my man.
okay. So perfect.
It's a fact they contributed. It's a fact.
Yeah, of course. Everybody
Go back.
contributes on a team. LeBron don't play by himself.
Man, what are you talking about?
Well, I'm saying you carry these things. And
All right,
hold
stop.
on. Yo, JoJo, where you won't be honest, and this is where I'm honest. I think that's why you've allowed me to speak. That's why they think a lot of times we're in collusion. Their worth in their eyes and their worth in your eyes was not clearly and closely associated.
There's not a beef there.
I think
Nothing
it
wrong
is.
with that.
No, I think it is.
Nothing wrong with
when I
that.
hear a nigga sits up and says, that nigga Joe really thought he sold out the building, nigga, this shit's wrapped around the corner for us, nigga.
Well, but that's if you make something a beef, and I'm not speaking about them. I'm saying period that you can make that a beef. But those two ideologies living, there's no beef there. I can think Ak is worth one thing. Hey, no, you know how I feel about you. I think you that nigga. But at our show, no, you shouldn't have been valued with me. You said that just shouldn't happen there. Today, they're just telling Parks outside. And I saw you say the show's expensive today.
But wait,
It's different.
Here's the difference though. What you value, for example, a lot of what I do, and this is just how it is. Anybody who comes to work with me in anything that has academics associated with it, there will never in life be a percentage. You will get a salary and you'll shut the fuck up.
But you learned that.
No.
You learned that.
But it's known coming into it. When you have niggas who said, well, not only did I contribute, I built with you, they then look at it very differently. True. If a motherfucker was with me like, yo, I built Academics with you, but I ain't gonna lie, I probably should get a percentage. That would be much different of a task of, hey, listen, I've done this, and yes, you now work for me. So the only thing we could really negotiate is the salary. Those dudes clearly were looking at it like, we should own a percentage of it. And I don't think you saw it like that.
Okay. Is there a question?
I want to say something, but I might
how did you see it?
So I don't want to overstep. Based on based on what I've heard, and you could cut this out. Based on what I've heard,
Timestamp killer, put your safety off.
Yeah. Based on what I've heard, and you have never confirmed, they were in a percentage-based payment schedule or payment scale, and I think they misunderstood percentage pay with percentage of ownership. So you can be getting paid a percentage of revenue, net, whatever the case may be, but not own shit.
Percentage fluctuates.
No, listen, you not own shit.
You're right, but I don't think their problem was if they were owned, like if they owned it. They were down. I think they were down with a percentage. I think
they misconstrued it too.
At least when if we're gonna talk about counting when it comes to that, I think they were just feeling like, because this happened, they do it to us at Complex all the time. I had a show that they went and got a $2.1 million deal from Microsoft. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm busting down the math already because it's already in the contract. And I'm getting a certain percentage. Now, here's what it really said. It says after we have allocated based on what we want to do, it's in their best interest to spread the shit so thin because, again, what I say about like the music, one hit pays for the rest.
Right.
So now the other
that
shows,
big deal.
Yeah. So now
spread
the
that
ad
out.
that came in, I was on the fucking call with them, jumping through hoops, like being a good boy. Like, yo, whatever I got to do to get this deal done. So now I'm thinking, it's just coming down for my show. Then they tell me, well, we have to allocate this deal a lot of places. We earmarked a bunch for the website. The website had no fucking reason to do with this deal. Right. They wanted the deal for me.
Right.
We got to give this show. What the fuck? Anybody watching that fucking show?
So by the time your numbers get...
So now,
it went from 2.1 million to 200,000, and you only get a percentage of the 200,000, which ends up being peanuts.
So that's what I'm saying about those guys. Because Joe's running a conglomerate.
I said this on Mav.
He's trying to figure out, and again, I know he's demonized many corporations, but you realize that's how business goes.
I think that this is what I personally think about this situation. I think that Joe is new in the space as a CEO, and I think everybody involved wasn't the most business savvy. And I think that when you add the friendship into that,
major part,
it potentially opens up the door for a bunch of assumptions
bad
and misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
bunch of miscommunication, bunch of bad.
When you dealing with people that you ain't have no personal relationship with,
it's all business. You know what it is.
Let's chop it up. Right. Like, let's chop it up. Like, yo, you did what? You did who? What? Let's iron out all of the T's, dot all the I's, so that we are both on the same page with what we're doing. When it's a friendship thing, it's a gray area.
Very gray.
And that, yo, I thought we meant when you dealing with them, it ain't no thoughts. It's this or it's this. But when you mix the two, now it opens up the door.
Listen, at the end of the day, I've worked for friends and family, and that shit can get ugly if you can't look past that shit when you have to handle business conversations.
Like, not for nothing. I mean, Joe makes the joke all the time. Yo, Ice got a lawyer. Like, Ice got a manager. Yeah. Ice did, because Joe's my daughter's godfather.
Right.
But this is still business. I have to have somebody that protects ICE's business interests in all of this because ICE don't know shit about this. And that's the way you have to. You can't just rely on the friendship to cover the business.
I'll definitely say this. And I think this is why I was able to predict so many of the things, at least with those two.
But wait, let me respond what you saying.
Oh, you're going to tell me? Oh,
yeah,
because
whatever.
I was going to say I do the same thing.
No, I'm replying. Listen, don't come
one
content
person,
hub, yo. This guy is good, yo.
Yo, I've had one person who I hired who I've paid with 4 different budgets. And I just move him getting paid to other different things. But here's the thing. He does multiple things for me. But now I'm playing with multiple budgets to make sure I'm good. It doesn't make sense to me hiring you or employing you if I'm paying you from a budget that don't exist. Now it says I should cut, not gain.
I'll tell you this because I said it on Mav's podcast already. Y'all mad loud during the broadcast. I said this on Mav's podcast already, so it's fine. You're right. That existed, right? And this is in hindsight, so you could say it. Everybody gets paid after expenses, them and me. And nobody was happy about that. Like, I'm not mad at them. They wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. And what we did with the unhappiness just was different. They channeled it toward me because where else would you channel it to? They couldn't channel it towards Spotify. There was nobody else. It was Joe's the bad guy. I wore the hat and my own behavior didn't add to it. But I wasn't happy with what we was paid either.
Could we be honest, though? That whole Spotify gave y'all used watches shit was cap, bro. Come on now.
They didn't give us any watches.
Yeah. So why was talking about they gave us y'all used Rolexes? I'm like, huh?
Because they offered to. That story was true.
Stop it. You gotta tell me who at Spot. I gotta go ask them. Like, yo, what's up with my used Rolex? Like, what the fuck going on?
And that's the thing with you niggas, right? Like the Jay-Z Def Jam and Kevin Lyle's Def Jam is not the same Def Jam, even though it's Def Jam. Like, the Spotify that you are in may not be the Spotify that I was in. But the Spotify that I was in, 100%, that Rolex story is true. Maybe they learned from that to never do that to a you or anybody else that they deem to be valuable. But that story is true, and it was a slap in the face. It's an insult at the time. Yo, imagine it, right? Like, again, nobody ever looks from Joe's perspective. But Joe, who's all for the fans, we've been number one forever. Y'all want to thank us. My solution to that is, hey, whatever money y'all got, go give it to the fans. Y'all say no. Then I watch every company come up with, hey, we got a cash giveaway for the fans. Yo, we're monetizing. Yo, we can pay the fans. I know. But anyway, y'all say no to that. Then say, we'll give you watches. All right, we'll take watches. We pick nice watches. They say no to that. All right, we'll take.
We didn't throw y'all talking about some Invictus, man.
We ain't Invictus niggas. Invictus niggas.
$500.
And then y'all say use watches, and we say okay, and then you say no to that. At some point, it's
y'all
like
picking out APs, my niggas.
Yeah, a used AP is 40, 50. It's not a lot, but the point is, like, we didn't ask for anything. Y'all came and said, hey, as a token of appreciation, we want to do X, Y, Z. I never asked for a watch or a Christmas bonus. So just in the verbiage, for you to speak to somebody who is this successful at your platform like this, I have a problem. Niggas can't just speak to me any type of way because you got the biggest dick in the office or because you got the most shares in the company or because you're the biggest board member. You can't. No, we men.
What was some who claim they're educated about the matter say? They said that Rolly shit or that watch shit was cap. That was a coddling mechanism that you used on because them niggas was real talk.
That's the stupidest thing. That would be the stupidest thing in the world. Whoever said that.
In terms of basically, in terms of
my crew was my crew. Gang, wait, hold up, gang.
Let me put it in a different terms. The way to take the heat off you is to put the heat on Spotify.
But there was no heat at watch time.
Especially when there's no transparency. If they don't know what you really getting, they don't know what they supposed to get. And the way for them to not even focus on what you're getting to figure out their percentage is for you to say Spotify's fucking us.
I don't know what Courtney or Dawn or whoever is telling you up there at Spotify. They feeding you a crock of shit, buddy. There was no heat at watch time.
That was a good year and a half, 2 years before.
The watch thing was coming from celebration.
No.
Yo, y'all, I would never come to my guys, my crew, like the niggas in here.
No, not the watch. It's about so, for example, if I pay you and you know I'm getting the money from him, if
I understand the concept.
when you start complaining about money,
Yeah.
You could just
rather than
you could pass it up
I'm
the
like,
line.
yo, man. Yeah,
But I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah,
at the time of the watch shit, it was
bingo.
Nobody was complaining.
Yeah, it was well before.
So when did they start complaining?
It's you.
I just call them workers.
Well, you shouldn't do that.
There's nothing wrong with being a worker, though.
Sure ain't.
You know what's the funny thing?
Unless you look
I
at
admit
it
I was
this-
like, I was a worker at Complex.
Unless you look at it like it's something wrong, so was I.
I'm a worker here. I'm cooling.
Why do they feel so offended by it?
Fuck y'all talking about?
I can't speak to that act. You'd have to ask people. Like, I don't know.
Well, do you feel like I fucked up your podcast? Because some people
No,
try to
you
say
can't do that.
I was the
You
the
can't
person
do
to
that.
blame, and I'm like,
You're not.
you're my
not-
guy. I wouldn't do that.
You're powerful. I don't think you're that powerful. Fuck it. Like, some things had to exist already for you to be able to have an effect on it.
Might have had a little gasoline in there though.
Yeah, you threw some gas on it, but those things existed already. And, I said this on Mass Podcast too.
Did you foresee it coming?
Foresee it? No, I didn't foresee any of that coming. But in hindsight, it was the inevitable thing to happen.
Why?
Because I was putting everybody on salary, and they took a negative connotation from salary. So whenever that contract ended, I was going salary. They would have said no, and I would have went to find another route. The problem is,
So they would really feel like workers.
I don't think that they knew when it ended. That's my opinion. I could be wrong in that. You'd have to ask them. I don't even like talking about this. I don't think they knew when it ended, and I think that's where the beef came in. I thought the contract was still going. They thought it ended. They was putting their dick on the table. I was saying there's still a contract. I've been in that boat. Now you got to find a way to get out of that contract. What are you talking about?
Let me ask you.
Why you asking about these niggas?
No. It's not about them because I used to think. So, for example, like yo, I was literally just thinking about.
He done sat here and demanded.
Joe,
he has geared our conversation
Joe,
for 4 hours.
Joe, I was thinking the whole time. I said, I'm gonna tell you why these niggas, and I'll tell you guys as well, because you guys hopefully have lawyers and managers that
Correct.
are separate from Joe. That's one of the things also I thought about with Spotify.
I'm listening.
Let me put it in Spotify terms. If Spotify is now the market that you exist on exclusively, and they get to control the market, and we know that negotiation time is coming around, if I could make you seem unsuccessful, I'm going to pay you less to stay. Why? That's the value.
If I can make you what?
If
Seem unsuccessful.
if I could make you seem unsuccessful, I could validate pay you less.
I
With
can
the
lower your
labels
value.
too, right?
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So now, exactly. So now I looked at them, and I could tell they were having a struggle or to try to negotiate with you, but then I couldn't understand why they didn't establish value outside of you. They never did anything outside of the podcast. So I was like so confused. I thought you had something like a clause that says you can't be on motherfucking camera if I'm not sitting next to you doing a podcast. Because the ultimate thing to really have leverage over you, and it would have probably turned out better in their favor, or who knows, it probably would. I don't know how it worked out. But if you have to establish value to come in with, because at the end of the day, if your value is only created by the same thing you're negotiating from,
You don't have.
how
He's
much
right.
value do you really
He
have?
makes sense.
He's 100% right.
It makes sense. If you
And,
only
and,
known
and I
as
heard
blah,
you
blah,
say
blah from the Joe
to
Budden
those
podcast.
yo, dude,
I
start-
don't want to be on the
start a dating show.
I know,
Do
like-
this, do that, and you got to
Hey,
realize.
timestamp killer.
Just mark all the shit, man.
Yeah, market all this guy.
I'm serious. Like, but they didn't. They purposely just looked at you as okay, just take the ship where it goes. But then they wanted to be pirates robbing the ship. It didn't make sense.
To the people, it doesn't make sense to. But you have to learn.
It didn't
that.
make sense to you either.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I've been at that point in my career before. Like you gotta go through it. Like everybody has to go through whatever situation it is to where as they get the information and make different decisions moving forward. I think that whatever they went through, and I can't speak for them because I haven't spoken to them, but I think that whatever they went through, they've modified their
They've learned from it.
decisions moving forward, and they do different things now. I think today they might never say it, but they totally understand some of where I was coming from.
No, they got
Today.
the bag. They got the 10 mil.
I'm not doing this with you.
They got the 10 mil.
Congratulations, round of applause. Oh shit, wrong round. Hold up,
Did you
round.
offer them 10 mil?
Some chicken. Yo, there's another relationship I want to ask you
What?
about.
Me?
Get the fuck off of me. Let me see. You did Charlamagne, you got your shit, or you determined to come here and get
And then I was just,
This guy's great.
I just want to laugh at them. And
Meg-
yo, can we just have one good laugh and then that's it?
I love both of them.
I like that. Yeah, no, you don't. You like watching these motherfuckers fail. Yo, Joe, you know
I do love them. What are you talking
I'm not
about?
saying you don't like them as people.
I
But
love
Joe,
them both.
Joe, you know they were campaigning and hoping that, by the way, and I don't know how you guys feel, and I won't even bait you like I'm
Yeah, this
baiting
guy,
Joe, 'cause
he's
a pro.
good at this.
But
Look at this.
they were hoping that this rendition and this
Failed.
version of course failed.
I know.
And by the way, they wrote off the narrative that said, yo, it's like how Everyday Struggle, when you left, me and Wayne was there like, yo, we are left in the boat of everyone going off the narrative like, yo, fuck these guys. We want to see them crash.
Y'all did a great job, though.
Yo, shit, we lasted for like
Yeah, it was successful.
2.5 more years.
Successful.
Yeah. However,
Hey, Views was a good album.
So are you?
Thank you, motherfucker.
Are you trying to say that you don't sit here? You're trying to say you don't sit here and see how they try to capitalize off kicking your back in, and you're hoping that they win?
I'm not mad at anybody. Mad people have made a career out of kicking my back in. I'm not mad at it. I ain't mad at it. There's value in that shit. Some people choose to go that route of the value.
How do you guys feel? Because
Ask me a question. What's the question? What's the question?
I'll tell you what. Because
Ask me the question.
I remember when Wayno joined Everyday Struggle,
Shouts to Wayno.
and even when we were going through replacements, it was unfair because everyone loved the previous rendition, and because the narrative was set that whoever who stayed, you know, so now people are looking at you guys and what y'all are doing.
Should have been like DC McFly, nigga.
What I mean? What do you do? DC McFly. I mean,
When they tried to offer DC Young Fly,
he said nah.
DC Young Fly.
but it's a different.
no.
It's a
Nick
different.
Cannon Holmes wilding out, nigga.
No, he don't. But
He do.
He did.
He do. They licensed the shit from him. But yeah, they were gonna have him lead the show. That wasn't him. No,
Yeah,
what
come
I'm
on.
trying to say is that when y'all came in, it's basically like they put y'all in the game when y'all down by 20. So now people are already like trying to hate on the podcast. So y'all got to come in, not miss no shots. Y'all got to get used to. Y'all got to gel, do all these things quickly. And keep in mind, this other team who just left, they're riding high off the fact that people are kicking y'all backs in. It's no ways fun.
Hey, it's us. Me Ish. What's up? No, I'm playing. I ain't. I'm playing. No, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I ain't want to do this shit at all. Joe knows. Joe had to trick me to come do this shit, even out the gate. I don't fuck with cameras. I don't like none of this shit. I don't like attention. I don't like. It took me a minute, Parks. You know, like it took me a minute to even get comfortable sitting here. But he's always said for years, dog, you have a knack for this shit. I'm telling you. He saw it before I could see it. Like, I wanted no parts of this. The very first day to even get there, he was like, yo, come by. Like, he gave me a call. I told the story before. But I didn't know what I was going to his house for. I showed up thinking.
Joe does that.
I showed up with my toolbox in the trunk, thinking you need me to put another TV on the wall or some shit. And I walked in like, yo, what's up? Where we going? What you need me to do? No, I need you to pod. I said, dog, stop playing with me. And that's when he told me, because I never listened to the pods.
Really?
I'm a music person. I don't see the point in listening to other niggas talk. I have my own opinions. I don't need to hear other people's opinions.
True.
That's always how I'm very opinionated. Like, I feel a way I feel. I don't care what nobody thinks. So I'll give my opinion on my Twitter, and that's it. You ain't got to agree, disagree.
Here go my answer.
Who?
You.
Wait, who? Me?
No. Yeah.
Oh, I'm like,
This is why you're a phony ass nigga. Because you'll come in here and try to get me to piece it up with all the niggas that you fuck with. Charlemagne, Schultz, Vlad. You got a slew of them.
They're cool guys.
Then you're going to piece it up with the guys, man. Can I commission that? Can we do that? I wouldn't do it. But
Good.
I don't put myself in the middle of niggas' shit.
Nah, it's too fun watching them. I like the fact that they're on their own. It's the best thing ever. I was hoping they left.
Yo, it's been an amazing pod.
So I see them all fucking in Vendome in Miami, and and Quavo's there, and like he just first of all he just opens. He has all like diamond teeth. Just open his mouth and like women are just flocking to him. So anyway, he's performing, and I'm like, please don't tell me, because he points. He walks over and sees me. He's like, yo, act, and I'm like, don't play the Ice Trader song. Like, do you feel like it's disrespectful? I want him to play. I'm like, yo, that's like this in
You crazy.
that's a smash.
Nigga, we was in the strip club and
Are
the
you
DJ
kidding me?
played it.
For real?
Nah, turn up
Like,
when my name come
No
on. in this
bullshit.
shit.
Well, Joe don't throw money in the strip club. That's why the DJ played it. That's the exact
Yeah.
reason why. Nigga.
Wait,
That's
excuse
true.
me?
Yeah, that nigga don't throw money.
That's true.
He throws money now?
Squeeze, nigga. This a
That's true. No,
couple
I don't
million
throw
from
money in the
Squeeze.
strip club.
I
It's
went to
shit
Squeeze.
different.
I just
Wait,
go to
he throw
listen to
money?
music.
I heard you was in. I was coming. He was like, "Yo, hurry up and get here. This nigga Academics is drunk off his ass.
Yo, wait.
hurry up and get here, yo. I want you,
You
to
throw
see
money
it."
now?
Nope.
No, I seen you in Starless. I seen you in Starless, and you was looking a little bit too comfortable.
Comfortable
What you
throwing
doing
money
in-
or not throwing money?
You're not gonna like showcase the part you're throwing money now.
You don't be following his stories that much.
Sometimes I throw some money out there when I'm in a good mood, feeling good.
Like how much? How much we talking about?
Not too much. $200.
Couple $100 bands?
$200.
For real?
A couple $100.
Well, Joe done changed, man.
What's a couple hundred?
Yeah, exercise would be yeah.
Nah, Joe done changed, man.
What's a couple hundred?
600. Hey, listen, y'all ain't the only niggas that can lie in a podcast. Yo, how come y'all think y'all the only one I can lie?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
$300.
Joe definitely did put me on game. I remember one of the first times. Actually, no, it wasn't one of the first times. But one time I went to his crib and he was like, he gave me just an industry game. He was like, yo, Ak, you don't know most of these. I won't say the B word because I know y'all got it. But like, you don't know most of these chicks. They got a price. I'm like, what do you mean? You put me on some. No, put me on the escort game. I was like, yo, all my famous, all these Instagram girls I follow have a price.
Yes.
It's like, yo, 3,500, you're in there. I'm like, stop it.
Yeah.
Yo, Act be so wet behind here, Joe. He's so cute. You mean they have a number?
For real. Like, well, did you know?
46.
No. I'm talking about the famous chicks, though.
Yes.
Act, man.
Hey, yo,
Yes.
I'm new to the podcast.
I'm not new to life.
I've been outside a long time, my nigga. I've been off the porch a very long time.
Yo, Joe, you just out here tricking away the millions, ain't you, man?
I got it all in a 401k.
Once I seen the Maybach come in, I'm like, yo, where's that shit? Come on, man. I pulled up to your crib with a G-Wagon when I got it. I had to
Yes,
let
you did.
Hold on.
Blue.
Hold on. I had to let you know what it was that you wouldn't think us going into everyday struggle. It was like, yo, I'm saving this bum from poverty.
Nah,
It was a statement. It was like, yo, you
borrowed-
should know.
borrowed your
Yo, you see how
uncle's
niggas'
G-Wagon.
egos just fuel they moves?
No, it's true.
No.
That's
He's supposed
ego.
to at
You
his
just
age.
said it.
No. It's not ego. It's about a statement. Because the
That's
same way
ego.
An egotistical one.
he would have treated me like he treated them other. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. So I had to let him know I got some shit. And
I got
hold on,
I got
hold
a
on.
G-Wagon.
Yo, here's the thing.
I got some shit.
Now, because you know I ain't just a broke ass bum. Anything that you come up in your little wacky mind, think that I have my own opinions, and also I'm not desperate for the bag. Very important to know.
Or Academics created something from nothing. And for that, he is to always be respected.
So why you don't invite me to the strip club no more, man? We went one time.
You brought that drunk girl that was throwing up everywhere, acting a fucking fool. I'm never doing that with you again.
Girls can't.
I'm
drink.
glad that this young lady
yes, they
knows
can.
how to fucking behave
Yes, they
herself.
can.
Like,
Girls can
she's
drink, bro.
awesome. But that last one, when your money got up, when you niggas money got up, y'all got away from the Selena Powells or whatever the fuck. Y'all cachet rised a little bit. Y'all was fucking.
I'm giving Selena a podcast.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
I am. It didn't work out with Adam.
That's you and Adam's little bag. That type shit.
Shit. Hey, listen. You know what I've realized with this new Big Act moniker is like, I think people just know what to try to come at me about.
And I heard you
There
say
used to be a lot more people that come at me. Nowadays, people are like, yo, let's kind of leave them alone. It's allowed me to do more. So I'm like,
I heard
Because they know
you-
they got to deal with you. That's why.
I heard you say that Brittany Renner should have a podcast.
oh, she will.
I'm sure she will.
We're working on it.
You hear this guy, yo?
I'm serious.
That's the same guy I
believe
had to convince to do a podcast years ago. I hate seeing these niggas 5 years later when I was right.
Joe, I might come to you for
I
some
hate seeing
mentorship.
them.
Like I'm kicking off the network. I'm being honest.
No, you cooking. I don't know why you didn't sign them 2 idiot niggas that I hate.
I should have, right?
I don't understand what you're doing. That's my point. Like, we own the culture, our culture. I'm not talking about who listens to them. Our culture, I only know them because of you. I have to listen to these 2 fucking idiots because of you. I automatically assume that they would sign to you. I wouldn't see them on my peripheral. There's value in that. Yo, Joe Budden's only seeing you because of me. I thought they were signed to you, but they're not. You just on there co-signing them being stupid.
Well, now first of all,
Because they're entrepreneurs or
it's
whatever.
only now I'm in the position where, you see, when I started, like, people like, yo, what the fuck is he doing? Now there's like a million copycats and people look up, like, yo, I mean, a lot of these people, they're like, yo, you were the blueprint of, just like how I looked up to, like, Charlamagne. I was like, yo, I wanted to get to radio until, like, I was like, well, radio kind of isn't a thing anymore. Maybe internet radio or, like, Beats One. And I'm like, no, it's just YouTube channel. Right? So in this moment, there's a lot of like, you know, content creators. They look at me like almost, yo, we kind of got into it.
So you didn't see enough value in these 2 niggas to want to sign them.
Well,
Don't worry about it.
You weren't in a position to do something.
No,
Don't worry about
I
it.
think they're bigger than that.
What today? Now?
I think they were then.
Oh, okay.
Like only the black
You
people.
niggas is bums.
Yo, like, yo, y'all got a podcast.
I hate them
together.
niggas. That would never happen. That would never happen.
That's another viral moment.
Eat them niggas.
This is how I have these
Some
little-
niggas don't do it for viral moments, Zach. Some niggas are like humans and like viral
You
moments.
gotta move the needle, man. It's all about moving the needle. You know I specify moving the needle? Because I've seen how conversation, I've been on numerous Zoom calls and okay, whatever. Hey, you know, we're gonna come up with some deal points and some offers. All right, cool, this and third. Move the needle fucking once. Next day, here it is. Please come over here. So I do know the value in that. Trust me.
If I have to piece it up with Schultz and all these Charlamagne and whoever
Yo,
else.
me, you, Charlamagne, and Schultz,
Nadeska.
and you guys should do a podcast.
Yo, Spotify's paying this nigga, man. You see, he make
It don't gotta be on my
get
shit.
Hey, what they pay?
He gonna get it.
Oh, wait, I didn't even see.
What? No, I got this for free. I got this.
Hey!
I got this because I wanted Miami.
Yo, we have changed. Look at us, yo.
No, this
oh
is
my
cheap. This is
God.
on.
Oh my
Girl,
God.
notice me. Relax.
I seen this in Bird Off, nigga. This ain't merch no more. We ain't wearing merch no more. Don't look at me. They ain't gotta look at me.
Look at the Mary, man.
Oh boy. Listen, we
The
want to thank
scary
Ak. Do we
Marys.
have any last questions for Ak? I'm cool. Ak is he said too much for me.
Do not edit any of the part out. You got to leave the sting. They got to feel it. The after effect. Come on now.
I'm editing names because we don't do that on this
What?
broadcast.
There's gonna be so many. Yo, Parks, you gotta tell him like you can't edit out this much shit like that.
I actually kind
He
of
might
agree
be
with
the
Act this
reason.
time.
Hey, hold on. I do want to say though.
This guy.
No. Real talk, because you know I'm very like I'm just one way.
Give me some real talk.
When and you know this as a fact, when people were just kind of like so hell bent on loving the past rendition, I was one of the first people. I called you and I said, "Yo, these 2 dudes you got on with you now, this shit's gonna work."
You said
the
that.
the wave is gonna end.
You did.
And I've watched the podcast and I'm like, oh, these niggas. They challenge you. The other 2 dudes was like literally the Migos. They were
Ak,
just like
you have
ad-libbing
been
you.
an amazing
Like-
guest today.
Round of applause.
Round of applause for Ak.
That's why no, real
we
talk,
want to
that's why I like that
congratulate.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you.
You're not
real quick.
ad-libbing, and I like how you challenge him.
The thing
other
is-
2 dudes,
Real talk.
it's like Takeoff. Like, come on, you don't even know if he's on the song. Nah, that's my guy.
I pieced my
Well,
Migos shit up.
look, and this ain't, look,
Go ahead and play.
this ain't got nothing to do with them, but
Yeah.
this is the only difference between what we've been doing for years over Monopoly boards and now is the camera. Like these same arguments, all this shit we have. We argue amongst each other regularly.
And that's why this son of a bitch knew he was LeBron. He knew, he was like, yo, listen, I got some other people who I have good conversations with. Keep fucking around. Keep fucking around.
I think this might be the longest episode that we've ever done, by the way.